While delivering a customer's order, they tipped me 100 yuan and asked me to bring 2 small umbrellas. When I arrived, they said they no longer needed them as their business was concluded. Holding 2 milk teas, I turned to leave. After a few steps, I caught a glimpse of a beautiful figure passing by. I couldn't help but steal another look, thinking to myself, this girl is gorgeous, but unfortunately, not my type. Suddenly, a cold voice sounded from behind. What did you just say? My heart skipped a beat. I had spoken so softly, yet I was overheard. I'm talking to you, the delivery guy with 2 milk teas. I anxiously looked around for another delivery person, but there was no one else on the floor. I'm talking to you. Are you deaf? She started to lose her patience. The sound of high heels approached step by step. This wasn't good, I had to run. But a threatening voice came from behind. You dare run? I bet you won't make it out of this hotel. The sound of high heels faded, replaced by the faint scent of rose perfume. Was it you who was just talking behind my back? Turn around. I don't like people talking with their back to me. Faced with her reprimand, I had no choice but to turn around, knowing I was at fault. The sight before me was stunning. The woman standing in front of me was at least. No, upon closer inspection, I could see her features clearly. She had delicate willow-like eyebrows, a swan-like neck, phoenix eyes, and cherry lips. Had enough of a look. She extended her hand towards me. I instinctively recoiled. Stand still. She roughly pulled off my black mask, sizing me up for a moment before saying, not bad looking. Just a bit lecherous. I wanted to object but didn't know what to say. I feigned a gentle demeanor. Miss, is there anything else? If not, I have to go home for dinner. My mom is calling. You think I'll believe that? Follow me. She shot me a disdainful glance and turned away on her high heels. A good opportunity. I had to run. I prepared to sprint like a track athlete. Who's following you? I'm not crazy, she said coldly. I told you, you can't escape this hotel. Behave yourself, and don't say I didn't warn you. I paid her no mind. As soon as I turned the corner, I bolted. Less than 10 minutes later, I was carried by 4 large men to the 6th floor, in front of the presidential suite. Miss Shen, the person has been brought. A few seconds later, the door opened. They pushed me in and slammed it shut. Rubbing my soon-to-be bruised backside, I yelled at the door, are you crazy? I didn't do anything to you people. This is a civilized age. Why so violent? No education at all. Just like that foolish woman. Suddenly, a strange smell made me feel that something was wrong. The scent in the room was very unusual. I looked around warily. Her voice came from behind me again. I told you, you couldn't leave this hotel. And you still dare to curse me. I turned to see her with an unusually flushed face, probably related to the strange scent. This time, she was only wearing a purple spaghetti strap top, having removed her red jacket and pants. I subconsciously swallowed. She approached me, grabbing my collar. Answer me, were you just cursing me? Before I could open my mouth, her hand touched my face. She smiled and said, not bad looking. Just a bit fake. Miss, please don't touch me. I thought she might have been set up by someone and intended to remind her that the room might be tampered with. But she cut me off. You men are all so fake. Am I not beautiful enough? Reasoning with her was useless. I removed her hand and pushed her onto the sofa. The umbrellas in my bag fell out. I immediately panicked. Let me explain. A customer asked me to bring these. Don't misunderstand. I'm not that kind of person. Bringing them for a customer and then bringing them to my place. You pervert. I couldn't take it anymore. I told you, a customer asked me to bring these. Didn't you have your people carrying me here? Is there something wrong with your brain? Go see a doctor. Having vented, I intended to leave. The woman stood there, stunned. He dares to curse me. Hey, it's quiet inside. Maybe it's starting to take effect. I'm not sure, it's been 20 minutes. The drug Mr. Gu gave us takes about 30 minutes to fully kick in. To be safe, let's wait a bit longer. Right, let's wait a little more. If we mess up Mr. Gu's plan, we're done for. Hearing the hushed conversation outside the door confirmed my suspicions. This room had been tampered with, and their target was this crazy woman. Well, I guess I'm just unlucky. I turned the doorknob. What are you doing here? Don't you know that eavesdropping outside someone's door is illegal? Do you want a free stay at the national prison? The 2 men outside were startled and panicked. Something's wrong, run. Seeing the situation turn bad, they fled. Compared to going to jail, they would rather face punishment from their master. I was about to step out when I felt my shirt being pulled. I turned my head to see she had appeared behind me at some point, her face flushed and her eyes filled with desire. Oh no. Could it be that what they were talking about? A burning sensation rose from within my body. I realized her intentions. You smell so good, she kept pulling at my shirt. At this moment, her mind had only one thought, she had to have me. It's over. I realized something was wrong and quickly held her hands. Naughty boy, you smell so good. Let me have a taste. She looked at me with infatuated eyes, as if I had become her prey. Being seduced like this, a sense of unease rose in my heart. I wanted to push this clingy woman away but couldn't get free. Good boy. Just listen to me. Since her hands were restrained, she used her strength to pull, her whole body leaning towards me. I couldn't react in time, lost my balance, fell backward, and passed out. When I woke up, my whole body itched and my vision was blurry. Seeing a woman lying on top of me, my heart skipped a beat. I quickly recalled what happened last night. I couldn't believe I had a one-night stand with her. Gently pushing her off, I looked for my clothes. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw something I shouldn't have. Luckily, I had used protection. I had to leave quickly. Just consider it being rammed by a pig. After getting dressed, I intended to slip away, but my heart softened. I still helped her get dressed and carried her to the sofa. I took out 2 red bills from my pocket and said with a heavy heart, "This is all for you. Don't complain it's too little, it's all I have." With that, I ran off. A long time later, Shen Man woke up groggily. Seeing the messy room, her mind instantly cleared, her heart pounding. Last night, with that man. Although she didn't want to accept it, it was the truth. Because her family had arranged a marriage for her since she was young, she ran to Modu to find a man to break the engagement. Last night, she had foolishly done it with him. She angrily slapped her forehead and forced herself to sit up. A wave of pain spread through her limbs. The 2 glaring red bills in front of her sent her into a rage. "Very well, you bastard of a man. You're dead." At the same time, at a villa, the 2 men who were eavesdropping yesterday nervously reported to Yahello, only to have him angrily throw a wine glass at one of their heads. Blood flowed freely, and the others were too scared to make a sound. Yahello angrily recalled the beautiful figure he saw at the party last night, thinking to himself that in Modu, there wasn't a woman he couldn't have. Meanwhile, at the Imperial Hotel, Shen Man wore a white dress, a helpless expression on her face. "My dear President Shen, why did you do such a crazy thing? Gambling with yourself." Shen Man said to Su Weiwei, "Help me investigate who appeared on this floor last night and help me find someone." Su Weiwei frowned. "The first thing is simple. I'll go find the hotel manager to check the surveillance cameras. But for the second thing, you have to give me some clues. Modu is so big, where am I supposed to look?" Seeing Su Weiwei's aggrieved expression, Shen Man also had a headache. She didn't know the man's name either, only that he was quite handsome. Then she noticed the 2 spilled milk teas on the floor. Just follow this delivery order to see who the delivery person was. The next morning, I had just washed my face and was in a good mood when I suddenly received a message that my shipper account had been blocked, and the salary in my account was also frozen. Complete collapse. I contacted customer service, and they confirmed it wasn't a mistake but a violation of the rules for leaving the station. I sat in the park, trembling as I dialed the number. "Are you crazy? Why did you block my account?" After feeling relieved for a moment, the other party said, "If you want to continue living in Modu, come to my place." The phone call ended. I was stunned. The voice was that of the crazy woman. Damn it, I had cursed her again. Shen Corporation. Shen Man stared at the call history, her eyes cold. "Let's see how far you can run, daring to insult me like that." Just then, Su Weiwei walked in. "President Shen, it's been investigated. The 2 spies last night were directed by Yahello." Shen Man frowned. "Who is Yahello?" "He's the young master of the Go family in Modu, and he's currently cooperating with our Shen Corporation." Shen Man didn't hesitate. "Immediately terminate all cooperation with the Go family." Hearing Shen Man's decision, Su Weiwei was stunned. "President Shen, if we terminate the cooperation with the Go family, the company will suffer losses." Shen Man impatiently cut her off. "Is the Shen family short of that money? Just find another company to replace them." Su Weiwei could only bow her head. "Yes, madam." He stood in front of the skyscraper, a premonition of trouble brewing in my heart. As I was about to enter, I was stopped by 2 security guards. Shippers are not allowed inside. I was helpless. "I'm just here to find someone." They asked for a name, but I suddenly couldn't remember it. That shipper, let him in. I was bewildered but still followed the woman in uniform inside. "Are you the shipper President Shen is waiting for?" she asked, curiously sizing me up. I scratched my head, thinking to myself that I only knew some crazy woman told me to come. She smiled and led me to the CEO's office, reminding me, it's best not to anger President Shen. Entering the office, I saw Shen Man standing by the window, looking down at the panoramic view of Modu. She turned around, sat down, and looked at me arrogantly. Surprised. She laughed coldly. "So you can believe what is said now, right? I have the ability." I wondered why such a big shot would make things difficult for an ordinary shipper like me. As if reading my mind, her voice suddenly became harsh. "Don't you know?" Mentioning this, Shen Man became even angrier. The man in front of her dared to use 200 yuan to insult her. It's you who is being unreasonable. I tried to warn you, but you wouldn't listen to my explanation. Besides, I didn't do anything. I was completely passive. This lady wouldn't listen to reason. It was my first time, and you're blaming me. Is there any justice? The more I spoke, the more agitated I became, not knowing how to defend myself. Alright, so you used 200 yuan to insult me. Shin Man still had no reaction after hearing my explanation. So that's what you care about. Simple. I apologize. Let's consider this matter over. You can also unblock my shipper account. I am counting on that salary to live this month. Shin Man laughed coldly. You think it can end that easily? I was stunned. Then what do you want? Apologizing isn't enough. Shin Man stood up and took long, slow steps towards me. She used her index finger to lift my chin and said domineeringly, simple. Be my precious bird. If not, I'll lock you up and teach you a lesson. Hearing this, I was completely speechless. Miss, are you bored? Who has time to play cosplay with you? I pushed her hand away and turned to leave. I'm not lying. If you don't nod, don't expect to get out of the door. As a result, several large men blocked my way. Sirs, can you let me pass? Looking at these fierce men, I was speechless. The fierce, quiet men said nothing, just pushed me inside and gently closed the door. So, the mask of suffering has appeared. I'll give you 1 minute to think. At some point, she had poured a glass of red wine and was looking at me, cornered. Faced with this unreasonable woman, the small volcano in my heart finally erupted. What's wrong with this lady? Is it not over yet? I won't take last month's salary, okay? If you don't let me go, I'm telling you, I've had training. Shen Man's lips curved into a smile. Really? You can try. Faced with her continuous provocations, I was furious. I strode up to her, one hand gripping the wrist that held the wine glass. The glass fell and shattered. The sound of it breaking alarmed the bodyguards outside. They opened the door and rushed in. Get out. Who let you in? With a single shout, they quietly closed the door and retreated. Seeing that Shen Man didn't answer, I increased the pressure on her wrist. A red mark, visible to the naked eye, appeared on her wrist. But she didn't make a sound. On the contrary, the smile on her face grew more excited. After a 2.5-minute standoff, I finally let go of her hand in defeat. You win. Tell me, what will it take for you to let me go? It wasn't that I was afraid of her. I thought about my own skills. Although I couldn't beat the big guys outside, escaping shouldn't be a problem. However, if I ran away, this crazy woman would definitely find a way to make things difficult for me. It was better to be clear. She wrapped her arms around my neck, staring at me with a look of interest in her eyes. Simple. I already told you. Be my precious bird. If I'm happy, I might even let you have another good time. For 200 yuan, you won't find someone like me out there. 200 yuan. 200 yuan. Why was she so fixated on 200 yuan? Isn't 200 yuan money? Although her looks were a bit lacking, at that time, I only had 200 yuan in cash. So, what do you think? Her gaze on me grew closer and my heart fluttered a bit, as if she wanted to kiss me. I held back and asked, what about my salary? You can't let me eat dirt. Don't worry, as my pet, I won't let you starve. I can agree to your request, but don't go too far. It's a transaction, so there must be limits. She had a playful expression. Limits? When I get bored, I'll let you go. If I'm not bored, we'll just keep playing. The word pervert was truly an accurate description of her. But what kind of strange hobby was this? A beautiful exterior hiding a devil inside. Faced with her unreasonable request, I grumbled internally, but she didn't care. I wanted to escape, but it was clear she wouldn't let me go easily. Good heavens, is this crazy woman so desperate for a man that she's lost her mind? I am not a gigolo. Just as I was resisting, Shen Man, like a hungry dog pouncing on its prey, bit my lip. After tasting her prey's blood, she savored it for a moment before letting me go. This is the first time you've disobeyed my command. I hope it's the last. I'll give you 1 day to get your things in order. Be here at 8 sharp tomorrow to see me. If not, there will be consequences. Remember, what's your master's name? In a courtyard in the heart of the capital, 2 middle-aged men sat at a stone table playing chess. Checkmate. Old Shen, you lose again. Their laughter echoed in the air. As expected of a general, you have a firm grasp of the art of war. These 2 men were Zhang Jianjun, the god of war who held military power in Huaxia, and the other was Shen Fibo, a patriotic businessman who controlled a large portion of Huaxia's wealth and was the head of one of the 3 major families in the capital. They were leisurely playing chess here. Shen Fibo showed a worried expression. Old Zhang, about the marriage agreement for our children that we decided on before, it's about time. But my precious daughter is fine, but my worthless son has run off somewhere. The 2 children have never met, and are a bit opposed to this marriage, which is normal. It turned out the 2 of them had met in an accident 20 years ago. At that time, The ambitious Shen Fubo had just started his business and did everything himself. 20 years ago, he personally escorted a shipment of goods abroad. When passing through the Changju Strait, he encountered pirates. He called for help from the domestic navy. At that time, Zhang Jianjun was just an ordinary soldier on a warship. In a moment of crisis, Zhang Jianjun risked his life to save Shen Fubo and his goods. The two hit it off immediately, and formed a deep friendship. Shen Fubo proposed that if their children were a boy and a girl, they would be engaged from a young age. In that case, let's give the children some more time. After all, they are still young. Come on, let's play again. I don't believe I can't beat you. As soon as I entered the dormitory, I heard the wipeout announcement in the game. At this point, I had also just destroyed the enemy's main base. After returning from the Shen Corporation, I ate a bowl of instant noodles and played games all afternoon, just waiting for Lin Feng. Awesome. A clean sweep. Wait for me to log in. Lin Feng saw my swollen lip and immediately asked with concern, "What happened to your lip?" "It's nothing, a dog bit me." I wasn't in the mood to explain. Anyway, the wound on my lip was caused by Shen Man. "You're not rabid, are you?" Lin Feng, upon hearing this, was scared and kept his distance from me. "Go to hell, rabies. If I had rabies, I'd bite you first." I joked and put my arm around his shoulder. "Good brother, lend me some money." Lin Feng immediately pushed my hand off his shoulder and cautiously put his phone in his pocket. "Didn't you just get paid yesterday? Go withdraw the money yourself." I knew this would happen. He was too smart. So I had to use my half-year of acting skills. I have no other choice. You know why I didn't come back the night before last? It wasn't because it was too late, but because after delivering the last order, I ran into a crazy woman. I tearfully recounted my encounter with the crazy woman. Lin Feng listened with great sympathy. "Hearing you say that woman is really evil. Alright, how much do you want to borrow?" "Lend me 200, okay." I grinned. "Is 200 enough?" Enough. I'll go into hiding for a while, find a job with food and lodging." I found it funny. That crazy woman told me to go over tomorrow, but I wasn't going. After the transfer was complete, I frowned. "It said 200, and you transferred exactly 200. Couldn't you have transferred more?" I packed my luggage, preparing to leave. "Goodbye. I'll pay you back when I have money." I took a taxi to the train station, dreaming about the future. Let's go to Suzhou. It's close to Modu, well developed, and the salary is good. Most importantly, the train ticket is cheap. Putting words into action, I immediately bought a train ticket for the next morning on my phone and slept at the station. At the same time, at the Gu Corporation, Yahello was kneeling on the ground. "You bastard," his father slapped him. "Do you know how much damage you've caused the company?" "Hundreds of billions." Du Shen knew that the stock had dropped by about 10 overnight and rushed back in a rage. "Dad, who did I offend?" Yahello was still dazed. He had just been slapped by Gu Shen and was still in shock. His father had made him kneel as soon as he got back. "Who did you offend?" "You offended Miss Shen from the Shen family, Shen Man." Knowing that the woman was the young lady of the Shen family, Yahello was so scared he almost wet his pants. That was the daughter of a major tycoon in the capital. A single word from her could bankrupt any company in Huaxia. Useless. I'd rather have given birth to a pig than you. From now on, you better behave yourself and cut back on your spending. If you offend someone you shouldn't again, you can just wait to be reforged." The next day, Shen Man sat in her office, frowning. He still hasn't come. Su Weiwei looked embarrassed. "Did you call?" "I did, but he didn't answer." Su Weiwei knew that the calmer Shen Man was, the closer she was to exploding. It was now 801. 1 minute past the appointed time. Shen Man scrolled through the call history. Yesterday, she had called Zhang Dabao. He was the second man Shen Man had ever actively called, but the call couldn't be connected. Shen Man angrily hung up, staring at the phone number as if it would explode. She had been blocked. Very well. You don't want to live, do you? You have to find your own way to die. Weiwei, find him for me. Even if we have to turn Modu upside down, even all of Huaxia, we have to find him. Today was my first day in Suzhou. Thinking about finding a job that was both free, had a decent salary, and paid daily, I suddenly had the idea of carrying bricks. I immediately looked up recruitment information online and went straight to the construction site. The person in charge of the construction site looked me over. "Young man, you look so fair-skinned. Can you carry bricks?" I puffed out my chest, showing off my muscles. "Of course. Don't judge a book by its cover." The person in charge led me to a pile of red bricks, pointed, and said, "Each of these red bricks weighs 5 kilograms and pays 2 dimes. You get paid for how many you carry. If you can carry 50 in an hour, I'll hire you." Simple. Compared to before when I carried 50 kilograms and ran 10 kilometers, this was much easier. I picked up the brick clamp and started carrying. In just 20 minutes, I had finished half the amount. "Alright," the person in charge signaled for me to stop. This speed is no worse than a professional. Can you come to work tomorrow? I was embarrassed. Can I start today? I'm short on money. Alright, start working. Before 6th. If you don't want to work anymore, you can get your pay slip. Great. I looked at the bricks and smiled. These weren't bricks, this was my fortune. I counted on my fingers. 1 times 3 is 3, 2 times 3 is 6. I could earn 600 yuan a day, which was much more than delivering. The only thing was that it was too hot. But as long as I didn't see that woman, my heart was still cool. In the afternoon, I happily took my brick-carrying wages and went straight to the internet cafe. Although I was tired, I was in a good mood. As long as I didn't meet that crazy woman, anywhere was paradise. At the Shin Corporation, Shin Man was surprised to hear the news. Really? Young Debao was carrying bricks in Suzhou on the land we just bought. Su Wei had mobilized many resources to find his whereabouts. Shen Man didn't understand why he would rather carry bricks than be by her side. I have money and looks. Besides my weird personality, there's nothing to complain about. Interesting. Running to Suzhou to carry bricks. But you forgot, this is my territory. Under the scorching sun, sweat poured down my face. Counting half a day yesterday, and half a day today, I had worked a full day. Just a little more, and I'd be done. I'd go to the internet cafe to cool off. At this time, at the gate of the construction site, all the managers were gathered to welcome Shin Man. Shin Man was very dissatisfied. Jiang Debao, you'd rather bake in the sun carrying bricks for a few pennies than be by my side. I want to see how stubborn you can be. After getting out of the car, Su Weiwei held an umbrella for Shen Man. The heat made Shen Man, who was used to the air-conditioned office, feel uncomfortable. Before reaching the gate of the construction site, she saw the managers waiting respectfully. Shen Man's face was dark. Where is Jiang Debao? The managers were clueless. Who is Jiang Debao? Su Weiwei reminded them, the new brick carrier who came yesterday. The very handsome one. At this point, the person in charge who had hired me stepped forward. I know who it is. President Shen, please follow me. Under the guidance of the person in charge, Shen Man came to the break room where I were. Through the window, she saw me busy under the sun. President Shen, that handsome young man, Jiang Debao, works very hard. It's just that he only works half a day every day, earns 300 yuan, and then leaves. Looking at the time, he should be coming to get his pay soon. Shen Man stared at me, anger rising in her heart. 300 yuan. I'm only worth 2/3 of your salary. I was walking towards the break room. Shen Man looked at me with a dangerous smile. Dear Mr. Manager, I'm here to get my pay. It's so comfortable in here, the air conditioning is so cool. I closed my eyes and pushed the door open, saying a familiar phrase, completely unaware that there were 2 more people in the room. After turning around and closing the door, I saw my nightmare. Damn, why are you here? Besides me, the person who reacted the most was the person in charge. Looking at this, it seemed the 2 of them knew each other. I never expected to have hired such a divine figure. Shen Man said softly, you 2, go out. In an instant, I was cornered by Shen Man. I never thought that after only 1 day of peace, this crazy woman would find me. Don't come near me. Shen Man looked at my sweat-drenched face and chuckled. What, surprise. This land you're standing on belongs to my family. Your family's. I froze. I ran to Suzhou to escape Shen Man, but I never thought I'd run straight into her home. She caressed my face and continued, you're very scared of me. Since you're so scared, why did you dare to run away? I told you to come see me the next day, yet you turned around and ran here to carry bricks. Do you take my words as a passing wind? Shen Man caressed my face. I didn't dare to move. Although her small hand felt nice, this wasn't the time to enjoy it. Miss, as you said, this is your family's land, so my carrying bricks here isn't running away. You're right. Since it's the same everywhere, then come back with me. Be a good pet, and I won't treat you badly. This is the 2nd time you've defied my orders. I'll remember it. Let's see how many more times you have left. Shen Man changed her hand position, wiping the sweat from my forehead. Miss Shen, if you're still hung up on that, I sincerely apologize. But please, be reasonable. I warned you that the room was tampered with. It's because you wouldn't listen. Besides, that was also my first time. A man's first time is also very precious. I was like a bullied little wife, feeling more and more aggrieved as I spoke. Your first time felt really good. I liked it very much. If you didn't get to experience the feeling of satisfying me that time, I'll let you experience it again. As Shen Man spoke, she intended to kiss me, but how could I let her have her way? I quickly turned my head to avoid it. Don't be ungrateful. Seeing me refuse, Shen Man directly pressed my head against the wall and kissed my neck. Jiang Debao, I find you more and more interesting. Be a good canary for me, and I will love you very much. Pervert, you're really too perverted. Why is there such a perverted woman in this world? I didn't know how to describe Shen Man anymore. Why did this woman like to treat me like a pet so much? Why is there no sound? Hearing the silence in the room, Su Weiwei, who was standing outside in the sun eavesdropping, felt anxious. Feeling the door knob loosen, she quickly turned and stood up straight. President Shen, where are we going next? Back to the villa. Have some decent clothes prepared for him. Find some people to watch him. Su Weiwei thought she had misheard. The boss wanted to bring a man back to her house. Wait, is that a lipstick mark on his neck? Su Weiwei frowned. Does the boss really like this man? Before long, they escorted me to the villa. Shen Man received an email from the company saying there were important documents to sign. She seemed reluctant to go. Looks like I'll have to wait until tonight to teach you a lesson. I have to go back to the company. You stink. Before I get back, you have to take a good shower for me. Otherwise. She turned and warned the bodyguards, you guys watch him well. If you let him run away, you'll be eating cold rice when you get back. After she left the villa, I observed the luxurious but impersonal house. Seeing the bodyguards around me approaching, I was a little panicked. What are you guys trying to do? Mr. John, these are the clothes President Shen prepared for you. Please choose a set, then go take a shower and change. A bodyguard pulled over a rack full of high-end shirts. Not showering. She says I stink. I'll stink her to death. Seeing that I wasn't cooperating, the bodyguards exchanged glances and then carried me into the bathroom. Don't take off my underwear. Don't you guys have any? Ouch, 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 my skin is about to be rubbed off. After being forced to take a shower by several large men, although my body itched, I felt quite refreshed. My stomach rumbled. Damn it, I was carried here since noon. I hadn't eaten anything and had been hungry all afternoon. I had no strength left to struggle, so I played games all afternoon. Mr. Jun, dinner is ready, but we have to wait for President Shen to come back before we can eat. I don't care. I'm hungry. I want to eat. If you're hungry, then eat. At some point, Shen Man had appeared at the door of the living room. Seeing her return, I didn't dare to be presumptuous anymore. This was her house, she was the master, and I still had to maintain some courtesy. Shen Man hung her coat at the door and walked towards me. The first thing she did was to check if I had showered. You smell good. I'm very satisfied. At the dinner table, I ate like a man who hadn't eaten in 10 years. Shen Man didn't touch her chopsticks, just rested her chin on her hand and sat opposite me, occasionally smiling meaningfully. Why aren't you eating? I'm not hungry. I'm waiting to eat something more delicious. I didn't think too much about the meaning behind Shen Man's words and took another plate of food. After a while, I patted my full stomach. Was this meal good? Shen Man asked. Are you full? He smiled and nodded. This much should be enough. What's enough? As soon as I finished speaking, I felt something was wrong with my head. Shen Man looked at me with a sly smile. Of course it's you, you crazy woman, you drugged me. Now I understood why Shen Man didn't touch her chopsticks. She had put drugs in the food. The delicious food she was waiting to eat was me. Before long, I was lying on a soft bed. Although my mind was clear, my whole body was hot, as if it was about to explode. Shen Man, who had just finished showering, sat on the edge of the bed. Seeing me open my eyes, she showed a surprised expression. Your stamina is not bad. You ate so much and are still awake. The next morning, I woke up to see Shen Man standing by the bed. Looking at her expression, I knew that last night was very satisfying. Don't look at me like that. Who told you not to listen? Shen Man laughed coldly. You doing this will only make me hate you more. It's okay if you hate me. As long as you are in my hands, you just have to be a good pet. She dotingly pinched my cheek and gave me a light kiss on the lips. So cute. I lay in bed all day, unable to get up. The maid brought me food twice, but I didn't touch it. When I had to pee, I tried to prop myself up, but I fell as soon as I got out of bed. Damn it, this crazy woman had made my legs go soft. Leaning against the wall, I managed to get to the toilet, and finally relieved myself after holding it in all day. There was a knock on the door. Sire, Mrs. Back. Please come out for dinner. Leaning against the headboard, I looked at the time. It was already late afternoon, which meant I hadn't eaten all day. I had no intention of going out. Shen Man pushed the door open directly. Are you going on a hunger strike with me? Yes and no. I'm just afraid someone will put drugs in the food again. Seeing that she was about to get angry, the maid quickly tried to mediate. Miss, maybe my cooking doesn't suit Mr. Jung's taste. Next time, I'll ask him what he likes to eat first. Shen Man laughed coldly. I'll give you two choices now. Either you come out and eat obediently, and I won't hold your attitude against you. Or, if you have the guts, you can starve for me to see. After speaking, she walked out and sat sideways in the host's seat, looking at the sumptuous dinner but having no appetite at all. The maid was worried. Or should I go and persuade Mr. Jung to eat with Miss? No need. Whether he comes out or not is his business. Just like that, Shen Man waited outside for 2 full hours, but he still didn't come out. Her patience had run out. It had always been others who waited for her. No one had ever made her wait for so long. 2 hours was enough to do it again, and this time there were no drugs in the food. She glanced at the closed door and angrily ordered the maid, "Without my permission, no one is to bring him food." With that, she picked up her bag and left the villa. 3 days after Shenman left, she stayed in another house in Modu. In addition to the company's affairs that gave her a headache, she had almost forgotten that I was still imprisoned in her house. She received a phone call from the maid in a panic. "What did you say?" "Miss, Mr. Jun hasn't eaten for 3 days, has fainted, and has been sent to the hospital." "Which hospital is he in?" "I'll be right there." She then notified her subordinates to postpone the meeting. "At Modu, no. One People's Hospital." The doctor examined me, and then looked at Shenman meaningfully. "The patient is in no danger, just that he has been starving for a long time and his stomach is too empty. Also, there are some things that need to be controlled. The patient is very weak right now, and should not do that for the time being." After the doctor left, the others also tactfully withdrew. Shenman pulled up a chair and sat by the bed, crossing her legs and arms, looking at me with a hint of guilt in her eyes. "Are you satisfied now? If this is the result you wanted, then you win." From her tone, I could feel that her hatred for me had deepened. She didn't show any dissatisfaction, just left a sentence, "Rest well, I'll come visit you tomorrow," and left. Shenman had softened. If it had been anyone else with such an attitude towards her, they would have been skinned at the very least. Outside, Shenman instructed Su Weiwei, "You stay and take care of him. Tell my Seswu to come and cook for him." "Yes. I'll come visit him after work tomorrow. The person he least wants to see right now is President Shen." Shenman saw Su Weiwei hesitating, and said coldly, "If you have something to say it quickly." "President Shen, don't scold me. I'm not being nosy, but you are really a bit too much with him. If you really like him, you can pursue him. It's okay to be a little aggressive, but your methods are a bit too." After saying these 2 words, Su Weiwei didn't dare to look directly at Shenman. Shenman muttered, "Really too much." I'll continue the translation. "There's new information. There's been progress with the delivery." The next day, Shenman asked Su Weiwei, "How is he?" "Quite good. He can be discharged today." She noticed that as long as Shenman wasn't around, I became much more natural. "What is he doing?" "Playing games." Su Weiwei couldn't help but praise me as being good, then realized it was inappropriate and quickly fell silent. "Su Weiwei, I told you to take care of him, not to play games with him." Su Weiwei bowed her head, not daring to argue, thinking to herself, "President Shen is jealous." Shenman walked into the hospital room. I was shouting in the game, completely oblivious to her presence. Shenman sat in silence. She had thought a lot about Su Weiwei's words last night. Maybe she really needed to change something. I lost the game and angrily threw my phone. The phone happened to land at Shenman's feet. Only then did I notice she was here, and immediately became embarrassed. "Can we have a serious talk?" Shenman placed the phone next to me. "There's nothing to talk about. The sight of you makes me want to puke." I thought I could provoke her. I admit I was too much before. "I can give you your freedom. This is my biggest concession." "Freedom?" Shenman said coldly. "What's the difference between me and software? Our meeting was an accident. I don't owe you anything." Shenman was silent. She knew I was right, but in her heart, she had really fallen for me. "Tell me, what do you want? Let's go back to our previous lives. No one owes anyone anything." "Impossible," Shenman's voice was firm. "As long as you are by my side, I won't force you to do anything." In the end, I still compromised. After returning home, my Seswu saw Shenman holding my hand and smiled. The conflict had been resolved. During the meal, I was still hesitant and couldn't help but ask, "You didn't put drugs in it, did you?" "No, I was just waiting for you to finish eating. Because I want you to feed me." Shenman rested her chin on her hand and looked at me. I was helpless and finally compromised. "All right, but don't do anything funny." After the meal, Shenman suggested sleeping with me tonight. I refused. "Just sleeping, nothing else. You think I'll believe that?" Shenman whispered in my ear. I still couldn't trust her but had to reluctantly agree. That night, Shenman pulled me into bed to sleep with her. I was helpless and had to find a corner to lie down in. Although she didn't do anything outrageous, she still kept touching me. I didn't pay much attention, thinking to myself, "Although you are beautiful, in my heart there is only the party and the people." The next day, she brought me to the company, which surprised the employees. Everyone knew she didn't like men, but they never expected her to bring a man into the office. The 2 security guards were even more surprised. A few days ago, I was still delivering food, and now I had become the boss's favorite. "Just stay here. You can do whatever you want, but you can't leave my sight," she instructed. The second time I came to the company, I was overwhelmed by the luxury of the office. She pointed to the empty space next to her desk. "Buy me a high-end computer set and snacks. Even buy a refrigerator to store soft drinks." Shen Man agreed to everything. Su Weiwei wanted to intervene but couldn't and had to busy herself with shopping. I looked at the pile of equipment being delivered, turning the office into a game room. Get me a glass of water. Wait a minute, let me finish this round. I played games while getting her water. Remember to transfer the money to me, I reminded her, and immediately received 10,000 yuan. I played games all afternoon, tired and sprawled out on the sofa, eating spicy snacks and drinking coke. I didn't expect Shen Man to be very annoyed by the smell of spicy food. What are you looking at me for? You want some too? I provoked. I don't eat that stuff. It's no different from garbage. Hey, what you said isn't right. Spicy snacks and instant noodles are delicacies of the world, I said, dissatisfied. President Shen, let's play a game. You eat a piece of spicy snack, and I'll give you 1 yuan. Dare you? She laughed and agreed. Okay, feed me a piece for 5,000. I took a piece of spicy snack and brought it to her mouth. She actually took a bite. Just then, Su Weiwei pushed the door open and witnessed this scene. I didn't see anything. Su Weiwei panicked and turned to run out. Shen Man glared at me angrily and then suddenly kissed me domineeringly. You're right, it really is a delicacy of the world. Pervert, I am no longer pure. I sighed helplessly like a bullied little Y. I sat on the sofa in a huff, playing games. She talked to me a few times, but I only responded perfunctorily. I didn't want to pay attention to this crazy woman, but I knew that doing so would only make her angry, and I might have to go to the hospital again. Still mad at me. She didn't understand and licked my lips. Is it necessary to be so angry? I was annoyed in my heart. It's good that you know. I really don't understand what kind of woman is so perverted that she licks other people's lips. A murderous aura emanated from her. My hands trembled, and my game character was killed. I had to suppress my anger and praise her a few times, but Shen Man didn't pay any attention. A pet must have the awareness of a pet. As long as you are in my hands for a day, you must be obedient. As soon as she finished speaking, she brought her face close to mine, patted my cheek, and smiled to ease the tension. I helplessly bared my teeth in a smile. Shen Man was still not satisfied and manually adjusted my expression. This is much better. Also very cute. She pinched my cheek, becoming more and more infatuated with this feeling. Then she lay down on the sofa, stretched out her long legs, and motioned for me to massage them. I tried to restrain myself, looking at her long, straight, and fair legs. Miss Shen, you can do this yourself. Men and women are different. She laughed coldly. Men and women are different. Don't forget, we've slept together 3 times already. There will be many more in the future. Don't say such things to me. Or are you not a man? I couldn't stand it anymore. Whether I am or not, don't you know? Or are you not a woman? Her face darkened. She kicked towards me with force. To avoid it, I lay down, creating an opportunity for her. She stood up and stepped on me, looking down from above. Just as I was about to get angry, Shen Man's posture made my nose bleed. Seeing this, she quickly withdrew her foot. Are you okay? I raised my hand to stop her from getting closer, pretending to be in pain. Go away, don't touch me. She heard me muttering that pink didn't suit her, that a woman like her should wear purple. She was furious. My voice made her even angrier. Zheng Dabao, are you tired of living? What are you trying to do? I'm telling you, I'm a patient. In being mistreated, I grumbled. It was the first time I'd ever seen someone who could spot an injury just by looking at my underwear. She grabbed my leg and started dragging me into the bedroom. Hey, what are you doing? Why are you pulling me? I'm going to teach you a lesson, and then you'll be obedient, she said. Accompanied by my pathetic screams, she dragged me into the bedroom. The next day, exhausted, I followed Shen Man to the Shen Corporation. The moment I entered the office, I collapsed onto the sofa and fell asleep. That crazy woman had kept me up late, and I couldn't take it anymore. In contrast, Shen Man was full of energy. It seems a man truly is the best cosmetic for a woman. Seeing me fast asleep, Shen Man couldn't help but gently place my head on her lap, lulling me to sleep like a baby. My little man, you're so adorable. Suddenly, there was a knock on the door. Xiao Shen, there's an urgent matter to report. Shen Man cut them off. I'm not free right now. Come back later. Outside the door, her secretary, Su Weiwei, was bewildered. This was the first time she had been turned away. She started imagining what kind of intimate things we might be doing in the office. A while later, I finally woke up, shifting on the sofa. Drool had soaked Shen Man's thigh. This sofa wasn't bad, soft and fragrant. I opened my eyes and saw something blocking my view. I reached out to touch it, but she grabbed my wrist. Are you looking to die? Hearing her voice, I instantly sobered up and tried to sit up. Don't move, she said, forcefully pushing my head back down. My man, what are you afraid of? Weren't you sleeping comfortably? Her question left me speechless. It was comfortable, but if I had known I was sleeping on her lap, I would have rather slept in a pigsty. Su Weiwei knocked again. Xiao Shen, are you available now? 3 hours had passed. She figured whatever we were doing must be finished by now. Shen Man cursed under her breath and decided to find something for Su Weiwei to do. She reluctantly pushed my head onto the sofa cushion and returned to her desk. Come in, she said unhappily. Su Weiwei carefully reported, Xiao Shen, the new project in Suzhou has hit a snag. The supplier has raised the price of raw materials by 50. We've negotiated several times with no results. If this continues, the company's plans will be delayed. Shen Man was furious. How could the planning department make such a basic mistake? Tell the department head to get in here now. Before long, the head of the planning department shuffled in, stunned to see me playing a game on the sofa next to her. Shen Man raged. As the head of planning, you couldn't even spot a problem in the contract. You've caused a huge loss for the company. What use are you? While the department head bowed his head and took the scolding, I was complaining about not getting good equipment in my game. The room fell silent. Su Weiwei and the department head both stared at me. Shen Man turned to me. What do you think about this? I said dismissively, what does your company's business have to do with me? Solve it yourself. Come here, she beckoned. I walked over cautiously. She grabbed my ear and hissed, have I been giving you too much face? Ow, I was wrong. Let go, we can talk about this calmly. Shen Man released me. Now, tell me what you think. Isn't it just a bunch of thugs? I have a plan. What plan? What's in it for me? I asked. As long as you handle this well, you'll get your share. We struck a deal. In front of the other two, she rewarded me with a kiss and whispered in my ear, after this is settled, you can do whatever you want with me. How about that? I was truly being driven mad by her. What kind of twisted mentality did this woman have? When she was happy, she'd drag me to bed. When she wasn't, she'd torture me endlessly. I couldn't stand it. Her attitude suddenly changed. She called the planning department head over. You will assist him fully. Whether this succeeds is up to him, but your position also depends on it. The department head, Sun Tao, immediately began to flatter me. Yes, I understand, Xiao Shen. I will do my utmost to assist this handsome gentleman. As I prepared to leave for Suzhou, Shen Man again instructed Sun Tao to keep a close eye on me. Standing in front of the Shen Corporation headquarters, I sensed something was off about her. Come back in 3 days. Once this is done, you can do whatever you want. I secretly rejoiced. Really? Only 3 days. The tax had arrived. There was no way I was coming back. At a Chinese restaurant in Suzhou, Manager Sun handed me several negotiation proposals. I didn't even look at them, focusing on the delicious food. Let me handle it, I said. I had already noticed we were being followed, and knew who sent them. I decided to enjoy my freedom for a bit, spending 2 days sightseeing and having fun. During that time, I quietly figured out the number and positions of the people watching me. On the final day, I proposed to negotiate with the supplier. It turned out the supplier had connections to the Gu family, and was deliberately exploiting a loophole in the contract to raise the price. Hu Xiao's intention was clear, fleece them for all they were worth. I was taken to a temporary prefabricated house, surrounded by countless muscular thugs who threatened me to accept the price increase and get on my knees. I wasn't scared at all. Kneel. You're out of luck, I retorted. I didn't hold back and gave them a beating. In the end, I demanded they not only supply the materials at the original price but also refund 50 of the costs. In front of Manager Sun, the thugs relayed my message. He's gone back to Modu. Xiao Shen can find him there if she needs him. Sun Tao believed them and happily returned with the new contract. Shen Man was furious. She opened the contract and found the 300 yuan I had left behind with a note. 300 yuan, compensation for 2 nights of hard work. Coupled with the fact that I had run away, she completely lost it. She screamed at Sun Tao, you useless idiot, didn't I tell you to watch him? Go find him. If you can't, you can pack your bags and go mine in Africa. Meanwhile, I was enjoying my 3 days of freedom, unaware that the future conflicts would be even more unavoidable. Shen Man was livid and determined to find me and teach me a lesson. In Modu, I snuck out the back door of a factory. I had been preparing for this chance to escape. I knew this escape wouldn't last long. That crazy woman would surely search the entire city for me. But ironically, the safest place was right under her nose. So I returned to Modu, certain she wouldn't expect me to be right there. I didn't go to the city center but stayed in the suburbs. Finally free, I muttered to myself. Shen Man, you treated me like a boy toy, sleeping with me whenever you wanted. I'll get my revenge with this 300 yuan sleeping fee. 300 yuan. In a wealthy city like Modu, what could that even do? And it was for 2 nights, making it only 150 yuan per session. It was even less than the 200 from the first time. I decided to find a discreet place to stay to avoid being caught again. I chose to hide in an internet cafe. A large corporation like Shen's would never look in a place like this. A newly opened internet cafe became my hideout. I chose it because it was crowded. I found the highest, rated one in the area on a map. Your eyed, please, I told the female employee. She processed it skillfully. Zone B2, machine 250. The employee, Yu Duan, was quite attractive and drew a lot of attention. I noticed her discomfort with the stairs and quickly apologized. Sorry, I didn't mean to. My apologies if I was rude. This improved her impression of me. It's okay. Just don't stare next time. You look handsome, so you probably aren't that kind of person. Seeing a help wanted sign at the counter, I became interested. I was free anyway, and working at an internet cafe didn't sound bad. Are you still hiring? Yes. We provide food and lodging. You just have to be able to handle night shifts and have good character, Yu Duan added. They were hiring a male employee to avoid unwanted attention from male customers. Seeing that I quickly recognized my mistake and apologized, Yu Duan decided to give me a chance. So, what do you think? I'm healthy and especially good with night shifts. Salary isn't important as long as I have a place to eat and sleep. Yu Duan sized me up. Besides being handsome and polite, he didn't seem particularly special. Alright, you can have a trial for a few days. You get free internet and snacks. Just bring customers their food and drinks when they order. I'm the owner here, she said. I was surprised. You're the owner. Just call me Sister Duan. It's time to switch shifts. I sat down in the still warm chair, the faint scent of her perfume lingering in the air. Understand everything I told you. No problem, Sister Duan. I guarantee I'll get the job done. Talking to a reasonable woman was so different, I thought to myself, and for some reason, I remembered Shen Man. Was I addicted to being mistreated? During the evening rush, I was incredibly busy, from setting up computers for customers to delivering food and drinks. I didn't even have time to sit down. A yellow-haired guy with tattoos swaggered up to the counter. Hey, new guy, get me a computer. I asked for his ad. He irritably slammed it on the keyboard and looked around. Where's the girl who was here before? Why isn't she here today? His tone was full of contempt. Just then, I got a message from Yu Duan. Don't mind him. He's just a local thug with a bit of money who comes here every day to cause trouble. She explained that a month ago, Huang Mao started bringing his gang to harass her because he was interested in her. Seeing I was ignoring him, Huang Mao cursed. Are you deaf? Oh, were you talking to me? He said calmly. Sorry, I thought I heard a dog barking. Here's your eyed, Huang Mao, a yellow-haired dog. He was furious. Are you looking to die? He roared. Don't you recognize your own name? I continued to taunt him. Enraged, Huang Mao grabbed a water bottle from the counter, ready to attack. Just then, Yu Duan ran out to intervene. What do you think you're doing? Seeing her, Huang Mao's attitude softened. Be my girlfriend. I have money. I can give you anything you want. If you want to use the internet, go play. If not, get out. Don't pollute the air here, Yu Duan said with disgust. You don't believe I can get this place shut down with a single word. He threatened. I chimed in, hey, yellow dog, stop barking. Believe it or not, I can call the police and have you sold to a dog meat butcher. Huang Mao trembled with anger, snatched his eyed, and stormed off, stepping in dog poop on his way out, which made everyone laugh. Afterward, Yu Duan looked at me gratefully. After my shift, I saw a message from my friend, Lin Feng. You've been gone a week. When are you coming back? I'm bored to death in the dorm alone. I remembered I had borrowed 200 yuan from him before I left and decided to be generous, sending him 2,000 yuan. A second later, he accepted it. Damn, bro, did you strike it rich? Or did some rich lady pick you up? Lin Feng messaged me frantically. I chuckled and replied, not really. I'm just a humble internet cafe employee now. I even sent him a picture as proof. Damn, are you really working at an internet cafe? Where? Is the pay that good? Are they still hiring? I was a bit annoyed. The pay isn't that good. I just wanted a quiet place. As for hiring, you should just stick to your delivery job. Then at least tell me where you are. That's not too much to ask, right? The cafe was getting crowded. Busy now, talk later. He started serving customers. After an hour, I finally had a moment to breathe and played some old flash games. Just then, a girl's voice came from outside. Jing, maybe we shouldn't go in. I've never been to an internet cafe before. What's the big deal? We're adults. Let's go in. When they entered, one of them, Liu Jing, saw me and her eyes lit up. Whoa, so handsome, she said, pulling her friend, Liu Yanjing, over to look. Liu Yanjing blushed. Hello, I said, stopping what I was doing. If you'd like to use a computer, please provide your ads. Facing two infatuated girls, I felt a bit helpless. This was the trouble with being handsome. Liu Jing handed over her ad, her eyes never leaving my face. Hey handsome, how old are you? 24, I replied warily. Oh, an adult. That's good. I felt a little worried. This girl seemed to have bad intentions. Here's your ride. Liu Jing took it, deliberately touching my hand. I pulled back as if electrocuted. Liu Yingjing shyly handed me her ride. After setting them up, I pointed them to their section, hoping they would leave quickly. Hey handsome, let's add each other on WeChat, Liu Jing said, getting close. We can have a deep exchange sometime. Miss, I have to work, I said, trying to refuse. Please go to your computer. Fine, handsome. I'll come find you later, she said reluctantly. At their computers, Liu Jing kept looking towards the counter, taking pictures and videos. Yingjing, can you stop drooling? Liu Yingjing said helplessly. I brought them 2 bottles of water. It was the 9th time they had ordered something. I was annoyed but held it in. Mrs., can you really finish all this? Liu Jing snatched the water, using the opportunity to touch my hand again. Handsome, add me on WeChat. My sister and I can have a deep exchange with you. I was about to lose my mind. Why did she keep mentioning a deep exchange? Zhang Daibao, what are you doing? Go set up a computer for that customer, someone called out. I was relieved and hurried off. Watching the 2 girls finally leave, I slumped into my chair. So difficult, I sighed. Yu Duan came over and teased me. You're quite popular with the ladies, aren't you? Of course, I said confidently. They call me the #1 heartthrob of Modu. Yu Duan laughed and playfully smacked my head. That night, Shinman sat at the dining table in her villa, staring blankly, thinking about my betrayal. Young Dabao, just wait until I find you. I'll show you the price of betraying me. 2 days later, at the Shen Corporation, it had been 4 days since I ran away. Fun Tao had turned Suzhou upside down but found no trace of me. That day, he was chewed out by Shinman in her office. You useless fool, 4 days and you can't find one living person. Get out and go mine in Africa. Just then, Su Weiwei burst in without knocking. Xiao Shen, there's news about Zheng Dabao. Shenman told Sun Tao to get out and glared at Su Weiwei, who quickly showed her a video on her phone. He stumbled upon this video last night while browsing online. The video showed me working at the internet cafe, filmed from the side. But Shenman recognized me immediately. The video itself was normal, but the caption was provocative. This is the handsome internet cafe employee my sister and I met. He's so hot, I even made up excuses to touch his hand 10 times. It's so soft. The video had millions of views and hundreds of thousands of likes, with comments filled with infatuated girls. Shenman flew into a rage and smashed Su Weiwei's phone. Zhang Daba, she sees. Have I not treated you well enough? I can give you anything you want. You humiliate me with money, and now you're working at an internet cafe letting other women touch you. Where is he? He's at the Starlight Internet Cafe in the suburbs of Modu, Su Weiwei said, picking up her shattered phone and seeing the location tag. Shenman laughed coldly. You still like playing with fire, don't you? She then told Su Weiwei, go get a new phone. Bill it to the finance department. Su Weiwei was secretly thrilled to get a new phone out of this. Meanwhile, at the internet cafe, ever since that video went viral, the place was packed from morning till night. Yu Duan had to drag me out of bed to work. Why are there so many people all of a sudden? And most of them are women, I complained. I don't know either. The number of customers just exploded, Yu Duan said, equally confused. The girls in line saw me and started whispering excitedly. Is that the handsome guy from the video? He's even better looking in person. What video? I asked, surprised. A girl showed me on her phone. You're famous. Looking at the comments, I finally understood it was because of those 2 girls. I was utterly exasperated. Just then, Shenman arrived. Seeing the long line of mostly women, she pushed straight through the crowd, ignoring the complaints. With one cold glance, everyone fell silent. She walked aggressively to the counter. Without looking up, I told her to get in line. She threw her ID card at me. When I saw the name and photo, I froze completely. Zhang Dabao. What a coincidence, Shenman said coldly. Yu Duan, standing beside me, sensed something was wrong. She realized I and this woman had some kind of relationship. I was extremely tense. What a coincidence indeed, I said, not daring to look up. Oh no, she found me. Sister Duan, I have to use the restroom urgently. Can you cover the counter for a bit? He stood up and ran towards the bathroom. The other female customers were unhappy with Shenman for scaring me off. He's my man, Shenman declared coldly, asserting her dominance. She ignored their criticisms and followed me. Yu Duan was a bit surprised but guessed she was probably my girlfriend, and that I was hiding from her. In the bathroom, I was too nervous to even pee, regretting stuffing that 300 yuan and the note in her contract. I was cursing my luck when I heard a familiar voice. Are you hiding from me? Shenman had suddenly appeared in the men's restroom. I was so startled I hadn't even pulled up my pants. How dare you come into the men's room? I asked, shocked. Why wouldn't I? It's not like I haven't seen it before, she replied casually, looking at me with a mocking gaze. This is the men's room, You're a woman, go to the other side. Shen Man ignored me, her voice threatening. Outside, I'll give you some face. I won't do anything to you. But you're coming back with me. In your dreams. I'd rather be your nephew than go back with you, I retorted. Shen Man laughed coldly. You'd better be obedient and come back with me. I can overlook the matter of you insulting me with 300 yuan. If you've got the guts, then bite me, I said defiantly. Without hesitation, Shen Man bit down hard on my shoulder. Ow, you actually did it, let go, I cried out in pain. You better keep quiet, she warned. If someone hears and comes in, I'm not taking responsibility. Her warning scared me into silence. After a few seconds, she finally let go, leaving teeth marks and saliva on my shoulder. I quickly wiped it off. Seeing my action, she got angry. You find me disgusting. I'm not disgusted by you after all the other girls who have touched you these past few days. What right do you have to be disgusted by me? You left your saliva on me, isn't that gross? He argued. I don't think so. You can leave your saliva anywhere on me, she replied boldly. Stop it. How can you be so shameless? I interrupted. You're right. But only with you. You should feel honored. My pet, Shen Man said, her face flushing. I was desperate. My great ancestor, please spare me. If you want a man, find someone else. I was practically on my knees, begging to be free of this crazy woman. Call me master, she demanded, unhappy with my address. Call me master just once. The sound of shattering glass broke the silence. Outside, chaos erupted. Get that pretty boy out here, Huang Mao shouted, leading a group of thugs. He had smashed a liquor bottle on the floor. Yu Duan, though scared, stood her ground. You deserved it. I'm warning you, don't cause trouble, or I'll call the police. Huang Mao laughed. Call them. Let's see if they get here faster than I can break your legs. He had bribed the local police long ago. I'll say it again, hand that kid over. In your dreams, Yu Duan shouted. If you won't hand him over, I'll find him myself. I'll pay for anything that gets broken, he ordered his men. Just then, I stepped out from the back. Who's barking out here? Oh, it's the mangy dog, Huang Mao. Kid, Huang Mao sneered, you were so tough a few days ago. Let's see what you've got now. Against a pathetic dog like you. I wouldn't even break a sweat taking down 10 of you. Yu Duan pulled me back. You should go, I'll handle them. Don't worry, I reassured her. These lackeys aren't even enough for me to pick my teeth with. Break his legs, Huang Mao commanded. His men rushed towards me, but a deep voice stopped them. I'd like to see who dares touch my man. All eyes turned to Shen Man as she emerged with an air of absolute authority. Huang Mao's eyes nearly popped out of his head. Keep staring, and I'll gouge out your eyes and feed them to the dogs, she said coldly. She then turned to me. I'll give you one more chance. Come home with me. If anyone dares to touch you, they won't see tomorrow's sunrise. You go home by yourself. I'm not going back with you, I refused. Shen Man didn't waste more words and walked towards Su Weiwei and her driver, but Huang Mao blocked her path. Without a word, she kicked him squarely in the groin. He immediately collapsed, clutching himself in agony. The kick, delivered with a high heel, must have been devastating. Huang Mao was likely sterile now. Get that bitch, he roared in pain. I'm going to. The driver pulled out a gun and aimed it at the thugs. I'd like to see who dares take another step. Huang Mao's arrogance vanished. His men trembled. Even so, he still wouldn't let Ming and Yu Duan go. He gritted his teeth and ordered, get the woman first, then break the kid's legs. As the men advanced on us, Shen Man just watched me coldly, with no intention of helping. Shen Man, I said, resigned, get him out of here. I'll go back with you. Only then did she speak. Why should I help you? You didn't take the chance I gave you. Don't blame me. Just get him out of here, and I'll go back with you and obey your every word, I gritted out. Shen Man sneered. So this is what it takes to make you come back with me. I'm so disappointed. But I did promise. She took the gun from the driver, walked up to Huang Mao, and pressed the muzzle against his forehead. Get your people and get out. Or die. And if you dare come back, you'll die too. You can test whether my Shen Corporation has that power. The price will be your life. This time, Huang Mao was so scared he wet his pants. He never imagined this woman was from the Shen Corporation. Anyone in business knew not to mess with them. The gun to his head felt like the Grim Reaper's sigh. Let's go, help me up, let's go. His men, who had never seen a woman as fierce as Shen Man, quickly helped him away. With the matter resolved, Shen Man got in her car. De Bao, are you okay? Yu Duan asked. I'm fine. She's just a crazy woman. Sister Duan, I'll visit you when I have the chance. As much as I didn't want to go with Shen Man, I had given my word. I had fallen into her hands once again. After taking me back to the villa, Shen Man didn't stay. She and Su Weiwei returned to the company. Clearly, catching me had caused her to fall behind on work. Now that she had me, she had to go back and handle things. Because of me, the entire company staff was suffering. The slightest mistake was a major crime in Shenman's eyes. Even the planning department head, Sun Tao, was punished with a week-long business trip to Africa. By Shenman's side, Su Weiwei was the most anxious. Serving her was like walking on a razor's edge. Every word and action could affect Shenman's mood. One misstep, and she could be on a trip to Africa too. I was once again imprisoned in the villa. I wasn't naive enough to think Shenman would actually let me off. She was surely thinking of new ways to torment me. Security around the villa was tightened, with more guards and 360-degree surveillance. There was no chance of escape. Seeing this, I gave up. The housekeeper Wu, saw me being brought back but didn't ask questions. Though she had watched Shenman grow up, she knew her place. As night fell, Shenman returned from work. She found me sitting at the dinner table. She said nothing, sat down beside me, and began to eat. After I was full, I burped loudly. Finish eating, then go upstairs and wait for me in the room, she ordered coldly. I don't want to say it twice. Though I wanted to resist, I knew it would only make her angrier, so I obediently went upstairs. 2.5 hours later, as I was about to fall asleep, I felt something press down on me. I instinctively swatted it, and realized it was Shenman. She had been drinking, and was wearing only a thin nightgown, looking incredibly seductive. Her beautiful face was close to mine, her breath heavy with alcohol. Why do you always want to run away? She questioned, her eyes moist. Why can't you just stay by my side obediently? I am willing to give you everything. For a moment, I forgot to resist. Seeing her vulnerability, I said calmly, our meeting was just an accident. I have no obligation to care about your feelings. Your self-righteousness is something I can't accept. I didn't mean to look down on her. She was outstanding and beautiful, but her personality really needed to change. But Shenman didn't want to hear it. All she wanted was for me to be with her. She wrapped her arms around my neck, and kissed me frantically. I struggled, but she was surprisingly strong. Suddenly, I heard the click of metal. She had taken out a pair of handcuffs and cuffed my hands together. Where did you even get these? Are you a pervert? In response, Shenman just smiled devilishly, licking her lips. I told you, you are my pet, and I am your master. You can only be mine. Looking at her, I thought she might actually be insane. She coded me to be her good little pet while using every means to immobilize me. The more I resisted, the more excited she became. Wouldn't it be nice to be my pet? If you don't listen, you'll have to be punished. In the end, I could only watch her in despair, helpless. Ouch, it hurts. Shenman woke up with a start, finding herself wrapped around me like an octopus, her chest sticky with drool from her sleep. What's wrong with me? She tried to get up but had no strength, falling heavily back onto me. The burning sensation cleared her head. She slapped her forehead, remembering the wild events of the previous night, a wave of shame and regret washing over her. Looking at the marks on my body, she felt both proud and embarrassed. You say you hate it, but your body is very honest, she mumbled, her face turning red. Then she realized she was the one who had been the aggressor. You're lucky. Now, you truly belong to me. She gently stroked my cheek, kissed my lips once more, and drifted back to sleep, satisfied. When I woke up, I felt a heavy weight on me. Seeing Shenman looking at me happily, I felt a bit helpless. Last night was a blur. I felt like I had been completely tricked by this woman, yet a part of me couldn't resist. You're awake. Shenman smiled. I grimaced. Last night, I was clearly the one being forced, but now it seemed like I was the instigator. Shenman sat up lightly. I'm not in good shape either, she said. You're exhausted too. If you want to use money to humiliate me again, it will be at my price. 10 million per session, non-negotiable. If you can't pay, you'll pay with your body. I almost coughed up blood. What kind of logic was that? I pushed my weak body up. Damn it. Let's go eat. I doubt you dare poison me. After washing up, I saw Shenman already waiting at the table. Housekeeper who had prepared a large bowl of butter jumps over the wall soup for me. You have two choices, Shenman smiled. Continue to come to the company with me, or be kept by me at home. It seemed like a choice, but it really wasn't. Resigned, I angrily ate my breakfast. What are you doing? I asked, dodging as Shenman reached for me. She moved closer and wiped a bit of grease from my lips. It was the first time I'd seen her so gentle, but I immediately reminded myself it was an act. You performed very well last night. I'm very satisfied. Therefore, you're officially hired, my dear. Shenman's term of endearment made my eyes roll. I just hoped she'd let me go after her joke was over. Life at the company was boring. I could only play games to kill time. Debao, are you okay? You do I message me. I'm fine, I replied. Is that your girlfriend? The girl from yesterday. She teased. She's a crazy woman, I replied with a bitter smile. Did you two have a fight? I nodded. Let's not talk about the past. You do I and suddenly got serious. Sister has big ambitions. I don't want to run an internet cafe anymore. I'm thinking of starting my own business. My interest was piqued. Do you need any help? You? She asked, half doubting. What can you do? Let me try, I said firmly. I walked into Shinman's office. Help me with something. Help a female friend of mine start a business. Shinman hesitated for a moment, then said, consider it a reward for taking care of me. I was speechless. Shinman was always unpredictable. Her sudden agreement was completely unexpected. Shouldn't she be furious and want to tear me apart right now? What else do you want? I've already agreed to your request, Shinman said, putting down her work and glaring at me. You were actually trying to provoke me, hoping I'd get angry, right? She had seen right through me. We're just like brother and sister, I said. Thank goodness. Otherwise I really wouldn't have survived last night. Shinman crossed her arms and legs, slowly waiting for my answer, her foot brushing against my leg. How can you be so naughty, you bad man? Her coquettish tone stunned me, and I subconsciously took a few steps back. Miss Shen, can you please be normal? Don't be so scary. After hearing me, she became even more flirtatious. She pointed to her shoulder. Massage my shoulder. Don't you have hands? Do it yourself. She laughed coldly. You said you would obey my every word. Now, massage my shoulder. Otherwise, I might reconsider my attitude towards your friend. Helplessly, I had to walk over and do as she said. After a moment, she complained, didn't you eat? You weren't like this last night. Her words infuriated me, and I immediately increased the pressure. Shenman let out a soft moan, her face flushing. That's enough, I said, waving my hand. I'm tired. Not bad, Shenman said with a satisfied smile. I'll let you off this time. I want to go out. It's so boring here. Hearing I wanted to go out again, Shenman's expression immediately changed. No. You can only stay here. I just want to go out and have some fun, I'm not running away again. If you don't believe me, you can have someone follow me. Staying here all the time will make me stupid. My words seemed to work. Fine. But I have 3 conditions. If you agree, I'll let you go out for a while. First, I won't have anyone follow you, but the consequences of running away will be severe. Second, from now on, when I finish work or come home, you have to massage me like you just did. Finally, call me something sweet, and I'll let you go out. Those conditions were incredibly difficult, especially the last one. It was truly humiliating. After a long deliberation, he agreed. All right then, call me, she said slyly. Sister, I tried. She seemed satisfied but told me to say it again, sweeter. Taking a deep breath, I said in a surby voice, sister. The word gave me goosebumps, but she was delighted and even gave me a free kiss. Finally, I was out. I immediately messaged Lin Feng to go for a drink. Before leaving, Shen Man gave me a black card. Since it wasn't my money, I didn't feel bad about spending it. We met at Old One's, our favorite street food stall. We ordered a table full of snacks and started drinking. Debao, aren't you working at an internet cafe? How do you have time for drinks today? Lin Feng asked curiously. Don't mention it. I'm not doing that anymore. It's a long story, I said, trying to hide my bitterness. We then talked about his situation. I'm still the same, Lin Feng said with a bitter smile. Relying on food delivery to save up for a house and a wife. I know it's hard, but you need a goal in life. Hearing him complain, I had an idea. Then stop being a delivery guy. Follow me, and I'll help you get rich. Lin Feng looked at me, stunned. What, are you some high-ranking official now? Don't be ridiculous. I'm just a nobody. But I have a way to get you a stable job with a good income. Do you want it? Lin Feng hesitated but eventually agreed. I figured I could help him out. Shen Man was rich. Arranging a small job for her would be nothing. After drinking, I took a taxi back to the villa. Unexpectedly, Shen Man had just gotten home too. She took my arm and pulled me inside like a loving couple. On the sofa, she gestured for me to massage her shoulders. I reluctantly went behind her. If you need a car, you can pick one from the garage, she reminded me. If you don't like them, you can use the black card to buy one. I don't need one, I said. But I do have a request. I was calculating how to bring it up. Her eyes lit up. Tell me. I want you to arrange a job for my brother at your company. That way, I'll have someone to talk to when I'm bored. Simple enough. But how will you repay me? Didn't you say I'd agree to anything you want? I did say that, but the condition was that you had to be obedient. And you haven't been very obedient lately. Alright, Shen Man, are you playing word games with me now? You never said that before. What will it take for you to agree? I asked, exasperated. She pointed to her lips, her meaning clear. I felt awkward looking at her red lips, cursing her inwardly. Would I, Zheng Debao, be swayed by beauty? Fine. I don't need your help anymore. Let Lin Feng continue delivering food, I said, not kissing her and just continuing the message. This displeased Shen Man. This man, why is he so clueless? Is it that hard? It's not hard, but I don't need it anymore. Making me kiss you is impossible. I'd rather kiss a pig than actively kiss you. Why? Do you find me disgusting? Or do you want to kiss somewhere else? Somewhere else. Where could that be? Fine, he agree. But you can't bite, Shen Man agreed through gritted teeth. This man is so dirty, wanting to kiss that place. Huh. No, I didn't say anything. Don't jump to conclusions. Seeing Shen Man's face turn red, I knew this woman's mind was in the gutter again. It was one thing for her to be perverted, but now she was thinking I was too. This was unfair, but not now. You have to wait until I've showered tonight. I was truly speechless. This woman, Shen Man, was not only a pervert herself, but was forcing me to think perverted thoughts too. I wanted to refuse, but facing her, I couldn't get the words out. Let's eat first. After we eat, we can shower. Or shower together. Her hand was already mischievously sliding up under my shirt. I panicked and slapped her hand away. You're so cute. The more you're like this, the more excited I get. I can't wait to take a shower, she said. After dinner, I dove straight into bed and played games, hoping my sweaty smell would drive away the cleanliness-obsessed woman. After her shower, Shen Man came out with a faint, pleasant fragrance. I didn't look up and continued playing my game. Silently, Shen Man turned on the hairdryer and began drying her hair. I was so absorbed in the game that I didn't notice anything unusual. Suddenly, she snatched my phone. Are you crazy? What are you doing with my phone? I looked up and saw her in a sheer nightgown, her face flushed. I quickly turned away, not daring to look for too long, feeling a rush of heat in my nose. Is the game really more interesting than me? She said softly. Hey, could you please put some clothes on first? But she ignored me. Why should I? This is my house. I'll do whatever I want. My teammates were urging me not to go ask, but she spoke cruelly into the microphone. My husband isn't playing anymore. He has to play with me. After that, I could only beg her for mercy. I really can't. I'm too tired. She smiled down at me. Just one kiss and I'll let you go. I decided to risk it. A kiss is just a kiss, at least I'd save my kidneys. After I kissed her, she was still unsatisfied, saying I kissed the wrong place. She pointed to her chest, implying I should kiss her there. Angrily, I asked if she was a pervert. She just smiled more smugly. Yes, I am. A pervert who wants to devour you whole. You asked for it, damn it, if you want me to kiss you there, I'll bite it until it's swollen, just to show you what real lewdness is. Why are you kissing so hard? I wrapped my arms tightly around Shen Man's slender waist, pulling her onto my lap, then leaned down and gave her a saliva facial. Last night, Shen Man had kept her promise and didn't demand anything from me, which was a huge relief. However, there were still plenty of small gestures. Kissing and hugging were constant. This made me realize that Shen Man was two completely different people on and off the bed. Off the bed, she was a cold CEO who intimidated everyone. In bed, she was sensual and alluring, especially clingy, always finding ways to take advantage of me like a cat in heat. But one thing never changed, her tendency to threaten me with confinement if I didn't obey. In the end, I could only use one word to describe Shen Man: contradictory. At the Shen Corporation I can't be mistaken, can I? Is this really the place Bao was talking about? Looking at the towering skyscraper, Lin Feng's first feeling, besides awe, was disbelief. Bro, are you sure this is it? You're not exaggerating, are you? Lin Feng took a picture of the Shen Corporation building and continuously complained to me. You can brag to me normally, but aren't you just setting me up for failure? This is the Shen Corporation, a top-tier company in Huaxia. This is just a branch, their headquarters is in the capital. They'd probably throw me out the second I walked in. I thought we were brothers. But are you trying to use me as a scapegoat? I was in the office, massaging Shen Man's shoulders. My phone was ringing, but I didn't dare look at it. The woman had her eyes closed in enjoyment. If it stopped suddenly, who knows what trouble she'd cause. 5 minutes later, I habitually let go. I only ever messaged her for a maximum of 5 minutes at a time. That was my limit. 5 minutes per session was enough. If she wanted more, she'd have to pay extra. Not bad, you're improving, Shen Man said, feeling relaxed. I didn't care what she thought. Seeing Lin Feng's message, I immediately cursed back. I treat you like a brother, which is why I got you a job here. Because of you, I had to deal with that woman Shen Man teasing me again yesterday, and now you're accusing me of tricking you. You're really inside. Obviously, why else would I tell you to come? Should I just come in now? I thought for a moment, and decided to go down and get him. Lin Feng was essentially getting in through the back door. No one else in the company knew. If he went in alone, he would definitely run into trouble. I had barely taken a few steps when Shen Man called out, "Where are you going?" "I'm going to pick up my brother. He's already downstairs." "Don't worry, I'm not running away." Shen Man hesitated for a few seconds. They say a man's words are deceitful, and the more handsome the man, the better the liar, a lesson she had learned from me. But in the end, she chose to trust me. She wasn't afraid of me playing tricks. If you want to play games, I'll play along. Let's see who can outplay whom. Regarding Yu Duan and Lin Feng, she knew I was a person who valued loyalty, which also gave her another target. If you run, I'll go after you. If it can't catch you, I'll find your friends. You can only be mine. But she still reminded me, I don't have to say this, but I will. I can help these friends of yours, but destroying them is just as easy for me. So, you'd better be smart. Hearing Shen Man threaten me with my friends, I said nothing, but my expression showed how furious I was. When I met Lin Feng, I put on a different face. My hatred for Shen Man didn't affect our brotherhood. Come on, I'll take you up. With me leading the way, the journey was smooth and unobstructed. Da Bao, what's your position here? Everyone is so polite to you. You look so impressive. When will I get that kind of treatment? Lin Feng chattered endlessly by my ear, full of admiration. But in my eyes, this company was just like the villa, another cage holding me captive. I felt no joy at all. In fact, anywhere Shen Man was, I couldn't be happy. I took Lin Feng to her department. As soon as we entered, her manager personally attended to us with an exceptionally good attitude. This must be your friend, sir. We've been waiting. Since all positions are currently filled, we can only offer your friend a security guard position. But rest assured, Xiao Shen has given special instructions. Your friend's salary will be on par with the company's white-collar staff, 100,000 a month, with full insurance paid by the company, plus standard holidays and bonuses. 100,000 a month plus insurance and holiday pay. This was something delivery drivers couldn't even dream of. This golden opportunity had finally fallen into his lap. Alright, I'll register your friend's information right away. I never expected Shen Man to offer such benefits. However, it didn't change my attitude toward her, especially after she used my friends to threaten me. After we left, Lin Feng could only look at me with worship. 100,000 a month, that's 10 times my delivery salary. My plans to buy a house and get married just leaped forward 99 steps. There's only one step left. I still don't have a girlfriend. Da Bao, from now on, you're my big brother. If you tell me to go west, I'll go west. Let me give you a piece of advice. Ask fewer questions around here, or it could get dangerous. I warned Lin Feng seriously. I'm begging you, stop asking. The more you ask, the more miserable I feel. Really? Okay, I'll listen to you. Also, if you don't want to work here anymore, just quit. I'm not sure when Shen Man might change her mind. M is sick. With benefits this good, I'd be happy to work myself to death. Fine, but I've warned you. Now go to work. I'll come find you when I have time. Back in the office, the atmosphere was heavy. Neither of us spoke a word. I just played my game as usual. Whatever Shen Man told me to do, I did, without any extra words. The scene was no different from a couple giving each other the silent treatment. At dinner, Shen Man and I still had no interaction. My sis who saw this, and was already used to it. This couple was always like this. But wasn't this what love looked like? Bickering was normal. I also didn't feed Shen Man after finishing my meal like I usually did. I just went back to my room. Shen Man saw it all. She knew I was still angry about what happened this afternoon and realized she might have gone too far, but she said nothing. In my room, I was talking to Yu Duan. What's going on, Da Bao? Is there a problem? No major problem, but Sister Duan, you need to be careful. If anything feels wrong, just run. I've seen Shen Man's true colors now, and I regret pulling you and Lin Feng into this. I'll be fine, but if it cause harm to you too, it'll be a great sin. Though she didn't understand why I was saying these things, Yu Duan still agreed. As a friend, she was willing to trust me. After agreeing to help Yu Duan start her business, Shen Man had someone bring a contract to her. Shen Man said she could provide the money, resources, and platform, but everything else was up to Yu Duan to decide. Even if she did nothing, she could receive a large number of dividends. But Yu Duan was a woman of principle and didn't want to reap rewards without working for them. She used her savings from several years to invest in a subsidiary of the Shen Corporation. In other words, she was now a small shareholder of the subsidiary. Next, she would rely on her own efforts to move up step by step. Da Bao, you didn't have a fight with your girlfriend, did you? Are you telling me these things because you're angry with her? She's not my girlfriend. Oh, not your girlfriend, yet she came all the way to an internet cafe to get you. You should be content with such a beautiful girlfriend. Sister Duan, I'm only enjoying this because of your good fortune. Hearing Yu Duan tease me, I didn't know what to say. Listen to me, treat her well. Although I've only met her once, I can see that her eyes are only for you. Being brainwashed by Yu Duan, I almost believed that her eyes were only for me. What nonsense. She just craved my body. Alright, I won't disturb you, and your little girlfriend's sweet time. I'm afraid she'll get jealous. Just as I put down the phone, I looked up and saw Shen Man walking in after her shower. She was wearing a thin nightgown, and if I wasn't mistaken, it was the same one from that night. I glanced at her and quickly looked down. I had nothing to say to her. I was still angry. Are you still angry? Please don't be. He said nothing. I'm sorry. Please don't be like this. He still didn't want to pay attention to this woman. Seeing my lack of reaction, Shen Man, though unhappy, used an almost pleading tone. Look, I'm wearing the nightgown you like the most. Isn't it pretty? Please don't be angry anymore. I'll agree to anything you want. Tonight, you can be on top. Hearing that, I just wanted to curse in my head. What was this woman thinking? Only lewd things. Because you said that, I'll be more proactive. I don't believe you don't feel anything. Unless you're not a man. As Shen Man was about to lean in for a kiss, I finally spoke. Don't touch me. I find you disgusting. Your body is dirty, and your heart is even dirtier. I didn't hide my revulsion for Shen Man. From my eyes, Shen Man could feel the full extent of my malice. You find me disgusting. Shen Man laughed coldly and left the room, leaving me alone. I was also stunned. From Shen Man's face, I saw a look of desolation. A beautiful, blooming rose seemed to have withered in that instant. In the other room, Jiang Dabao finds me disgusting. Jiang Dabao finds me disgusting. Jiang Dabao finds me disgusting. Shen Man repeated this sentence over and over, like a sharp needle piercing deep into her heart. At this moment, she was so fragile that a gentle breeze could have blown her away. Shen Man sat helplessly on the floor, hugging a pillow and leaning against the corner of the bed, her face stained with tears. She was truly hurt. The next day, while I was asleep, I vaguely heard a knock on the door. I drowsily opened my eyes, sat up, and saw the other side of the bed was empty. I looked at my phone. It was 9 a.m., long past the time Shen Man usually went to work. That meant she had already gone to the company. It was rare for her not to force me to go with her. I lazily sat up and stretched. For some reason, I slept really well last night. Waking up and not seeing Shen Man made my mood much better. What is it? Young master, please go check on the young mistress, Miseswu said. Seeing Miseswu's worried face, I was very confused. What could possibly happen to that woman? This morning when I got up to clean, I found the young mistress sitting on the floor in the next room. From the looks of it, she must have sat there all night. Please, go check on her. If this continues, her health won't be able to take it. What? Shen Man sat on the floor all night. She didn't go to work. When I woke up and didn't see her, I was secretly happy, thinking she had gone to work. Who knew she was sitting in the next room all night? I was wondering why Shen Man had let me stay home alone without fear of me running away. It turned out she was in the next room the whole time. Alright, I'll go take a look. As I approached the door, I smelled a strong scent of alcohol. The door was slightly ajar. I gently pushed it open and stepped inside. The room was pitch black, with the curtains drawn. After a few steps, I kicked something. From the sound, it was probably an empty bottle. It wasn't until I reached the window that I vaguely saw a lonely figure sitting on the floor. I pulled the curtains open. The bright sunlight from outside streamed in, illuminating the entire room. Only then did I clearly see the situation on the floor. The floor was covered with empty wine bottles. Then, I shifted my gaze to Shen Man. The sudden light made her unable to adjust. She slowly raised a hand, trying to block the sun, but failed. Now, she didn't even have the strength to lift her arm. I knelt down in front of her. What are you doing here? Pitying me. Didn't you say you find me disgusting? Shen Man's voice was hoarse, a consequence of drinking all night. Her hair was a mess, covering her face. Even though I hated Shen Man, I was still a man. Seeing a girl like this in front of me, I couldn't help but be moved. After speaking, Shen Man picked up a wine glass next to her and continued to drink. Stop drinking. Look at what you've done to yourself. I grabbed Shen Man's hand and shouted. Whether I drink or not has nothing to do with you. Don't touch me. I'm disgusting. Shen Man yanked her hand away. The movement revealed her face. Only then did I see that her eyes were red and swollen from crying, and her beautiful face was smudged with tears. As she brought the glass to her lips, Shen Man couldn't hold it in and spat out the wine, then tilted forward and fell into my arms. The patient is very weak. She hasn't rested or eaten for a long time, and has some hypoglycemia. Luckily, the glucose drip has stabilized her, but she still needs to rest and remember to eat. Also, why would a young woman drink so much? Remember not to drink recklessly like this in the future. It will greatly affect your married life later on. As the husband, you bear a great responsibility for this. These are the main issues to monitor for a day. If there are no problems, she can be discharged tomorrow. Before leaving, the doctor gave me a meaningful look, as if to say, you brat, you're so cruel, you don't know how to appreciate your blessings. Miss, I've cooked some chicken soup. Please drink it while it's hot. But Shen Man didn't even look at it. Young master, please persuade the young mistress to drink a little. She hasn't eaten anything for half a day. After Misesu left the hospital room, only the two of us remained. The atmosphere was very awkward. What are you still doing here? Don't you find me disgusting? Shenman lay on the bed, looking sickly. She was very weak, but her attitude towards me was still uncompromising. I was helpless, sighing inwardly. Why was this woman so fixated on that? I admitted my words were a bit harsh. I was angry at the time. Who told her to say those things first? Now, look at this. I had to come back and cucks her. I had truly lost completely to this woman. I'm sorry for what is said. I was wrong. If you're not satisfied, you can hit me. A true man knows when to yield and when to stand firm. Taking a step back opens up a wider world. I won't hold it against you anymore. Haha, don't bother. I'm afraid I'm too disgusting and will dirty your hands. Shenman struggled to sit up, her words sharp and unyielding. Fine. Shenman, are you really going to hold this against me? You've already apologized. What more do you want? Seeing my frustrated look, Shenman felt a little smug inside, but she wouldn't let it go. She would remember this for the rest of her life. If there's nothing else, please leave. A disgusting person like me isn't worthy of being with you. If you think this place is disgusting too, you can leave. You're free now, Shenman continued, pressing her advantage. She wouldn't let this opportunity go. When I called her disgusting, she was heartbroken. But as she said the last sentence, she felt a pang of regret. What if I really left? Of course there's something. If you finish this bowl of chicken soup, I'll leave immediately. I pointed to the hot chicken soup on the bedside table. Shenman hadn't eaten for half a day, and had drunk so much alcohol, her stomach definitely couldn't take it. Glucose could only maintain physiological functions, it couldn't fill her stomach. Not eating anything else could be life-threatening. Whether I eat or not has nothing to do with you. Even if I starve to death. Shenman hadn't finished her sentence when her stomach betrayed her with a loud growl. The tense atmosphere was suddenly broken by this sound. Shenman's face turned as red as a traffic light. It was truly embarrassing. Finally, I couldn't help but laugh. Why did this woman always do such things unintentionally? What's so funny? What are you laughing at? Get out. I'm not drinking the soup. I won't drink it. Get out. I'll leave after you finish it. Like elementary school students arguing, we went back and forth, neither of us giving in. While we argued, Shenman's stomach kept growling, making her lose all authority. She was already hungry, and arguing further was draining her last bit of strength. Fine, I'll drink the soup first. After that, you can scold me however you want. I walked to the bedside and picked up the hot bowl of chicken soup. Looking at the soup in my hands, she really wanted to drink it. She was so hungry. If I fed it to her, that would be even better. I said I'm not drinking. I saw right through Shenman's little act. Her mouth said no, but her eyes were very honest. Really not drinking. The chicken soup Misesu made is very fragrant. I scooped up a small spoonful and deliberately blew on it, the aroma wafting directly toward Shenman. You. Get out, okay? Be good now, drink up. I'll leave after you finish. I brought the cooled spoon of soup to Shenman's lips, coaxing her like a child. This was the first time I had been so gentle with her. If she weren't in this state, I would probably still hate her just as much. I don't need you to feed me. I find you disgusting too. Shenman was still stubborn. Hey, what do you mean by that? Why are you saying I'm disgusting? Why the personal attacks? I'm coaxing you like this, and you still want more. Aren't you disgusting? How many women at the internet cafe have touched your hands? Even if I'm disgusting, I've only let you touch me. In comparison, you're much more disgusting than me. Shenman's words were logical and well-founded. I couldn't refute them. You're right, I'm disgusting too. So, drink it yourself. I'll leave when you're done. I put the spoon down. I'm not drinking. Unless you feed me. A moment ago, I was trying to feed you, and you said I was disgusting. Why are you so difficult? I was truly exasperated. Are you messing with me? At first, I was practically begging you to drink a little, but you refused, saying I was disgusting. Now you want me to feed you. Do you really think I'm a monkey you can play with? I only said your hands were disgusting, but your mouth is fine. Shenman's voice was as soft as a mosquito's buzz. What? But what? I really couldn't hear you. Your voice is too soft. He said. You can use your mouth to feed me. Shenman was so embarrassed she couldn't look me in the eye. A moment ago, she was fighting with me like an enemy, and now she was asking me to feed her soup mouth to mouth. Then how do you know I haven't kissed other women? Maybe my mouth is disgusting too. You've kissed other women. Hearing me say I had kissed others, Shenman was first angry, then disappointed. Of course. When I was little, I kissed my mom. Didn't you? I said nonchalantly. Who didn't kiss their mother as a child? Me mom. You dare to joke with me. Realizing she had been tricked, Shenman was both angry and embarrassed, but also very happy. What's wrong? Miss Shen. You're not jealous of my mom, are you? You haven't actually fallen in love with me, have you? Let me tell you, I'm a scumbag. I fall for every beautiful woman I see. I started teasing her. Yes, I am jealous. So, besides me, you're not allowed to touch any other woman. I really have fallen in love with you. Don't leave me, okay? If you dare to love another woman, I'll castrate you. I didn't expect Shen Man to be so direct. What was this? A confession. Hey, drink the soup first, drink the soup first. I picked up the bowl and spoon again, blew on it for a while, and brought it to Shen Man's lips. Seeing that she showed no signs of opening her mouth, I sighed, took a sip of soup in my mouth, and looked at Shen Man's red lips. Yesterday, to feed her the soup. I still want to drink. Tell Ma Seswu to bring up all the remaining soup. I thought she was joking, but I didn't expect Ma Seswu to actually bring up the rest of the soup. Looking at the small pot of soup, I hesitated but still gritted my teeth and continued. I don't know how many times I fed her before the pot was empty. It felt like several layers of skin had peeled off my lips. Get some rest. I am leaving now. Will you leave me? Hearing Shen Man's question, I stopped, hesitated for a moment, but didn't answer, and then left the hospital room. Xiao Shen, these are the documents regarding the collaboration with the Swiss Federation. For the specific cooperation agreement, the other party wishes to negotiate in person. Shen Man didn't come to the company today, so the busiest person was her young secretary, Su Weiwei. As soon as work was over, she rushed to the hospital to report on work. No. Tomorrow afternoon, you and I will fly to Switzerland. Shen Man took the thick pile of documents from Su Weiwei's hands. This amount of work was just normal for her. As for why she didn't book a flight in advance, it was simple, she was rich. With a private jet, why book tickets? She could be in the air in an hour. But, Xiao Shen, is your health okay? Su Weiwei asked softly. Just then, I walked in with a lunch box. Hearing Shen Man talking to Su Weiwei, I stood behind them and waited. I'm fine, just got pissed off by some jerk. As she said this, Shen Man glanced at me standing behind Su Weiwei. As the only one standing behind her, the corner of my mouth twitched when I heard that. You're not going to hold it against me, are you? Then, Xiao Shen, I'll be going now. Please get some rest. Su Weiwei turned to leave, but she bumped right into me holding the lunch box. She was startled for a moment, then ran out. It was unbearable, always having to witness their public displays of affection. I acted as if I hadn't heard anything, placed the lunchbox on the bedside table, opened it, and prepared everything for her. You heard everything, didn't you? Heard what? Stop playing dumb. You know what I'm talking about. It's not like you're deaf. Tomorrow afternoon, I have to go to Switzerland on a business trip with Weiwei for a few days. During these few days, you can do whatever you want. Even if you run, I won't care. I wanted to laugh. If you really didn't care, why would you even say it? This move of yours is truly a case of smiling through tears. If I really ran and got caught, I'd probably be dismembered. No. I used the same tone Shen Man had used with Su Weiwei to reply, as if I were also reporting my work to her. Hearing my perfunctory reply, Shen Man was very displeased. If you really dare to run, I'll break your legs. Eat your food. I didn't care what Shen Man was thinking. I was just here to deliver her meal. Eat quickly. After you finish, I'll get out of here. You must be happy that you won't have to see my face for a few days. Oh, really? On this point, Shen Man was right. My mood was indeed great. She wasn't wrong, I was very happy. How could that be? A day without seeing the beautiful Xiao Shen, I feel terrible. The thought of not seeing you for a few days makes me so upset I can't even eat. He said it so sincerely that I almost moved myself. Shen Man just chuckled softly after hearing it. Even if you're acting, at least make it believable. It's too fake. In that case, I can't bear to leave you. I'll stay with you. I can just send someone else to handle the negotiations. No, how could that be? The company's work is very important. What am I? The company's work is indeed important, but in my eyes, you are the most important. The words sounded cheesy, but thinking they came from Shen Man's mouth, I found it strange. At that moment, I just wanted to slap myself. Why did I say such stupid things? Truly, a man's mouth is full of lies. If I really asked you to stay, would you really stay with me? By dinner I had specifically told Ma Seswu not to add any sugar, not wanting to let Shen Man take advantage of me again. I've deboned the fish, removed all the fat, the vegetables are the kind you like, and the fruit has been peeled and cut. Miss Shen, please enjoy your meal. Before coming, I had prepared everything meticulously, determined not to give Shen Man any opportunity to take advantage. Shen Man clearly didn't expect this move, but she wasn't without a counter. You didn't feed me all day the other day. Make up for it now. This can be made up for. Why not? If I say it can, it can. Fine. I'll feed you, okay. Feeding Shen Man had become second nature to me. I fed her quickly, like feeding a pig. Before she could swallow the first bite, the next was already at her mouth. Can you slow down? Why are you in such a hurry? Being constantly fed by me, Shen Man could barely swallow. I quickly brought a glass of water to her face, feeling extremely pleased inside. You asked me to feed you, so I'll feed you until you choke. Drink quickly, don't choke to death. I pressed the glass of water to Shen Man's lips, but she refused to open her mouth. She was swallowing with great difficulty, as if she could choke at any moment. My dear ancestor, I'm begging you, please drink. You don't want to be on a glucose drip again, do you? Shen Man pressed on her throat, about to give up. Suddenly, she looked at my lips and lunged forward. Then, I felt a strong suction force directly on my mouth. 2 minutes later, she finally let go of me. Heavens, my lips were almost sucked dry. I picked up the water and drank. What's wrong with you again? Isn't saliva water? Damn it. So, do you like it? From now on, you're in for a treat. What do you mean, I'm in for a treat? Shen Man's sudden words left me very confused. Seeing my expression, she even licked her lips. I'm lying right here, and you're still not being honest. Can't you be a little more obedient? I finally understood what she meant. This woman revealed her true nature with just one sentence. What did I do? I didn't say anything. You're the one with dirty thoughts. You dirty man. She wiped the saliva from the corner of her mouth, not seeing any problem with it, and instead accused me of having impure thoughts. Right, it's clearly you. Fine, the thief cries stop thief, I've seen it all before. I laughed in frustration. If you hadn't said such impure things, how would I have thought in that direction? I didn't say anything. You're the one with dirty thoughts, she said with a smug smile. Helpless, I packed up the lunch box and ran out. As soon as I left the room, Shen Man's voice rang out again. Sooner or later, you'll experience how formidable I am. After leaving the room, I cursed under my breath. Damn, this woman is such a pervert. She actually likes to drink other people's saliva. I swore she was the most disgusting and perverted woman I had ever met. The next day, Shen Man was discharged from the hospital. Before her business trip, she made a special trip back to the villa. I have to go on a business trip now. I'll be back in about 3 days. So, are you happy now? Not at all. I can't bear for you to go. In reality, I couldn't wait for her to leave quickly, but on the surface, I had to put on an act. No need to explain. I know what you're thinking, she said, poking me in the chest. Then, in a domineering tone, she said, I hope you'll be a good boy for the few days I'm on my business trip. You can go out freely, but you're not allowed to see other women. Don't you dare cheat on me. She raised her small fist, making me take a few steps back. If you can't stand it, text me. This was the first time she had actively given me her contact information. Find you. I don't get it. What's there to talk about with you? Think about it. You men can't stand it at night, right? In the sheets. Miss Shen, I'm begging you, please spare me. You're torturing me like this even when you're going on a business trip. Louder in tears, these words perfectly described my current mood. I'm not torturing you. This is clearly a reward for you. I can't handle this reward. The helicopter is here. Before leaving, Shen Man domineeringly pulled me into an embrace and forced another kiss on me for a while. I'm leaving now. Remember what I just told you. Before she left, she even straightened my clothes and gave me another kiss before departing. After confirming the helicopter was far away, I immediately called Lin Feng to meet at the internet cafe. Below the Shen Corporation building, Lin Feng was waiting for me. He had been stopped 10 times on his way out, but as soon as he mentioned my name, he was let through easily. Seeing me in the driver's seat of a Bugatti, he was very surprised. Be honest, are you some rich young master? No, I'm just an ordinary guy. Where did this car come from? It's someone else's. I borrowed it for a few days. Don't kid me. This car is worth tens of millions. How could you borrow it so easily? Believe it or not. Lin Feng didn't press further. After getting in the car, he was even more convinced of my extraordinary identity. Let's go to an internet cafe. The Black Horse Cafe is really popular lately. After driving the Bugatti around for a while, I finally found an internet cafe with a decent crowd. In those 20 minutes, Lin Feng and I also experienced the feeling of driving a supercar. The number of heads we turned was truly high. The moment I got out of the car, I was surrounded by a group of gaudily dressed women. Even Lin Feng couldn't escape. Hey, handsome, if you have time, we can have a deep exchange. You, and you too, I can handle multiple people. Some of these girls had followed us the whole way, while others were hanging around the quay. Seeing the Bugatti stop, they swarmed over. Their targets were men driving luxury cars like me. They would try every means to get into bed with rich men. For just one night, they could earn a huge sum of money. Some even used despicable methods to get pregnant, and then extort money for an abortion. To put it bluntly, they were just a bunch of gold diggers. Although this title was despised by society, If they succeeded just once, they might not have to worry about their livelihood for the rest of their lives. Therefore, there were still many women with loose morals willing to do this. They always believed that all men were the same, dangerous. And in a major international city like this, the success rate was even higher. What they didn't expect was that the owner of the car would be such a handsome guy. This made them even more excited. In the past, their clients were either fat, middle-aged tycoons or ugly, lecherous men. They had never met someone as handsome as me. Although Lin Feng wasn't as handsome as me, he was still the decent, clean-cut type. They thought that if such a handsome guy could drive a Bugatti, the person with him must also be of some status. With too many people competing for the handsome one, the chances were low, so they might as well switch targets. Regarding being surrounded by women like this, I acted nonchalant. After all, being too handsome meant dealing with these things. But Lin Feng was different. He had never experienced such a scene, and immediately blushed. "Little brother, let me show you the pleasures of the world. Hey, you're so handsome. I'll give you a discount. Pick me, I'll do it for free." I almost burst out laughing. These painted faces were really overconfident. Even with Shen Man, I only gave her 200 the first time, and later reduced it to 150. For girls like you, I wouldn't even bother if you paid me. Sorry, my fish pond is already full. A new girl every day, no repeats, I said with a flourish. After all, they didn't know who I was. What was the harm in acting a little? It's okay, handsome. I already said I can handle multiple people. Damn, these women are terrifying. Quick, let's go. I pushed Lin Feng out of the encirclement and ran into the internet cafe. Once inside, we discovered our clothes had been torn to shreds. I even found several small business cards in my pocket. Da Bao. Were you being serious or joking? What, serious or joking? Really, one a day. I'm starting to believe it. Otherwise, where did you get this car? You didn't get it by sleeping with some rich woman, did you? One a day, you're quite something. Get lost, you believe that? If I told you I was your father, would you believe it? I gave Lin Feng a punch. One a day was actually just one person. Get a private room for two, for the night. I handed my ID to the female receptionist. She first looked at the ID, then looked up. So handsome, even more handsome than your ID photo. I tapped on the counter, and the receptionist snapped out of it and started processing the check-in. After she was done, I reached out to take my ID back, but she wouldn't let go. Don't even dream about it, girl. He's a one girl a day kind of man, Lin Feng said. The receptionist was stunned by his words but quickly reacted and let go of the ID. So handsome, yet such a scumbag. I cursed at Lin Feng and took my ID into the room. Whoa, this setup is insane. Looking at the 4090 graphics card, Lin Feng's eyes were glued to it. Let's game. Starting Steam. While waiting for Steam to load, Lin Feng asked again, Da Bao, at the company, have you met the boss? Why? Nothing, just that the boss is so generous. Yesterday, the finance department transferred 500,000 to my card, saying it was a joining bonus from the boss. Does everyone get that? Shen Man transferred 500,000 to Lin Feng's account. I really didn't know about this. Was this her way of apologizing to me? Why not give it to me? What's the use of giving it to him? I didn't even know that on Uduian's side, Shen Man had also given an additional 10 of the shares. One must know what 10 of the shares of a subsidiary of the Shen Corporation meant. Did you get any? Of course, brother. She gave me tens of millions, you believe that? What? How much? Game on, stop talking. I'm about to become the Monkey King. Half a day later, at Switzerland International Airport Shen, we've arrived in Switzerland. The private jet had been on the tarmac for 5 minutes, but Su Weiwei saw that Shen Man hadn't moved yet, so she had to wave her hand in front of her face. Shen Man raised an eyebrow, looked at the time, and realized they had arrived. No. The flight from Huaxia to Switzerland, including the stopover, took nearly half a day. During this half a day, Shen Man couldn't stop thinking about Zhang Da Bao. Even when she rested, she would see images of their teasing moments as soon as she closed her eyes. I wonder if Da Bao misses me. It's been half a day, and he hasn't sent me a single message. I should have brought him with me. It was 6 in Switzerland. In the summer, Switzerland is 6 hours behind Huaxia, meaning it was around midnight in Huaxia. What's wrong, Xiao Shen? Su Weiwei asked, seeing Shen Man standing still. You and the pilot take the luggage and wait for me at the airport entrance. I'll be right there. Yes. Although she didn't understand, Su Weiwei was very respectful because Shen Man was her boss. After the two of them had walked away, Shen Man found a restroom and immediately called me. Da Bao, your phone is ringing. The two of us were in the middle of an intense game, both very excited. Whoever gets through the next stage first, the loser has to call the winner dad 3 times. This type of bet was the most popular among guys. Don't be noisy. I'm about to clear it. Just as I was killed by the boss, Lin Feng glanced at my phone. The caller ID was saved as Crazy Woman. Who's a crazy woman? Hearing Lin Feng read the name, I was startled and got trampled to death by the boss again. I looked at my phone without answering, thinking, isn't she on a business trip? Why is she calling? Who is it? Shut up and keep playing. At that moment, I just respond, so I turned off the phone screen. What could be more important than gaming? At Switzerland International Airport, hearing the beep beep sound indicating the call had been cut off, Shen Man couldn't believe it. If I hadn't heard it and didn't answer, that would be one thing. But to see it and still hang up. Jung Da Bao, I see you've gotten bold again. The next day, the sun was already up, but the sound of keyboard clicks still echoed in the internet cave. That's right, Lin Feng and I had played all night. Behold my son Wukong. Final stage. As I spoke, I gave it my all. One final strike with my staff killed the big-headed boss that had tormented us all night. Nice. After a night of deadly battle, I finally welcomed victory. As expected, Lin Feng next to me had fallen. His Monkey King had to go through 81 tribulations. This life was over too quickly. Hurry up, loser pays up. Call me dad. I put my hand on Lin Feng's shoulder. This was the deserved reward for the victor. I can't. I'm so sleepy, I'm going to die. I really can't play anymore. Lin Feng disappointedly let go of his mouse and slumped onto the desk, as if about to fall asleep. No sleeping. You haven't called me dad yet. I grabbed Lin Feng's hair and pulled his head up, not letting him sleep. Lin Feng closed his eyes and weakly called out dad 3 times, as if he was about to stop breathing. Good boy. You can sleep now. Satisfied, I let go of his head. This feeling was amazing, only guys could understand it. I took out my phone to check. Besides a missed call from Shen Man, there were also 2 unread WeCap messages. You have some nerve, hanging up on me. I'll call you again tonight. No matter the reason, if you don't answer, you're dead. I squinted at these 2 messages, completely unconcerned. You're not even here, what are you going to do? I love that look on your face when you want to deal with me but can't do anything about it. After going to the restroom, I went to the counter to extend our time. I was tired from playing all night, so I might as well crash at the internet cafe. In Switzerland, it was already late at night. Shen Man lay in bed after her shower, still not resting. A few hours earlier, she had called my sis Wu and found out that as soon as she left, I had driven out to play and still hadn't returned. But luckily, she knew I was at an internet cafe with Lin Feng, which made her feel a little relieved. Damn it, he saw my messages but didn't reply. Does he think he can fly to the heavens? It had been over 10 hours since she sent the messages, but I hadn't replied with a single word, which made her very upset, like a girlfriend texting her boyfriend who never replies, both angry and expectant. After staring at her phone for a while longer, Shen Man lost her patience. You dead man. If you don't answer my call tomorrow, I'll come back and wring your neck. More than 10 hours later, I finally woke up. Lin Feng and I both stretched and yawned comfortably. Oh no, I haven't clocked in today. Realizing he hadn't gone to the company to clock in, Lin Feng was instantly wide awake. Crap, I've lost my perfect attendance bonus. What are you panicking for? I'll talk to them for you. Besides, it's useless to go now. The company is already closed for the day. I casually put my arm around Lin Feng's shoulder and said, I'll treat you to drinks and dinner. Let's go. We've been playing all day. Why not go eat? You don't have to pay. We'll talk about work tomorrow. I pulled Lin Feng into the car. Unsurprisingly, the car was once again surrounded by scantily clad girls. Those women were like wolves, treating Lin Feng and me as prey. Lin Feng was scared. If you follow me, you have to get used to this environment. I closed the convertible top and suddenly thought of something. I took out my phone and made a call. Why do you have time to call me? Don't you miss me? Let's go out for a few drinks. Okay, I just got off work. Send me the address, and I'll pick you up. After hanging up, I realized a serious problem. The sports car only had 2 seats. So what about Lin Feng? Why are you looking at me like that? Lin Feng was a little scared, feeling that nothing good was about to happen. You take a taxi, okay. I have to pick someone up. Pick who up? You'll soon find out if I'm a man or a woman. You talk too much. I was tired of arguing with Lin Feng, so I opened the car door and kicked him straight out. I'll send you the address of the bar. I'll cover your taxi fare. Kicked out of the car, Lin Feng rubbed his backside and cursed at the exhaust fumes. Damn it. You better be picking up a girl at the bar. As expected, Lin Feng was already seated and waiting. After finishing a game, he messaged me again, asking if I had arrived yet. Sitting there was truly awkward. The waiter had come over several times to ask what he wanted to drink, but he just kept saying, wait a moment. The waiter looked at him strangely. After glancing at the menu earlier, he had cursed under his breath. The stuff here was ridiculously expensive. The cheapest alcohol cost several hundred. With his current savings, he wouldn't last a week spending money here. Even though his salary at the Shen Corporation was much higher now, he couldn't handle this kind of spending. He still had to buy a house and get married. Besides, I had said it was my treat, so now he was just hoping I would arrive quickly to save him from the embarrassment. I am at the door. Seeing the messages sent, Lin Feng turned his head towards the entrance. He saw me leading a woman in a work uniform inside. Since we had just left work, Ngok Duan hadn't had time to go home and change. Her attire was indeed a bit out of place in this kind of bar. Ah, so it's a girl. No wonder you kicked me out of the car. Bros before hoes, my friend. I led Ngok Duan to our table and sat down, casually introducing Lin Feng. Lin Feng, my good brother. A fool who only thinks about making money to buy a house and get married. Ngok Duan was also exasperated by my unique introduction. I think you're the fool. Hello, I'm Lin Feng. Ngok Duan had a very mature and charismatic presence. While not a top-tier beauty, she was still very attractive. What's with the sister? Just call her Sister Duan, I said, standing up and swatting away Lin Feng's hand as he was about to shake Ngok Duan's. What are you doing? This is my big sister. Hearing me call her big sister, Ngok Duan pinched me. You child, what nonsense are you spouting? You make it sound like I'm some kind of gangster. She's not your sister-in-law. Your sister-in-law is someone else. Oh, really? Hearing Ngok Duan's words, Lin Feng was even more convinced that what is said was true. He grabbed me by the neck. You have a girlfriend, and you didn't tell me. Do you still consider me your brother? What? Which words are true? Ngok Duan didn't know what we were talking about and was very curious. This guy says he changes women every day. Hearing this, Ngok Duan nearly choked. What? I was just bragging a little to look cool. What's the big deal? He struggled out of Lin Feng's grasp, trying to defend myself. This is something I, Zhang Debao, wouldn't dare do. Otherwise, your sister-in-law would be the death of me. She once held a gun to Huang Mao's head. Only a woman like that can handle you, right, Sister Duan? Don't you dare try to harm me. You'll know for yourself whether I'm harming you, Ngok Duan said, taking a sip of ice water and looking at me meaningfully. Whoa, he still won't admit it. Sister Duan, what's Debao's girlfriend like? Why are you still gossiping? Besides, I don't have a girlfriend. I knew, of course, who Ngok Duan was talking about, but our relationship was hard to define. Very beautiful, very fierce, and very charismatic. Ngok Duan really couldn't think of any other words to describe her. She is indeed a very charismatic woman. And you still say you're not being kept by a rich woman. You've lost all ambition, and just want to be a freeloader. Quick, help me ask your sister-in-law if she has any sisters. I don't want to work hard anymore either. Knowing that my girlfriend was a beautiful rich woman, Lin Feng was filled with envy. You have to share the good fortune with your brothers. I want to be a freeloader too. He grabbed my shirt and pleaded, sincerely hoping his sister-in-law would introduce him to one of her sisters. Ngok Duan couldn't help but laugh at these two fools. This was the friendship between boys. Freeloader my ass. Just keep working hard and saving your money. You can't handle this kind of lifestyle, I said, disappointedly pushing Lin Feng away. I knew I shouldn't have invited this idiot. Waiter, I waved my hand to call the server. I came here to drink and eat, not to talk nonsense with Lin Feng. With a boom, tens of thousands vanished into thin air, but I didn't feel the slightest pain. After all, it wasn't my money. Isn't this a bit too expensive? What's expensive? It's not like you're paying. If you want to eat, then eat. Otherwise get lost. Coming here for a free meal and still complaining about the price. I was really at a loss for words. A few hours later, the drinks were finished, and we faced a problem. Both Lin Feng and I had been drinking, so how would we get back? Fortunately, Ngok Duan had anticipated this and had only been drinking juice. But there were 3 of us, and the sports car only had 2 seats. Sister Duan, just take Debao home. I didn't drink much, I can take a taxi myself. Although Lin Feng had been drinking, he was still sober. I, on the other hand, would be rid. Debao, where do you live? I'll take you back. No need. I'm not going back tonight. Just find me a hotel. I had no intention of returning, wanting only to avoid that villa. Alright then. Ngok Duan helplessly helped me into the passenger seat and fastened my seatbelt. At the hotel, Ngok Duan struggled to get me into the room when my phone rang. Sister Duan, help me answer it. I fumbled for a moment before dropping my phone on the floor. Ngok Duan picked it up and saw the caller ID displayed Feng Yun. After hesitating for a moment, she answered. Hello. The other person immediately asked in a cold voice, who are you? Where is Zhang Dabao? Ngok Duan recognized the voice as Shen Man's and couldn't resist teasing her. Dabao is drinking with me. He's lying on the hotel bed right now. Hotel. Shen Man's voice immediately jumped several octaves. That's right, I brought him here, Ngok Duan said with a smirk, pressing the phone into my hand before quickly retreating. Who is it? I mumbled, holding the phone. Zhang Dabao, it seems you've been living quite comfortably these past few days without me, haven't you? Shen Man questioned. Who are you? What does my drinking have to do with you? My tone was harsh, not recognizing that it was Shen Man. Humph, you can't even recognize my voice anymore. Shen Man laughed coldly. Only then did I realize it was her, and I was so scared I nearly dropped the phone. Why is it you? Where is that woman? Shen Man continued to press. The one who brought you to the hotel. That's Ngok-duan. The three of us went out to eat together. She brought me here. Shen Man seemed a bit embarrassed after hearing that, but still asked, really? Of course it's true. Would I lie to you? Although I felt a little guilty, I still answered. Then. Why didn't you reply to my messages? At this. I evaded, unable to say it was because I was busy playing games. You'd better be honest, Shen Man threatened. I'll be back in another day. No. Your attitude has made me very dissatisfied, Shen Man said angrily. I was planning on giving you a little treat. No need, I replied curtly, my eyes still glued to the screen. Shen Man's face turned red as she turned the phone's camera. Just wait for me at home. We'll settle this when I get back. When I woke up, I let out a long yawn and stretched like a boneless animal. I looked at my phone and muttered helplessly, 10 o'clock already. Goodbye, freedom. Time to go back to that hell. Today was the day Shen Man returned. Although I didn't know the exact time, I figured it was better to go back early to avoid being scolded. At the Shen family villa, a young lady named Kingsu was sitting cross-legged on the sofa, hugging a doll, munching on snacks, her eyes glued to a T-drama. She was Shen Man's biological sister, who had just returned from studying abroad without notifying her family. My sis Wu, how much longer until the food is ready? I'm starving to death, Kingsu whined, her eyes never leaving the T-screen. It's almost ready, second miss. Please wait a little longer. Kingsu and her sister Shen Man were polar opposites in personality, despite their similar appearances. One was a cold, domineering big sister, the other a cute loli. One liked to hit people, the other liked to act cute. I prefer the cute type like Kingsu. Of course, I don't dislike either of them. I wonder when sis will be back. My sis who said it would probably be today. She said to herself expectantly, rubbing her hands together. Remembering that she hadn't seen her sister in years, she happily imagined the joy of being with her. She even wanted to compare figures with her sister, feeling an irrepressible excitement. A familiar aroma wafted from the kitchen. Kingsu immediately dropped her snacks, slipped on her slippers haphazardly, and rushed to the dining table to sit down. Before I had finished eating, I leisurely returned to the villa. As soon as I entered, I saw a pair of women's high heels on the rack and thought to myself, she's back already. After hesitating for a moment, I still tiptoed in. Looking at the woman at the dining table, I felt something was off, a sense of unease in my heart. Young master, you're back, Mess. Wu suddenly called out, making my heart skip a beat. I forced a smile, nodded, and walked towards the dining table. Kingsu had just noticed me. She sized me up for a moment, wondering who this man was. A bodyguard. But he's too handsome. The way she chewed her food was so cute it made me stare blankly for a moment. This woman looks different after her business trip, I thought to myself, not knowing if I should continue to sit here. After looking at each other for a moment, I suddenly noticed a change in her eyes. In the past, when Shen Man looked at me like that at the dinner table, it meant she wanted me to feed her. Acting on reflex, I picked up a piece of food and brought it to her mouth. Kingsu was taken aback for a moment but still accepted my kind gesture and opened her mouth to eat. Just then, Shen Man suddenly walked in. Sister, Kingsu called out. The room fell silent. What was going on? Why were there two Shen Mans? I felt like I had seen a ghost, my eyes wide. Thinking back to her call of sister, I seemed to understand something. So the person I just fed wasn't Shen Man, but her sister. They're sisters. My heart pounded. Things seemed to be getting more and more complicated. Seeing Shen Man return, my sis Wu enthusiastically invited her to sit and eat. Eldest miss, you're back. Second miss just returned as well, and the food is ready. You and the young master should eat a little. Shen Man put down her briefcase without a word, just silently looking at me. She walked to the dining table and sat next to me, not saying a word. This made me even more nervous. I didn't dare to look at her directly, nor did I dare to look at her younger sister who had the exact same face. At this moment, Kingsu happily hugged Shen Man. Sister, I missed you so much. Shen Man seemed unresponsive to her sister's enthusiastic gesture, her cold gaze still fixed on me. I felt like she was about to settle accounts with me, not coming home for the night, drinking with another woman, not answering her phone, not replying to messages. I lowered my head, my heart in turmoil. Kingsu also noticed her sister's unusual behavior. Sister, you see your cute little sister, why are you still so serious? How old are you? Still acting like a child. Go back to your seat. All right, my dear sister. Kingsu wore a helpless smile and returned to her seat to continue eating. You came back so suddenly, do mom and dad know? Shen Man asked. They don't know. The first thing I did when I got back was to come find you, Kingsu said seriously. Now that you've seen me, hurry back to mom and dad. Don't cause trouble for me here, Shinman said, bluntly rejecting her. I like being with you, sister. Kingsu put down her chopsticks, refusing to leave. You'll affect my work. After you finish eating, I'll have the butler take you back. Kingsu suddenly noticed that her sister kept staring at me. It seemed she guessed something and started to smile suggestively. Or is there some unspoken relationship between you two? She turned to me. Peel a shrimp for me. I was stunned, not knowing what she was up to. Why aren't you moving? Aren't you my sister's man? What's wrong with peeling a shrimp for me? Kingsu said in a provocative tone. Kingsu, are you trying to defy me? Shen Man was so angry she wanted to flip the table. What's wrong, sister? Isn't he just a servant? I'm your biological sister, Kingsu said with a smug look on her face. He is. He is. Shen Man tried to suppress her anger. Don't you worry about it. Or is he your model? Kingsu guessed. I almost spat out my water, while Shen Man's face changed drastically. He's not that important. Could it be my brother-in-law? Kingsu continued to probe. You guessed right. He is your brother-in-law. So you want your brother-in-law to peel shrimp for you? Shen Man's words stunned everyone. I had a calm expression on my face, having already given up thinking, while Kingsu's eyes were wide with astonishment. Shen Man added, we've slept together many times and done many things. This is an unchangeable fact. Whoa, my sister is so amazing. Kingsu was immediately as happy as a blooming flower. So peel it yourself. Don't be a third wheel here. Kingsu was unwilling to give up and continued to pretend to be angry. I'm not leaving. He hasn't even gotten my approval. You don't want mom and dad to know you have a man on the side, do you? Kingsu looked at Shen Man and me. The final barrier had crumbled. She had started to ship them. Kingsu, it seems your wings have grown strong. 2 years of studying abroad has really taught you some skills. Now you dare to threaten me. Faced with Kingsu's threat, Shen Man didn't take it seriously at all. She knew her sister was just saying it for fun. This childish trick couldn't fool her. The pressure from their bloodline was no joke. She had disciplined her sister many times when they were young. A cornered dog will jump over the wall. Seeing her sister being so fierce with her, Kingsu was on the verge of tears from grievance. But she also knew her sister was the type who yielded to soft tactics, not hard ones. If she insisted, it would only make her sister more determined to kick her out. Kingsu had no choice but to go past me and grabbed Shen Man's hand, acting coquettishly. Sister, please don't kick me out. I'll definitely be obedient and listen to you. This was a trick Kingsu had used since she was little, and it always worked. It wasn't that Shen Man's heart softened because of her sister, but because she found her annoying. If she didn't agree, her sister would just keep pestering her. After all, Kingsu was her biological sister, so she couldn't really do anything to her. You can stay here if you want. Give me a convincing reason, and I'll let you stay. Otherwise, be a good girl and go back. Don't make me use force. A convincing reason. Kingsu really wanted to say, I want to watch the drama unfold. Is that okay? But saying that would be courting death. I can help you monitor him 24/7, be your supervisor, and check if he's worthy of being your man. Kingsu pointed at me. From Shen Man's reaction, she knew her sister cared a lot about me, so I became her only and most powerful breakthrough point. I was silently playing dead. Hearing Kingsu drag me into it, I was not happy. Hey, you two sisters can say whatever you want, do whatever you want. If you fight, I'll even applaud and cheer. But don't drag me into it. And also, this little girl really thinks I'm her brother-in-law. Actually, your sister and I. You shut up. I haven't settled the score with you yet. I knew that at this moment, I absolutely could not provoke her. Helping me keep an eye on him seems like a bad reason. Kingsu's reason really moved Shen Man. If someone could monitor him for her, it was indeed a good choice. Moreover, Kingsu was her biological sister. You're approved. But I have to make 3 rules with you. While you're staying here, whatever I say, you must unconditionally do. Second, you are my sister, and he is your brother-in-law. His status is higher than yours, so you must know your manners. Third, don't ask what you shouldn't ask. Hearing Shen Man agree to let her stay, Kingsu was overjoyed. As for these 3 conditions, she could verbally agree, but whether she would follow them was another matter. No problem, sister. I will definitely follow your orders. Seeing Kingsu being so obedient, Shen Man turned to look at me again. Zhang De Bao, aren't you going to explain to me? I can overlook the matter of you playing games with others at the internet cave and not coming home for the night. After all, I wasn't home, and you were lonely. But not answering your phone, not replying to messages, and secretly going to a bar with another woman, how do you explain these 3 things? Hearing this, cold sweat trickled down my forehead. 3 accusations piled up had exceeded my body's limit of endurance. What? You scumbag, you already have my sister, yet you dare to look for other women. Let me tell you, the men pursuing my sister could form a line from here to Paris. Is there any man as ungrateful as you? Hearing Shenman's accusations against me, Kingsu was the first to stand up and object. She was someone who hated men, even hoping her sister would never get married. Kingsu, what did I just say to you? He is your brother-in-law. How can you have such an attitude? I can treat him this way, but you can't. You must respect him. Seeing Shenman defending me to the point of scolding her own sister for my sake, Kingsu almost broke down. Sister, you can't be serious, can you? It's just a man, just for fun. No need to be so serious. Kingsu pouted. I know. She left the room, glancing at me with a look full of disdain. After Kingsu returned to her room, Shenman continued the previous topic. Speak. Give me an explanation. What's there to explain? I really can't stand you. I just normally hang out with friends, and you make such a big deal out of it. I have nothing to explain. If Miss Shen can't accept these things, then don't talk about loving me. I haven't broken any laws or offended you. Your interference in my freedom is really arrogant. Let me go. That way, we won't see each other again. You'll be fine, and I'll be fine. My way of speaking didn't make Shenman angry. After a month of living together, she understood my personality. As for letting me go, that was impossible. Don't even think about it. The person I've set my sights on, no matter where you run, I'll find you. How about this? I'll relax my requirements for you a bit. You can move freely within the entire city. I won't restrict your freedom anymore. You can also spend money as you please. But every day, you must pick me up from work and take me home. How about that? It sounded not bad, much better than the ridiculous requests before. I was almost moved. Is there anything else? This doesn't seem like your style. It makes me feel very unaccustomed. It seems you know me well, huh? The corner of my mouth twitched. No, you my ass. I just know you're not that kind. There's one more thing. If you want to go out, you have to take Kingsu with you. This is my biggest concession. I may not have people follow you, but I still need some necessary supervision. What's the point of taking that kid with me? How can I have any fun? Miss Shen, you just saw it, your sister isn't friendly to me at all. So I don't think it's necessary to bring her along. Besides, we don't have any relationship. It would be creepy to have her around when we go out. Actually, Shenman still wanted to monitor me, afraid I would run away. She just changed the supervisor. But this sister had some guts. Wasn't she afraid I would do something to her sister? Her sister looked just as beautiful as her. You don't need to worry about that. I'll handle it well and make sure she's obedient. But take this opportunity to get closer to each other. After all, she's your future sister-in-law. No need. I don't care. When she comes crying to you, don't blame me. You've already brought your sister to my side, what reason do I have to refuse? That girl looks naive and easy to fool. If I can't handle this crazy woman, can't I vent my frustration on her sister? That's right, you two sisters look so much alike. What if I mistake one for the other sometimes? This is a serious problem. If I accidentally mistake the younger sister for the older one again, Shenman will make trouble. I am taller than my sister, my legs are longer than hers, I'm bigger than her, and I also have this. You know. I have a mole on it. Hearing Shenman list the differences between her and her sister, I was a bit speechless. She was right, but it felt strange, very indecent. What's the last part about? What mole is there? I have no impression of it. Every time, I was the passive one. Unless I see it with my own eyes, I won't believe it. My sister doesn't have one either, Shenman said confidently. My sister doesn't have one, but you still need to check carefully. Did you hear me clearly? Don't mistake us in the future. If I find out you're intentionally mistaking us to take advantage of her, you're dead. Shenman warned me very seriously. This woman was very cunning, otherwise she wouldn't have let me escape twice. Plus, her sister didn't seem very smart. She might get all flustered over a handsome guy, thinking she's getting a good deal even when being taken advantage of. It's fine if you touch me. I'd even want you to. But if you dare to take advantage of my sister, I'll make you pay a heavy price. Got it. I'm not that desperate. That girl is like a peanut, not as good as your white peach. I really had no interest in Kingsu. Although she was as beautiful as her sister, I still had no interest. Why? Judging by her behavior, she was too childish, very immature both psychologically and physically. Shenman didn't expect me to say such shameless words. What do you mean you like white peaches, not peanuts? You pervert. What's wrong with me? What more do you want from me? I sat down nonchalantly, crossed my legs, picked up my chopsticks, and started eating. Even though I had eaten outside, my siswoo's cooking was delicious. Just take care of yourself. I won't hold what you did this time against you. But don't let there be a next time. I know. My indifferent attitude left Shenman helpless. She had used this trick several times, but it still had no effect. Feed me. Isn't your sister in her room? Call her out to feed you. I pointed to the ajar door, feeling a bit unhappy. Before, it was just me feeding her. Now that her sister was here, she wanted her to do it. Pinksu was peeking through the crack in the door. Seeing me suddenly point in her direction, she was so scared she froze. She thought her peeking was very discreet, not expecting to be discovered by me. Shinman also turned her head to look, but said nothing. Just pretend she doesn't exist. Hurry up, don't dawdle. I'm hungry. Shinman deliberately emphasized the last two words. With previous experience, I immediately heard something unusual. The hand holding the chopsticks trembled. I was afraid. Afraid she would eat me. Then. You should eat more. I picked up the dish I was about to eat and brought it to Shinman's mouth. But Kinksu, who was peeking through the crack in the door, couldn't remain calm. No way. Sister, what are you doing? What right does that man have? Just because he's handsome. Kinksu was on the verge of a breakdown. She couldn't understand why her sister would allow me to be so intimate. Was this still her sister who hated men like dogs? Moreover, her sister's expression didn't look like she was acting at all. Could it be that she really liked me? Most importantly, when I saw him sitting at the dinner table, my first reaction was also to feed him. I had mistaken him for my sister. No, I object. If not for the fear of being beaten to death by her sister, Kinksu wanted to rush out and chop off my hand right then and there. After I had fed Shinman until she was full, she was very satisfied, and her mood improved a lot. I'm going to take a shower. I will of course show you what I promise you. Thinking about what she had said, Shinman was a little embarrassed. What did you promise me? I was bewildered. I really had no impression of what this woman said. Usually, whatever Shinman said went in one ear and out the other. You'll know in a moment. Shinman thought I was playing dumb. Did this need to be said out loud? Really, taking advantage and still acting high and mighty. I shrugged, feigning indifference. Anyway, whatever she said was probably nothing good. Shinman stood up and walked into the bathroom. As soon as she entered, she saw a sneaky Kinksu. What are you doing? Nothing. Didn't you tell me to come into the room? Shinman was silent for a moment, remembering that she might have said that. Then she looked at Kinksu. Help me find it in the wardrobe. Kinksu thought she had misheard. How could her sister wear something like that? Just as she was about to ask again if her sister had misspoken, Shinman had already gone into the bathroom. She had no choice but to open the wardrobe. Seeing the clothes inside, Kinksu's brain felt like it had shrunk. Sister, are you serious? After they both finished showering, Shinman came out wearing a bathrobe and found that the clothes she had asked Kinksu to find were not on the bed. Where are the clothes I asked you to find? I couldn't find them. Actually, Kinksu had seen them right away in a very obvious place. They were clearly prepared in advance. But thinking about her sister having to wear those things for that scumbag to see, she couldn't accept it, so she secretly hid them. Shinman looked at her sister with a helpless expression. This foolish sister of hers came back from studying abroad for a few years and became even less intelligent. I'll find it myself. You can go out now. My Seswu has already cleaned the rooms. You can choose any room you like. Seeing her sister shooing her away, Kinksu hugged her tightly. I haven't slept with you in years. You're so old now, stop being childish. No, sister, I am sleeping with you tonight, and tomorrow too. Kinksu, you're a grown-up now. Don't be like when you were little. No, I must sleep with you, Kinksu. What did I say? If you want to stay here, you have to listen to me. Shinman's expression changed. This girl really didn't know her place. Are you kicking me out because you want to sleep with that man? That's right. No, I don't agree. What right does he have? Because he's the man I like. That's still not okay. I haven't even agreed yet. Tonight, I have to sleep with you. If you kick me out, I'll go tell mom and dad that you have a man. Kinksu, are you threatening me? I just want to check him out for you. Who knows if he's after your money and beauty? You don't need to worry about that. I know what I'm doing. But you can't be so casual. Who knows if he deliberately approached you? You don't need to worry about this. The possibility is very low. How did you and he meet? He's someone I picked up at a hotel. What did you say? You picked that man up at a hotel. He's so hard to get, then. Then help me ask if he has any brothers. I want a handsome guy like that too. Why did he hit me on the head? This girl, what was she thinking all day? If you talk nonsense again, I'll send you back. Kinksu was hit on the head by Shinman and touched her head with a wronged and unconvinced expression. Why? Why could her sister be so hard to get? But as the younger sister, she couldn't. It wasn't like she was ugly. If you've had enough fun, go out and find a room to sleep in. Don't do anything stupid. Shinman ordered Kinksu, then sat down on the bed to dry her hair. No, I'm not going anywhere. I must sleep with you. No. Sister, I know what you're planning. You want to go sleep with that man. I don't agree. You have to sleep with me. Otherwise I'll call mom and dad right now. Kinksu's other hand was holding her phone. Although she was afraid of her sister, if their parents knew about this, her sister couldn't do anything to her either. Kingsu, you really are my good sister. Shenman said bitterly, went to the bed, lay down, and closed her eyes again. Now she deeply regretted agreeing to let her sister stay. If she had known this would happen, she wouldn't have wasted her breath and would have sent her directly back to the capital. As for Kingsu's threat, she wasn't afraid, just annoyed by the trouble. She had once run away from home because of an arranged marriage from childhood. If her parents found out, they would definitely not agree. She knew her father attached great importance to this arranged marriage, unless it was already a done deal. Are you angry? Shut up. If you're not going to sleep, then get out. Seeing her sister treat her like this, she could only helplessly turn her back. I'm so tired. I'm going to take a shower and go to bed. I sat on the sofa in the living room playing games for several hours and was tired. I yawned, stood up, stretched, and then glanced at Shenman's tightly closed bedroom door. What did she say to me? I touched my chin, trying to recall. I vaguely remembered her saying she would show me something. Oh well, whatever. I'm going to take a shower and sleep. It seems this woman won't be doing anything tonight. I can get a good night's sleep again. I deliberately chose the room furthest from Shenman's. It's best to stay as far away from this crazy woman as possible. Late at night, Shenman suddenly opened her eyes. Using the faint light from her phone screen to illuminate her surroundings, she gently lifted the blanket. After confirming that her sister, Shen Kingsu, was not awake, she quietly put on her slippers and silently opened the door. Zhang Dabao, you can't escape from my grasp. It's been a week, I can't stand it anymore. Outside, Shenman searched the entire first floor but didn't see the man. Ah, you really make me love and hate you. If he wasn't on the first floor, then he must be on the second. Finally, she reached the last room on the top floor. Shenman was clearly getting a little impatient. She opened the door. It was pitch black inside. Shenman walked to the side of the bed, very naturally lifted the blanket, and lay down beside me. This feeling of having not seen each other for a long time was truly missed. Fragrant and soft. I groggily opened my eyes. Damn, why are you here? Seeing Shenman hugging me, I was completely awake, looking at her in disbelief. Why can't I be here? This is my house. I can sleep wherever I want. What are you trying to do? Just be good. I won't do anything to you. Feeling that I was showing signs of wanting to get out of bed, Shenman grabbed the back of my shirt, pulled me back towards her, and hugged me tightly. The sensitive sensation of contact also made her blush. The next morning, Shen Kingsu turned over, looked at the empty space beside her, and called out twice without getting a reply. Shen Kingsu sat up, took out her phone to check the time. It was past 700. At this time, her sister had probably already gone to the company. She tidied up her messy hair. Shen Kingsu had just sat down when she heard the sound of the elevator door opening. Then she saw Shenman pulling me out from inside. Shen Kingsu thought she was seeing things. She put down her chopsticks, rubbed her eyes, and then looked again. No way, sister, you and him. Shen Kingsu pointed at me in disbelief, then looked up at the upper floor, seemingly knowing what had happened. Why are you two? Shen Kingsu was so angry she almost cursed out loud. You've fallen. Shenman glanced at her sister but said nothing. This is adult business. Kids shouldn't get involved. This man, what on earth did he say to her sister to make her so biased towards him? Seeing her sister being so intimate with me, Shen Kingsu had no choice but to vent her anger on me. She couldn't win against her sister, but she wasn't afraid of a handsome man. Being questioned by Shen Kingsu like that, I was also angry. Why are you asking me? How would I know? Go ask your sister. It's always your sister who clings to me, not letting go. I wish I could get away from this crazy woman. If you don't know how to talk, then don't. No one will think you're mute if you don't speak. Hurry up and eat. After you're done, come to the company with me. I'll find something for you to do. While scolding Shen Kingsu, Shenman didn't forget to coax me, feeding me a small steamed bun. Is it delicious? If it's not delicious, don't be ungrateful. Delicious, delicious. After breakfast, Shen Kingsu followed behind me and Shenman like a servant. What are you following me for? Didn't you tell me to follow you to the company? There's a self-driving car in the garage, go take it yourself. Not wanting to waste words with Shen Kingsu, Shenman pulled me outside. You have no situational awareness at all. The car only has 2 seats. You can't come even if you follow. Standing at the gate, watching our figures get into the car, Shen Kingsu clenched her fists tightly. In the passenger seat, Shenman looked at me and asked, did you miss me? She had asked this question several times, but my answer each time left her dissatisfied. I did, I replied perfunctorily. Funny, isn't it? If I say I didn't miss you, you're not happy. If I say I did, you say it's perfunctory. Why don't you just ascend to heaven? Are you angry because I didn't keep my promise last night? Seeing my aggrieved expression, Shenman asked again. What promise? You can't blame me either. It was Kingsu who held me back, and wouldn't let me out. But since I promised you, I won't go back on my word. When there's a suitable opportunity, I'll make it up to you. As compensation, I can satisfy one small request of yours. Shen Man leaned in towards my ear, her voice full of charm. The hot breath by my ear made me unable to control myself for a moment. The hand holding the steering wheel trembled. Miss Shen, I'm driving. Can you not disturb me? I want to live a few more years. Then let's be a pair of lovebirds who die together. Not good. You men really don't know romance, Shen Man mumbled, crossing her arms in front of her chest, occasionally stealing glances at me. Before we reached the company entrance, I stopped the car because I saw Lin Feng standing at the door from a distance. Miss Shen, there's still a short distance. You can drive yourself over. What? I didn't want Lin Feng to see me getting out of the car with a woman, otherwise, it would be an endless barrage of questions. Why? Are you afraid to be seen with me? Afraid I'll embarrass you in front of your brother? Shen Man had seen pictures of Lin Feng and guessed what I was thinking. Miss Shen, I'm doing this for your reputation. What virtue or ability do I have to stand next to you? Alright, you smooth talker. Get out. I happily got out of the car, watched the car drive away, turned around, and kicked the air. Damn woman. Just then, a car drove past me. The driver stuck his hand out and gave me the middle finger. I saw it and my blood boiled. Of course, I knew who it was. Isn't this young Master Jiang? Isn't this Captain Lin? Lin Feng had seen me long ago and approached with a series of greetings. What on earth are you doing? Why are you so late for work? Lin Feng had already been working for an hour. Seeing me just arriving now, he felt a little resentful. Brother, it's good to have someone on the inside. I'll tell them to give you a raise. I patted Lin Feng's shoulder like a big brother and was about to go inside, but he pulled me back. Let me tell you something. I just saw two very beautiful girls who look identical. Do you know them? I know a little. What are you doing? Help me ask around. Are you sure? Let me tell you, those two are not good people. Then I like them even more. I gave Lin Feng a thumbs up. Truly, ignorance is bliss. If he knew their identities, he probably wouldn't even dare to look at them again. Let me handle it for you. He smiled slyly. It seemed there was another good show to watch. Inside, I went straight to the fridge, grabbed some snacks, then opened my computer to play games. Shen Qingshu saw me open the computer to play games behind her sister's back, and her sister didn't even care. She was completely stunned. How can this be? Sister, what are you doing? How can he be like this? Aren't you going to do something about him? Shen Qingshu was like a primary school student tattling, going up to Shen Man. Just a moment ago, she was criticized for eating snacks in front of her sister. Why was this man allowed to play games behind her sister's back? Was there any justice in this world? Why should I care? Isn't this very good? Don't just stand there. Take these documents and process them. If you don't understand anything, ask Vivi. Shen Man took the pile of documents in front of her and placed them in Shen Qingshu's hands. I don't know how to do it, sister. I'm stupid. If you don't know, then learn. Sister Vivi, are you done checking? I'm hungry, I want to eat. Vivi was checking the homework Shen Man had assigned to Shen Qingshu. After being busy all morning, Shen Qingshu's stomach was rumbling. Qingshu, don't be anxious. Let me finish checking these last few pages. This is something Xiao Shen specifically instructed. I daren't be negligent. Oh, right. Sister Vivi, do you know anything about the man in my sister's office? Shen Qingshu rested her chin on her hand, looking expectantly at Vivi, hoping to find out more. At this. I don't know. Vivi awkwardly pushed up her glasses and lowered her head to look at Shen Qingshu's homework. Really? From Vivi's small movements, Shen Qingshu clearly saw something was not right. As her sister's secretary, she must know something. So she continued to ask, I don't believe you don't know. Little miss, please spare me. Why don't you go ask Xiao Shen yourself? So you do know a little something, right? Shen Qingshu smiled as she looked at Vivi. I don't know anything. Vivi shook her head like a rattle drum. Shen Qingshu obviously wouldn't give up. Sister Vivi, just tell me a little bit. I promise I won't tell anyone. My sister will definitely not find out. Shen Qingshu stood up from behind and hugged Vivi, acting coquettishly. For her sister's sake, she was going all out. What? A man of unknown origin dares to be a freeloader off my sister. Qingshu, I dared speak nonsense. Xiao Shen will be angry if she finds out. Then. Let me ask you a few questions. If you know, just answer. Vivi had no choice but to nod. When did they meet? Where did they meet? Vivi explained from the beginning. Shen Qingshu crossed her arms, her face in a thoughtful expression. So why does my sister keep him in the office? Probably because she's afraid he'll run away. Run away. My sister provides him with food, drinks, and entertainment. What is he running from? It was so infuriating to hear. Hearing this, Shen Qingshu flew into a rage. Is he even a man? A freeloader who doesn't even know how to act like one. I don't know how it usually is, but there are often strange noises in the office. Strange noises. What are they? Never mind. He dares to bully my sister. Shen Kingsu seemed to think of something inappropriate and stood up, slamming her hand on the table so hard it turned red. Kingsu, don't get excited. I think Xiao Shen quite likes him. Likes him my ass. I don't agree to this, Shen Kingsu said righteously. Come on Kingsu, aren't you hungry? Let's take the documents to Xiao Shen and then go eat. Vivi didn't dare to say any more. Yes, let's go eat. I'm starving to death. In the office, Shen Man was closing her eyes, enjoying my massage. After being on a business trip for a week, she really missed my skills. Every movement made her feel relaxed from head to toe. I want to go out this afternoon. Is that okay? Okay, take Kingsu with you. What's the fun in bringing her along? Then I'll go with you. I'd rather take her. I would rather take Shen Kingsu than her. It was like carrying a ticking time bomb. Knock knock knock, come in. Shen Kingsu came in holding her homework. Seeing me massaging her sister, she placed the homework on the desk, walked straight over, pushed me aside, and started doing it herself. How is it? Comfortable. What are you up to now? Changing masseurs. What else? Shen Man was a little uncomfortable. Massaging you, of course. In the future, if you're tired, just call me. I'll be right there. No need to call other useless people. After saying that, Shen Kingsu even glared at me. I held up both hands, feigning innocence. No need, Shen Man said coldly, then continued. This afternoon, you're going with him. You'll supervise him. I'm not going. Kingsu had just said it when she quickly took it back. She thought to herself, I must follow him, secretly collect evidence, and then expose the conspiracy of this villain who relies on his looks to deceive my sister, so that my sister can see his true face. She felt a heavy sense of responsibility. Her sister's happiness depended on her. As for me, I looked indifferent. This Kingsu girl looked foolish. Although she had a face similar to her sister's, their eyes were worlds apart. I could handle her in an instant. Let's go eat. Shen Man stood up, intending to take my hand as I stood behind her, but Kingsu quickly blocked her way. Kingsu's hand was coldly brushed aside by her own sister. Her aggrieved expression was almost comical, not evoking any pity at all. After pushing her sister aside, Shen Man instead took my hand. Kingsu looked unhappy. As soon as we left the office, I ran into an old acquaintance, Sun Tao, the one I had tricked into going to Africa for a 7-day experience. After coming back, Sun Tao had always avoided me, afraid of being tricked by me again. Oh, isn't it Brother Tao? Seeing one of the few old friends I knew at the Shen group, I was also very polite in my greeting. Actually, Sun Tao had seen me long ago, but he just wanted to walk past quickly, not wanting to have anything to do with me. Ah, Xiao Shen. Young Master Jine. What a coincidence. Being called out by me like that, Sun Tao. I cursed under my breath, then smiled and greeted the younger sister. Hello, little Miss Shen. Knowing the identity of this girl who looked so much like Shen Man, Sun Tao knew how to act. How could someone in his position not be perceptive? I was in Africa for a week. How's the project you're in charge of? Shen Man casually asked, happening to run into Sun Tao. This question seemed to hit a sore spot for him. I guarantee it will satisfy Xiao Shen. Little Miss Shen. I like that title. You're a good man. I'll take care of you from now on, Kingsu said, patting his chest, which was several sizes larger than hers, with an air of authority that didn't belong to her. Sun Tao could only manage a wry smile, not daring to say anything. But I really couldn't hold it in and burst out laughing. What are you laughing at? Oh, right. Laughing at your sister, are you? Shen Man turned to look at me, suspecting I was teasing her sister but having no proof, so she had to let it go. Sis, he's bullying me. You brought it on yourself. I saw Sun Tao tactfully excuse himself. He clearly didn't want to get caught in the middle of the three of us. We walked downstairs like that, causing a stir among the employees along the way. The simultaneous appearance of Shen Man and Kingsu was a revelation to those who didn't understand the situation before. But they didn't dare to be negligent. In fact, they became even more careful. Having two Xiao Shens appear at once was truly a bit intimidating. Downstairs, the security captain, Lin Feng, was about to go to the cafeteria for a meal. When he saw me, he was clearly surprised. He took off his sunglasses, rubbed his eyes several times, and looked closely to confirm he wasn't mistaken. Isn't that Zhang Debao? Why are there two beautiful women next to him? And they look alike. He had seen the two beauties that morning, but from a distance. If it weren't for the distance, Lin Feng would have recognized them as the two he'd been thinking about all morning. Feeling Lin Feng's gaze, I deliberately turned around before getting in the car and struck a very cocky pose. So he came here to pick up girls, and two of them at that. Lin Feng's expression was as if he wanted to grab me and interrogate me. The company is a serious place. All this fooling around outside, where's the decorum? Execution. Definitely execution. It's worth noting that Shen Corporation's regulations have a very important rule: no office romances. This rule not only improved the company's work efficiency but also effectively prevented some clandestine activities. If any ambiguous, line-crossing behavior was discovered, it would be met with the most severe punishment. Brother Feng, what are you doing? Let's go eat. This is work, what's there to be so serious about? I heard Xiao Wang, in a security uniform, say as he patted Lin Feng's shoulder. Xiao Wang, let me ask you something. Do you know Zheng De Bao? Of course. He's the boss's most valued person. He's a big deal. I was in the restaurant restroom, washing my hands, when I received a message from Lin Feng. I opened it and saw a stream of curses so vulgar I couldn't bear to look at the screen. My head was scratching as I plotted in my heart, planning to send Shen ManHwaCapped to him. I almost did something stupid. Luckily, I realized the problem just in time and slammed the brakes, backing out of the interface. Otherwise, it would have been direct suicide. Pushing Shen ManHwaCapped directly would let her see who recommended it, and wouldn't she come after me then? So, he used a little trick. I copied Shen ManHwaCapped number and sent it directly to Lin Feng. The two beauties you saw this morning. The older one, right? You think I go out for nothing? To help you get her contact info, I had to sacrifice my own beauty. A worthy sacrifice for my good son. Thinking about how I could anger that woman again, I was so happy I felt like I was walking on air. It was just a bit costly for my brother. He had no deep experience with this, and had been tricked by me before, not knowing he was being sent to Africa for 7 days. But I wasn't worried. I knew Shen Man was too lazy to bother with small fries like Lin Feng. At most, she'd make him suffer a little. It wouldn't be too bad, and I'd be there to take the fall for him anyway. The pitiful thing was that Lin Feng, being tricked by me, was especially grateful in his heart. Back at the table, the food was already served, but the two sisters hadn't touched their chopsticks, as if they were waiting for me. But that wasn't the truth. As soon as the food arrived, Pinksu was eager to eat but was stopped by Shen Man tapping her hand with chopsticks several times. It was like the rule that children can't start eating before the head of the household is at the table. I didn't care about such things, sat down, picked up my chopsticks, and started eating. Pinksu could only watch, drooling. She was already hungry, and after being scolded by her sister and seeing me eat with such relish, she was even hungrier. Shen Man nodded slightly, signaling that Pinksu could start eating. But she just stared at me. Why wasn't she eating? The reason was simple, she was waiting to be fed. I was used to being stared at by Shen Man while eating. Complaining was useless, so I might as well eat normally and treat feeding Shen Man like feeding a pet pig. Sis, try this piece of meat. It's delicious, Pinksu said, thoughtfully placing a piece of meat in her sister's bowl while enjoying her own meal. Her parents had taught her since she was young to share good things. Glancing at the meat in her bowl, Shen Man put it back into Pinksu's. If it's delicious, you eat more. I have someone to feed me. After eating, Shen Man thoughtfully took a napkin and wiped the oil from the corner of my mouth. I want to wipe my own mouth too, Pinksu said. Shen Man pushed the used napkin towards Pinksu, her gaze returning to me. I had no choice but to take the bowl in front of her and feed her, spoonful by spoonful. Have this soup. I scooped a spoonful of soup and brought it to Shen Man's lips. Aren't you going to blow on it? Blow on what? You've had so much, the temperature is just right, I thought. Fine. It's better than having you spit in it. If you want me to spit, why not just feed it to me mouth to mouth? We could have a little exchange. Hearing her sister's suggestive words, Pinksu nearly spat out her food. Sis, what are you saying? Am I supposed to hear these things? My plan was seen through by Shen Man, and I instantly felt a little flustered. What kind of brain does this woman have? She even figured that out. How could I? I'm not that disgusting. So, what if I am? Miss Shen, let's not joke like this. It's not funny. I quickly changed the subject. Drink the soup. Drink the soup. I hurriedly blew on the spoonful of soup and handed it to Shen Man, wanting to move on. Shen Man took the small bowl from my hand, took a few sips, and commented, the taste isn't bad, but still not as delicious as you. Hearing these cringe-worthy words, Pinksu next to her immediately got goosebumps. Come on, I'm not delicious. Seeing Shen Man's seductive gaze, I shivered inwardly. This vixen is in heat again. That's not for you to say. Only I know how delicious you are. I saw Pinksu had already covered her ears. How were these words any different from the dark novel she read? But now the main character was her own sister, which was about to make her break down. Miss Shen, are you done eating? If you're done, let's go. Yes, sis, let's go since you're done. Pinksu was also eager to leave quickly. Oh, right, Miss Shen. My service fee. Are you going to pay me? I want to go out this afternoon, so give me a little extra. I deliberately demanded money from Shen Man in front of Pinksu. Seeing Shen Man frown, I thought to myself, I'm actually doing this so Pinksu sees me as a complete kept man. That way, she'll dislike me even more, and the chances of me and Shen Man being together will disappear. Didn't I already give you the black card? It's all gone. And this is different. This is a separate price. Hearing this, King Xu's expression changed. What? She already gave him the black card. There's at least $1 billion in there. She gave this man that much, and he still has the nerve to ask for more money. He's truly a kept man. Fine. I'll give it to you, Shen Man said without another word. After lunch, I didn't go back to the company with Shen Man. King Q was always watching my every move, taking notes and reporting back to her sister. She wanted her sister to see my true colors as soon as possible. After eating, I got straight into the car, folded my arms behind my head, and took a short nap. At the same time, Shen Man suddenly received a WeChat friend request. On the other end, seeing the request was accepted, Lin Fen was ecstatic. Hello, beautiful. I'm the security captain downstairs at the company. My salary isn't low, over 100,000 a month. Oh, and I have a good brother, John De Bao, you probably know him. He's a big shot in our company. Are you interested in getting to know me? John De Bao, you're dead this time, Shen Man thought, furious as she read the message. Then she replied, I am Shen Man. Lin Feng had never heard this name before and quickly grabbed a subordinate. Hey, do you know Shen Man? Don't just casually say that name in the company. That's our CO. After cursing, Lin Feng understood he had been miserably tricked by me. I slept for an hour, then opened my eyes, put on my shoes, and slammed on the gas. The inertia caused her to hit her head on the dashboard. Did you do that on purpose? King Q yelled angrily. You guessed it. Smart, but no prize for you, I said nonchalantly. What's wrong? If you can't handle it, get out of the car. I was deliberately trying to force her out. I'm not getting out. I won't let your scheme succeed. After a while, King Q felt uneasy. Where are you taking me? To a hotel, I said with a harmless smile, even glancing at her body, looking exactly like a perverted old man. If you dare take me to one of those places, my sister won't let you off. King Q's eyes widened as she clutched her legs, her voice trembling. If you're scared, then get out of the car. I'm not stopping you, I said helplessly. I am not getting out. If you dare do anything to me, I'll have my sister cripple you. Are you threatening me? I suddenly slammed on the brakes, stopping a few meters from the red light. King Q hit her head on the dashboard again, tears welling up in her eyes, looking like she was about to cry. So what if I'm threatening you? If you dare touch me, my sister won't forgive you. But when she saw me leaning closer, she suddenly got scared. What do you want to do? She asked, anxiously pulling her seatbelt tight, looking at me helplessly. Obviously, things that men like to do, I said with a wicked grin, reaching my hand towards her face. She closed her eyes with a look of resignation. As long as it's not the right person, it's perfect. What do you want to do? She asked again, pulling her seatbelt tighter, looking at me helplessly. Obviously, things that men like to do, I repeated with a wicked grin, reaching my hand towards her face. She closed her eyes, ready for the worst. Just as I was about to touch her face, I stopped, glanced at her, and said, not interested. Boring. Then I stepped on the gas and continued driving. When we arrived, King Su finally realized that my so-called hotel wasn't a sports hotel. She finally let out a sigh of relief. I couldn't be bothered with her, figuring she would leave on her own. At the reception, the lady told us, we only have single rooms left. I nodded, not caring. Then she added, our hotel doesn't provide small umbrellas. If you need one, you can go to the vending machine. I was stunned. After a moment, I realized she had misunderstood our relationship. The innocent and pure King Su also looked confused. I leaned in and explained it to her, and her face immediately turned bright red. Pervert. In the room, King Su sat on the bed, looking at me nervously. You don't need to be so tense, I said helplessly. I'm really not interested in you. Your two little peanuts are nothing compared to your sister's white peaches. Hearing this, her face turned red with anger. And you say you have no intentions towards my sister, she retorted, unconvinced. How much do I hate you and my sister being together? Of course, what right do you have? Because I'm handsome, what else? She glared at me. An idea suddenly popped into my head. How about this, let's make a deal. You want me to leave your sister, right? I don't want to be with her either, but you won't let me. So, me and your sister getting together was just an accident. The reason is, when I was making a delivery, I happened to run into her. I saw her beauty and was talking about her behind her back, and she overheard me. So she threatened and tied me to her side. King Su tilted her head, thinking. Seeing me nod repeatedly, she suddenly felt it was a bit absurd. Do you think I'm an idiot? Why would my sister hold onto you and not let go? She suddenly became agitated, with a look of disbelief. Actually, it's because I gave her 200 yuan and told her to try it, and then not to bother me again, I said, scratching my head, a bit embarrassed, hiding some details that shouldn't be said. King Su burst out laughing. 200 yuan. You're killing me, She held her stomach, laughing so hard that tears came out, which annoyed me. After she had laughed enough, she managed to say, "I'm starting to believe you a little. Are you insulting someone? Does my sister need your 200 yuan? Let alone 20, even 2 million or 20 million, my sister wouldn't care. You really don't want anything to do with my sister. And I don't like you either. How about you help me convince her to let me go? You hate my sister that much. Isn't she beautiful? Doesn't she have money?" she asked, dissatisfied. "Please, this isn't about money or beauty. Your sister is the type." I almost said the wrong thing and quickly corrected myself. "Your sister is like a goddess. I'm not worthy of her. So, you help me. If it works, I'll thank your ancestors for 18 generations. You actually have some self-awareness, knowing you're not worthy of my sister. Well then, just wait. I'll find a chance for my sister to kick you far away. But don't you dare dream of a toad eating swan meat. I won't let you succeed either. Why are you so confident? I already told you I'm not interested in peanuts. Eve, a man's mouth is full of lies. I'm just a little small, but I'm not bad. What if you get hungry enough not to be picky?" "You have a point," I said, standing up and slowly walking towards her. "What are you doing? You want to know what a little sister tastes like?" Kingsu angrily pushed me away, her face beet red, completely unsure how to react. After teasing the ordinary Kingsu for a while, I went back to the computer and started playing games. Kingsu kept searching on her phone for ways to get her sister to dump me, occasionally looking up to check on me. After finishing a game, I had an idea. I took out my phone, a wicked grin on my face, and texted my brother Lin Feng. "Hey, how's it going? Success. When are you treating me to a drink? What's the hurry? She's very cold." Didn't say which department she's in. Just said one thing to me. "Oh right, do you know her name? I can't keep calling her beautiful." Lin Feng was setting a trap for me. I fell right into it. "I don't know either." I asked a female bandit. I even treated her to a meal. "Hurry up and send me a 200 yuan red packet." "Damn it, Jiang Debao. Are you even human?" Lin Feng cursed silently but still painfully sent me a 200 yuan red packet, adding, "Then, when you have time, help me ask around. I'll send you another one then." "No problem, leave it to me." "Oh, right, you didn't say I gave you her contact info, did you?" "How could I? You're my good brother. How could I betray you?" Lin Feng replied. I excitedly told Lin Feng, "Good brother, I believe you can definitely win her over." After our chat, Lin Feng took screenshots of the entire conversation and sent them to Shen Man. After Shen Man read them, a cruel smile appeared on her lips. "Looks like I need to let you experience my methods once again." That night, Shen Man took off my shirt. She patted my six-pack abs. "You have to pay the price for your mistakes. And that price is you don't get to eat meat for a week. You've become corrupted, haven't you?" My head was spinning. I weakly raised my hand to grab her wrist. "Crazy. That's right. I am crazy. A crazy woman who wants to eat you alive." She grabbed my hand back, her other hand caressing my face. "Be a good boy and accept your punishment. This time, you have to feel it carefully." I suddenly opened my eyes, my back covered in a cold sweat. It was a dream. But the pain in my waist reminded me that it had all really happened. I pushed Shen Man, who was resting her head on my chest, away and propped myself up against the headboard, sighing. "What a sin." Feeling the movement, Shen Man subconsciously tightened her grip on my hand, looking very ruthless. He stared at the dark ceiling, feeling completely lifeless. This woman was truly vicious, wanting to devour even me. I didn't want to live anymore. Suddenly, there was a knock on the door. "Sis, are you in there?" "I'm coming in." The words had barely left her mouth when the door opened, and Kingsu walked right in. Seeing me shirtless and leaning against the headboard, she screamed. Then she saw Shen Man lying next to me, and immediately flew into a rage. "You bastard, you dare bully my sister, I'll kill you." The light from outside was too bright for my eyes to adjust. I raised my hand to shield them, not seeing Kingsu rush over until a sharp pain shot through my arm. "Are you sick? Why are you biting me?" She bit my wrist tightly until I managed to pull away. I saw a deep bite mark on my left wrist, with traces of blood. Shen Man was woken up. She groggily opened her eyes and, seeing her sister, quickly tried to comfort her. "Kingsu, I'm fine. You go outside. I need to talk to him." "Says he's..." Kingsu said angrily. "Go outside," Shen Man insisted. Kingsu had no choice but to let go of her sister, glaring at me. "Don't be afraid. Our family won't let you suffer." After her sister left, Shen Man was silent for a few minutes, looking at the wound on my hand. "Is your hand okay?" she asked with concern. "Kingsu was just worried about me. I'll explain to her that it's my fault." Her voice was calm as if she were talking about something unimportant. "Maybe because I'm too weak, I don't have the same energy as before. If you mind it so much, I can bite you back, just like last time." "What bite you back?" I looked at her, unable to believe my ears. Don't look at me like that. I'm serious, she continued. I couldn't help but slap my forehead. Is this woman completely insane? Can you let me go? Put on your clothes and get out. If you stay a few more minutes, your sister might come back with a knife to chop me up. Shinman snorted and let go. I tried to sit up, but halfway up, my body went limp. Are you okay? She asked, looking at me with a worried, resentful expression. Isn't this all your fault? Hearing that, I got angry. This is what you brought on yourself. You think you're indestructible. You almost took my life. What does it have to do with you? She said resentfully. It's clearly my own doing. Is it my fault that your body is good? Besides, I haven't even settled the score with you yet. She just made a sound, and I couldn't tell if it was praise or criticism. You're sick. I couldn't help but curse at her. You want to continue? Was last night's performance okay? As she reached up to touch her throat, she whispered, if you're a good boy. He shuddered. Woman, you're playing with fire. Do you dare? I'm weak now and can't even tie up a chicken, but do you dare? Her tone was full of provocation. You win. I didn't want to argue with her. I lifted the blanket to get out of bed, but then I saw a sight that made my nose bleed, a mix of black and white, covered in marks. Shenman also pulled the blanket over herself, not daring to look at me directly. The atmosphere became awkward for a moment. The performance was really not bad. I teased Shenman before jumping off the bed like a monkey. However, he underestimated her fighting prowess. As soon as my feet hit the ground, I knelt, a dull itch in my waist. I realized the truth, this woman had really gone all out last night. Didn't she feel it herself? With that much exercise, even a bull couldn't take it. After resting for a moment, I picked up my clothes from the floor, put them on, and leaned against the wall as I walked to the bathroom. Seeing me subdued by her power, Shenman, still in bed, smiled smugly. She picked up her phone, saw it was past work hours, and had to call Vivi. I'm not feeling well today, not coming to the company. Email the documents to me, I'll work from home. After that, she closed her eyes and went back to sleep. The moment I left the room, I was attacked. Q was hitting me with a pillow. This girl really doesn't know when to stop. It's obviously your sister who keeps holding on to me. I want to leave. I couldn't help but say 2 words, you're sick. Seeing the breakfast on the table, my eyes lit up. Ignoring Kinksu's angry glares, I sat down and started eating. After working all night, I needed to refuel. Every time after a workout with me, Shinman would prepare a ton of nourishing food the next day. I immediately dug in, completely ignoring Kinksu's scolding. You dog of a man, you still have the face to eat. If I'm a dog of a man, then your sister is a dog of a woman, I retorted. Kinksu was so angry she picked up a pillow and threw it at me. I easily dodged it, not forgetting to eat a piece of a bologna and tease her. What's wrong, little peanut? Kinksu was furious. Being called that by me was enough to make her go crazy. What's it to you? It's true, it has nothing to do with me. This peanut doesn't even have a single bite. Get lost, Kinksu said angrily, unable to do anything. Just rest. Aren't you tired from shouting so loud? With that energy, you'd be better off convincing your sister not to cling to me, I said with annoyance, secretly laughing. This girl is hilarious. Kinksu huffed and sat on the sofa, hugging a pillow. At noon, Shenman finally came out of the bedroom. After a few hours of sleep, she was finally more awake. Kinksu, come here. I need to talk to you about something. Kinksu reluctantly followed her sister into the room, feeling very unhappy. Kinksu, whatever you want to ask, I'll tell you. I just want to ask you one thing. Do you really like him? Shenman was at a loss for words. Let's put it this way. My original intention was to use him as a shield, right? You're right. How could I so easily fall for that despicable man? Kinksu understood her sister's meaning but still complained. Dad is really something else. Why did he have to arrange some childhood engagement for you? What if the other person has bad character? What's wrong? Seeing her sister spacing out, she couldn't help but ask. Nothing. It's just. He doesn't seem to like me very much. Kinksu sighed in frustration. Sis, you've fallen into the trap. Even if you like him, what about Dad? And besides, seeing that dog of a man get more and more arrogant, I really can't stand it. Let's just drag it out. When it's unavoidable, we'll meet once and get it over with. Kinksu, what should I do now? I don't know either, sis. You've never been in love. But I have an idea. What is it? Let me handle it. Wait for me to tell you. After Shinman clarified everything with her sister, Kinksu no longer deliberately opposed me. Although she still couldn't stand the sight of me, what could she do? Kicking me out was unrealistic, and she couldn't win an argument against me. As for me teasing her about being a little peanut, that was a matter of a woman's honor, the easiest way to break their defenses. It's like if you call a poor man poor, he won't care. But you absolutely cannot say he's a 3-inch nail, or he'll prove you wrong on the spot. However, getting Shen Qingxiu to acknowledge me as her sister's man was impossible, at least for now. At lunch, the three of us were exceptionally quiet. Shen Man rarely started eating on her own. She was starving. She had eaten too much too late last night and only woke up at noon. She really couldn't wait for me to feed her anymore. Sis, eat more to nourish yourself. I'm really worried you'll suddenly fall ill in this state, Shen Qingxiu said, putting a piece of black chicken in her sister's bowl to replenish her qi and blood. Compared to her usual majestic demeanor, Shen Man looked much weaker now. He sneered inwardly. Her body clearly can't take it, but she still tries to act tough. As for me, I had eaten plenty of nourishing food this morning and was full of confidence, feeling like I could go another few hundred rounds without a problem. I'm not as weak as you think. I have to work from home this afternoon, so I don't have the energy to manage you. Don't cause any trouble. I know, sis. I won't cause trouble with him. Shen Qingqiu's shrewish tone made Shen Man feel a little guilty. Alright, don't be upset. Isn't it the National Day holiday in a few days? I'll take you to the amusement park for a day. You'll really go to the amusement park with me. Of course it's true. When have I ever lied to you? What about him? Shen Qingxiu pointed at me. After a moment of silence, she mumbled, never mind, I didn't ask. You're still so biased. You're clearly trying to appease me, but you still have to bring this man along. You can choose not to go. No, that afternoon, Shen Man handled company affairs at home while I lay on the sofa playing games. Seeing my continuous victories, Shen Qingxiu was extremely envious but didn't dare ask me to teach her how to play because she still held a grudge. However, for her sister's sake, she started a shopping frenzy on Taobao. This one's not bad. And this one too. Buy them all. The next day, everything returned to normal. Shen Man regained her image as a fierce CEO. Last night, she had rarely restrained herself and hadn't touched me. As soon as I arrived at the company entrance, I heard Lin Feng's trembling voice. Good morning, Xiao Shen. Seeing me behind her, he was so angry he gritted his teeth, grabbed my pants, and wouldn't let go. Help! I cried out to Shen Man, but she ignored me. You reap what you sow. Still pretending. Huh. You almost got me killed. Lin Feng gave me a series of punches to vent the anger that had been building up for a day. Stop hitting me, big brother. I was wrong. I knew I was in the wrong, so I didn't fight back. Just as long as he didn't hit my face. He still had to rely on it to make a living. Damn it, you can't trick people like that. You dared to tell me to flirt with the CEO. Are you trying to get me killed? Thinking about it still made him angry, and he punched me again. Come on, you're fine. You've hit me and scolded me, let's just let it go. I came here prepared to be beaten. If I were in your shoes, I'd probably hit harder. You still tricked me out of 200 yuan. You have to pay me back at least 10 times that. My mouth twitched. You still remember that 200 yuan. Alright. I reluctantly gave Lin Feng 2,000 yuan. This was a profitable deal. Oh, right, what's your relationship with the CEO? I can't believe the powerful person you mentioned is our boss. No wonder you have it so easy at this company. So you're a kept man, Lin Feng said, rubbing his hands together, his eyes full of understanding. Making money with your abilities isn't shameful. I'll tell you, my relationship with her is purely physical. Do you believe me? I believe you, Lin Feng nodded seriously. In this day and age, looks are everything. As long as you have the looks, nothing is impossible. You're still too young. Lin Feng scratched his head, seeming to think it wasn't as simple as he thought and that he needed to use his brain. So the CEO's sister. Does she have a thing with you too? Nice, a pair of sisters. Double the fun. I wouldn't even touch that peanut. Not a single bite. Lin Feng was confused. He had never heard anyone use peanut to describe a woman, especially little peanut. He specifically emphasized the word little. Look, isn't that her? Lin Feng followed my finger. Shen Qingxiu was walking towards the company entrance. Damn, seeing Shen Qingxiu, Lin Feng fearfully hid behind me. He was extremely nervous. These two sisters look so alike. It's really hard for someone unfamiliar to tell them apart. What are you afraid of? She's just a peanut. And a bit crazy too, I said, pointing to my head. Shen Qingxiu, from a distance, saw me and Lin Feng talking about her. As she passed us, she made a face at me and gave me the middle finger. See? She's a little peanut, right? You're right, Lin Feng said, stroking his chin. Shen Qingxiu, who hadn't gone far, heard me call her a little peanut again in front of someone else. Helplessly, she could only stomp her foot and walk away quickly. See? I told you so. Lin Feng said nothing, just secretly gave me a thumbs up. He didn't dare to openly tease the CEO's sister like I did. He still wanted to work for a few more years to save money for a house and a wife. Take me upstairs to play. Play. Lin Feng's eyes widened in surprise as he looked at me. So intense. Cosplay in the office during broad daylight. In the CEO's office. I'm so mad. Shen Qingqiu sat on the sofa, punching a pillow. It was obvious I had angered her again. Sis, you have to stand up for me. Shin Kingsu hugged her sister's arm, acting coquettishly, as if her only hope was her sister. Tell me, how did he anger you? He made fun of me, calling me a peanut, and he said your white peaches are fragrant. Shin Kingsu looked down at her own size, then at her sister's, her face full of disappointment. I'm not that small. It's been the same for years. I've tried so hard, but they just won't grow. Hearing her sister's lament, Shin Man also became a little angry, her expression clearly darkening. Men are truly all the same, only thinking about that. Just then, I walked in. My sixth sense told me there was a murderous aura in the air. I felt a bit awkward, sensing the situation wasn't good. Jian Dibao, come here. Can I not? I'll give you 3 seconds to get over here. I kept a safe distance from the two sisters to avoid getting hurt. I heard you like to eat white peaches. White peaches? Of course I like them. They, white, fragrant, and sweet. Who wouldn't? I and Shin Man were not on the same wavelength, and I spoke very naturally. What about peanuts? Peanuts. They're a great snack with drinks. The kind that. As I spoke, I felt something was increasingly wrong and stopped. Why do these two words sound so familiar? Keep talking. Oh, that. I've never eaten them before. I'm serious. I've eaten white peaches, but never peanuts. Jiang Debao, if you dare to tease my sister like that again, see how I'll deal with you. I won't say it anymore. I won't say it anymore. So, do you still want to eat white peaches? No more, no more. Really? It seems my sister was right. You really are a dog of a man. Shin Man scolded me. I said nothing. At this point, silence was the best option. Okay, I know. I'll have someone go before I get home. Shin Kingsu received a call from a delivery person. The thing she bought online last night had arrived. I was already used to this habit of hers. This sister loved to buy strange things online when she had nothing to do. Since she's been here, not a day has gone by without a delivery. When I get home, I can give it to my sister. I wonder if she'll praise me, Shin Kingsu thought gleefully, eager to see her sister's reaction. After dinner, while I was taking a shower, Shin Kingsu secretly carried a large box into Shin Man's room. When I came out of the shower, I happened to hear her bustling around in there. Shin Man entered and frowned, slightly displeased. Kingsu, I told you not to open your packages in my room. It wasn't that she was being stingy, but the things Shin Kingsu bought were too bizarre. A cockroach, jade sticker, a donut that would sing when touched, a morning alarm clock. Sis, it's different this time. I bought this especially for you, Shin Kingsu explained while opening the box. It took her a while to finally open the multi-layered package. This is killing me. This seller really wrapped it in so many layers. Did they even consider the buyer's feelings when opening it? Hearing her complain, I secretly laughed. It's another drama. After complaining, Shin Kingsu took everything out of the box and walked over to Shin Man. This sister is getting smarter, she knows to buy books to read. Seeing Shin Kingsu holding a stack of books, Shin Man teased her. I told you I bought it for you. For me. That's right. Didn't you ask me how to make him like you? The answers are all in here. Shin Kingsu patted the stack of books and casually handed the top one to Shin Man. 101 Ways to Make a Man Fall in Love with You, a woman's bedside book. Shin Man read the title out loud in disbelief, then looked at Shin Kingsu. Are you kidding me? You actually believe this stuff? Did studying abroad damage your brain? At that moment, Shin Man really didn't want to acknowledge the sister. Don't be so quick to judge, says. There's more. He spent a long time choosing these for you. You'll definitely like one of them. Shin Kingsu then placed the rest of the books into Shin Man's hands. What to do when your crush doesn't like you? You'll know after reading this book. A book that teaches you to be a sea queen and conquer the man you want. How to turn men into your toys. The book titles became more and more outrageous, even sounding like something from the criminal underworld. In comparison, the first book seemed slightly more credible. When she handed the last book to Shin Man, Shin Kingsu suddenly snatched it back, looking a bit embarrassed. Sis, I'm not giving you this one. I bought this for myself. Although she was quick, I still managed to see the title of that book, The National Directory of Handsome and Rich Men. Says, study hard. I won't disturb you anymore. Shin Kingsu quickly packed up the box and ran off with her directory of handsome men. Seeing her run so fast, I couldn't help but laugh. Shin Man placed the love manuals on her bedside table and rubbed her forehead. Having a sister like this is certainly an experience. After her shower, Shin Man lay in bed and happened to see the stack of books on her nightstand. She casually picked one up. 101 Ways to Make a Man Fall in Love with You, a woman's bedside book. It sounded somewhat reliable. She opened the table of contents. The chapter titles were very simple, all following the format of the X method. What the method was, it didn't say. Using high school literary comprehension skills, the answer was to create mystery and attract the reader's interest, giving them space for imagination. Seeing such a practically meaningless book, Shenman already wanted to give up. Her sister was just like this book, all flash and no substance, completely unreliable. These publishers were just making money off people with muddled minds. But when she read the first sentence of the main text, Shenman became a little interested. The first method in the 100 ways to make a man love you, and also the most important one, looks or justice. This sentence was in a different font from the rest of the text, and was bolded. As long as you have high looks, the opposite sex will flock to you. With high looks, you already have the main character's halo. You must believe that you are very attractive. With this advantage and strength, you have already succeeded 99, and the remaining one is the other person's weak persistence. The first page explained a bunch of things, but it all boiled down to that one sentence, looks or justice. In this world, every man wears glasses, and they are rose-colored glasses. If you don't believe it, you can test it with 10 men in short videos. How many of them don't have makeup videos? I can't say all 10, but at least 8 or 9 of them definitely do. Even when walking on the street, a man walking with his girlfriend who suddenly sees a beautiful woman with a great aura is very likely to turn his head for a few glances. He's tired of looking at his own girlfriend every day, and still needs a little novelty. Unless his girlfriend is pretty enough to change her style every day. The same goes for women. In fact, their rose-colored glasses are even stronger than men's. They go crazy when they see a handsome man. Reading this, Shenman revealed a confident smile. Beauty is indeed a woman's best weapon. It made sense. After reading the first chapter, Shenman's confidence soared. Isn't it because of a pretty face? Whether from an ordinary or poor family, the wealth that beauty brings is far more attractive to men than money itself. The way men throw money around like trash in bathhouses is proof. Men are so clueless. Shenman snorted in anger. She had taken the initiative so many times, but Zhang Dabao always avoided her, which made her feel very defeated. In terms of looks or assets, she was clearly not inferior. So why was he so unappreciative? She admitted she had a bit of a controlling tendency, but she just wanted him to be obedient. In the end, she could only use this method to keep him by her side. No matter how much you hate me, I don't care. So she turned to the next page and saw the second method in the 100 ways to make a man fall in love with you, cater to his hobbies. She thought back on Zhang Dabao's hobbies, and realized they had almost no interaction and didn't really understand each other. Zhang Dabao was always playing games and didn't want to talk to her, even complaining that she was bothering him. She had once asked him if games were more interesting than her, and he had always argued for the games. Yes, annoying. She had no interest in games at all, feeling they were a waste of time. She skipped chapter 2, and suddenly realized it was past her scheduled bedtime. She had been engrossed in reading. The next day was the last day before the National Day holiday. Shen Kingqiu excitedly ran over and asked, "Sis, let's go to the newly opened amusement park tomorrow." Shen Man glanced at her phone and said calmly, "All right." Shen Kingqiu excitedly went to buy tickets. Seeing her sister wasn't paying attention, Shen Man secretly took out the book to read. She desperately wanted Zhang Dabao to like her, and didn't dare let her sister know. While she was engrossed in reading, I came back from the fridge with snacks and happened to see Shen Man's sneaky behavior. "What are you reading so secretively?" I teased. Shen Man pretended to be calm and covered the book with a document, but her heart was in turmoil, afraid I would find out. "Come and massage my shoulders," she said helplessly. I hesitated for a moment, but still agreed. While I was massaging her shoulders, Shen Man suddenly asked me, "Am I beautiful?" Although she knew the answer, she still wanted to hear it from me personally. "You've asked me this question before." "The answer is my mother is the most beautiful." "Then I'm second." "No. I think your sister is more beautiful than you." Shen Man glared at me, displeased. "Zhang Dabao, what's wrong?" "What's wrong?" Hearing her sister's voice, Shen Kingqiu giggled and ran to the door, ready to watch the show. As expected, that dog of a man was about to be in trouble. "Nothing, I just said you're more beautiful than my sister." I deliberately stirred up trouble. Shen Kingqiu saw the situation was not good and quickly ran away, not daring to stay. "Brother, you brought this on yourself. Don't drag me into it," she thought. "I know I'm not as beautiful as you." Calm down, calm down. "I was just joking," I quickly explained. "Joking? In your heart, am I not even worthy of being judged?" Shen Man said contemptuously. I knew she was angry, and took a few steps back to be safe. Shen Kingqiu was peeking from the side, silently cheering, "Hit him. Isn't my technique very good?" I said smugly, approaching her with a grin, teasing her. "Really? Then come find me tonight." Shen Man smiled meaningfully, her hand resting on the document. "Forget it. I'm not a baby, I don't need to drink milk." Shen Man, dissatisfied, threw the document at me. Due to the force of her movement, the love manual hidden underneath also fell to the ground. "A gentleman uses his words, not his fists. No ethics at all," I cried out dramatically. Out of curiosity, I turned my head to see the fallen book. "What's this?" Shen Man quickly picked up the love manual, hugging it tightly. After scolding me, she ran out of the office in a panic. Shen Qingshu saw this and immediately chased after her. Are you okay? Shen Man quickly stopped her. Shen Qingshu looked at me suspiciously. What did you say to my sister? Nothing. I just praised her for being beautiful. Then why is my sister angry? She's probably just shy, I said without blushing, making it up on the spot. The knave Shen Qingshu actually believed me and ran to an empty classroom where Shen Man's face was still red. No need to drink milk before bed. She angrily recalled my words, feeling embarrassed and blaming herself. She slumped onto the desk, her mind in a jumble, wondering why I was so unappreciative and hateful. So am I going to find him tonight? She thought, annoyed. I already said it. If I don't go, I'll be laughed at. Shen Qingshu was rummaging through the clothes in her sister's closet, complaining, you don't have a single decent outfit. Shen Man's wardrobe was almost entirely filled with work clothes and pajamas. The only things slightly better were formal gowns. Unlike you, who just plays and shops all day, I have to work hard. Where would you get your spending money otherwise? Shen Man shot a glare at her younger sister. Scolded by her sister, Shen Qingshu felt embarrassed. Well, thank you for raising me, she said sweetly, trying to be cute. I bought a lot of beautiful clothes. Thick one, Shen Man, who had just finished showering, smelled fresh. It's late, you should go to bed. Shen Qingshu pouted, her expression dramatic. It's not even that late. If you want to kick me out, just say so. Don't think I don't know you're planning to go find a man. But can't you have a little self-control? A woman with restraint is more cherished. What does a little girl like you know? Wait until you have a boyfriend before you lecture me with your misguided theories, Shen Man said, pretending to be calm, though her heart was racing. Fine, I'll pretend I didn't say anything. Oh, right, have you read those books? At the mention of the books, Shen Man grew even more flustered. At her sister discovered her secretly reading them. How humiliating. It's nothing. If you're not going to read them, give them to me. Don't waste them. I already cleaned up all that flowery stuff. It's fine, I'll buy more for you some other time. Shen Qingshu turned to leave, adding, remember to have some self-control. Hey, what are you thinking about all day? After Shen Qingshu left, Shen Man hesitated for a moment but still decided to go find Zhang Dabao. At that moment, I was taking a shower. Shen Man opened the door to my room and didn't see me, only hearing a strong, rhythmic, and pleasant sound. A suggestive video was playing on the phone on the bed. A sexy blogger in a cosplay outfit was striking seductive poses. Such a mediocre video, yet it had millions of views and comments. The bathroom light was on, steam was wafting out, and a high-pitched singing voice could be heard from inside. What's so great about that? Her figure isn't even as good as mine, Shen Man muttered jealously, closing the video app, feeling a bit annoyed. Just then, I walked out, drying my hair with a towel. Seeing Shen Man sitting on my bed startled me. I stopped wiping my hair, and when I saw her holding my phone, I panicked and rushed over to snatch it back. I had a lot of practical documentaries saved on there that I couldn't let anyone see. Shen Man looked at me suspiciously, her eyes scanning me from top to bottom before stopping. Damn. Her stare made me realize I wasn't wearing any clothes. I started looking around for something to wear, not forgetting to cover myself with the towel. What's there to cover? It's not like I haven't seen it before. Shen Man's words made my face turn even redder. You're a girl, can't you have some shame? I'm a man, and even I am not as perverted as you. After saying that, Shen Man casually grabbed a pair of underwear from the bed and threw them at me, hitting me right in the face. What else? Where are your clothes? Isn't one piece enough? Just wear the underwear. After getting dressed in the bathroom, I came out worriedly, thinking, am I in for it again tonight? Come here. What are you planning to do? Didn't you praise my skills? Let's let you experience it again. No. I really wanted to slap myself. I shouldn't have been so reckless this morning. Shen Man wasn't the type to just make empty threats. She followed through. Are you scared? Weren't you so mighty this morning? Shen Man looked at me with a hint of contempt in her voice. Who's scared? I don't know who's the one crying and begging every time. What? Am I wrong? Of course you're wrong. I only cry because my hair gets in my eyes, Shen Man retorted, her face flushing with embarrassment and anger. Are you coming over here or not? No. Fine, then I'll come over there. Whenever Shen Man said that, it meant she was truly angry. It was best not to provoke her at times like these. You smell so good after your shower. Shen Man shamelessly pressed herself against me, her face almost touching my chest. Miss Shen, can you not be so ambiguous? I don't have any milk for you to drink. If you have a habit of drinking milk before bed, you should go buy some. Shocking statements always seem to come out of my mouth. Shen Man, who was usually emotionally stable, had lost her temper countless times since meeting me. Zhang Dabao, do you know how punchable you are? But don't worry, I won't hit you. I raised a hand to stop her. Miss Shen, calm down, calm down. You have to go out with your sister tomorrow. You don't want her to see you looking worn out, do you? If you don't mind the embarrassment, then I'm fine with it. It's no loss for me, after all. Hearing my reminder, Shenman actually managed to restrain herself. Her sister had just told her to be restrained. Seeing Zhang Dabao's current state, she almost lost control again. Fine, I'll give you another chance. Am I beautiful? Shenman asked the same question as this morning, seemingly very concerned about it. It was a simple question meant to score points, but in my eyes, it was a life or death question. Beautiful. The answer was undeniably yes, so beautiful it was beyond words. But thinking about what she'd done to me, I didn't want to praise her. Shenman stared at me intently. Am I beautiful? He stammered, you seem a bit forced. Beautiful, beautiful, extremely beautiful. Your answer satisfies me very much, so I've decided to give you a reward. Shenman smiled contentedly, brushing a stray strand of hair behind her ear. She brought her face close to mine and gave me a gentle kiss. For a moment, I forgot to react. This was the first time Shenman had been so gentle with me, so soft. Just this once, I'll forgive you, I mumbled, still savoring the taste. It's just that her temper is too bad. I had just tasted a bit of sweetness and muttered a comment. Shenman heard it but wasn't angry. Instead, she whispered, then I'll try to change. Did you just say something? No, I didn't. Then did I, monsieur? Or is there a ghost in the room? Stop talking nonsense and go to sleep. Shenman pulled the blanket over herself, resting her head on my arm. You're the ghost. Have you ever seen a ghost as beautiful as you? I turned off the light. I wanted to get up and draw the curtains, but my arm was pinned down by a sleeping Shenman. I turned my head to look at her as she slept soundly and gradually became mesmerized. She was truly beautiful, flawlessly so. Her messy hair covered half her face but couldn't hide her beauty. I raised my hand, about to brush her hair away, when a knock on the door woke her up. Sis, are you up? Get ready. We're about to leave. Is Kingsu here to ruin the moment again? My arm is a little numb, I said with an awkward smile. Shenman stared at me for a few seconds before sitting up, freeing my arm. Who are you kidding? Your right arm is numb, but you were lying on your left. Is your nervous system different from everyone else's? Half of Shenman's face, which had been resting on my arm, had a red mark, looking quite cute. You're lying. I scratched my head and smiled sheepishly. The excuse was indeed a bit flimsy. Even the knave Kingsu probably wouldn't believe it, let alone someone as smart as Shenman. If you wanted to touch me, you should have just done it. It's not like I wouldn't let you. She rolled her eyes. And another thing, Kingsu, why do you always show up at the most crucial moments? Shenman grumbled to herself, very displeased with her sister's timing. If you have the guts, then do it. After scolding me a couple of times, Shenman got up and went to the bathroom. Sis, hurry up, hurry up. The moment Shenman opened her door, she was pulled away by Shen Kingsu, who was lurking outside. Ta-da, sis, look, these are the outfits I bought these past few days. See if you like any of them. Shen Kingsu pointed to a clothes rack standing in the living room, which was filled with beautiful clothes of all styles, making it hard to take them all in at once. Due to the sheer number, her room wasn't big enough, so she had displayed them all in the living room for her sister to choose from easily. Shen Kingsu had woken up early this morning and spent 2.5 hours on her makeup. She carefully selected a dress and made herself look beautiful before going to wake Shenman up. Looking at the array of beautiful clothes, Shenman didn't seem very excited. To her, these things weren't important. She had the confidence that even in the most ordinary clothes, she would be the brightest star. I don't need any of these. Have someone clear them away. Shenman declined politely. She didn't need external things to adorn herself. No, please, just pick one, Shen Kingsu begged, shaking her sister's arm playfully. Seeing that her sister was unmoved, an idea sparked in her mind. Sis, even if you don't care, what about him? You can't wear your work clothes on a date with him. All men like beautiful things. You have to seize this opportunity, Shen Kingsu whispered in her sister's ear, hoping this tactic would work. She wasn't sure if it would be effective, but it was worth a shot. Hearing her sister's advice, Shenman actually hesitated. That was true. She didn't care for herself, but what about Zhang Dabao? If he liked it, it wouldn't be so bad. Seeing her sister's expression, Shen Kingsu knew there was hope. She directly pulled her sister to the clothes rack. Look at this one, what do you think? Shen Kingsu held up a dress in front of me, then presented it to Shenman. The dress was mainly white with a red plaid bow. The short skirt was a combination of dark blue and brown. Sis, this style uniform is really trendy right now. Boys love it the most. If you wear it with black stockings, no one will be able to resist. Alright, I think you should wear this one, I said. I heard Shen Kingsu enthusiastically recommending clothes. She was about to hand the outfit to Shenman, but her sister stopped her. No need for the uniform dress. Shen Man, of course, knew what it was. It was beautiful, but in her eyes, it was a bit too childish. Shen Man was a mature woman and wouldn't wear such juvenile clothes. Then how about this one? It's a dress similar to the one I'm wearing. We're sisters, so it would look great in pictures, Shen Kingsu suggested, picking up another white floral dress with a style similar to her own pink one. Shen Man glanced at it and refused. Let me look myself. She crossed her arms and began to browse through the rows of clothes. A minute later, I yawned and walked out of my room. Seeing the living room full of clothes, I was stunned. Seriously? Are you planning to start a wholesale business or set up a stall? With this many clothes, each one could buy several game skins. Shen Kingsu heard this and thought, this man's brain is only filled with games. One of my outfits could buy dozens of your skins, with money to spare. Besides, why do you care how many clothes I have? It's not your money. And for the record, I have all the skins. I'm not poor. Shen Man still hadn't found an outfit she liked. She turned and saw me come out. Is there anything in here that you like? I was taken aback for a moment. Are you asking me because you plan on wearing it for me to see? Shen Man didn't say anything, but she thought to herself, who else would I be wearing it for? I scanned the rack and my eyes landed on the dial dress Shen Kingsu had recommended earlier. The reason was simple, it would show off the most leg. Shen Man nodded. Alright, I'll wear that one then. Just as I was feeling satisfied, Shen Kingsu, standing beside her, said irritably, are you kidding me, sis? You wouldn't take it when I recommended it, but as soon as this guy says one word, you agree. Is this discrimination? Is there no love left? Shen Man took the outfit and went into her room to change. Shen Kingsu followed, turning back to warn me, no peeking. I shrugged, thinking to myself that if Shen Kingsu weren't here, Shen Man probably wouldn't mind changing in front of me. We've been intimate before, so what was this? Sis, I don't know what to say to you. I already reminded you that as a woman, you need to have some self-control. You really don't listen at all. If it were me, I'd deliberately not wear this one just to spite him. From the moment she started changing, Shen Man had been listening to Shen Kingsu's complaints. After she finished, her sister was still whining. You really look good in anything, sis. Seeing her sister in the dress, Shen Kingsu's eyes lit up, and she almost drooled. She was on the verge of being turned by her own sister. Shen Man looked at herself in the mirror without much reaction. This was the confidence she had in her figure. So, men like this style. Shen Man didn't get it. This outfit was just like a school uniform, and it wasn't even as nice as her lace nightgowns. How do I look? Beautiful. It's just average. Can't we have a pleasant conversation? With your figure, everything looks average on you. So, are you going to change? Damn it. That man gets to benefit again. Shen Man was about to go get her stockings when, after a few steps, she frowned. What's wrong, sis? It's a little tight. I can't help with that. I'm not as well endowed as you. Maybe you should change into something else. No need. He likes this one. After putting on the stockings, Shen Man was pulled to the vanity by her sister. Don't move, let me do your makeup for you. Almost done. Finally, a touch of seductive red lipstick. Shen Kingsu took a bright red lipstick from her case and skillfully applied it to Shen Man's lips. Perfect. Don't move. Does this person have horse urine in their head? Why so loud? Jung Daebao, you have to think carefully. If you miss this chance, there won't be another one. In the future, you'll only get kicked by me, Shen Man said sternly. Damn it, I cursed inwardly. You brought this upon yourself. Unable to bear the humiliation any longer, I pushed her against the headboard and kissed her fiercely. Shen Man weakly punched my back, signaling for me to slow down. Shen Man, you're so captivating. You wanted this. As you wish. As soon as the words left my mouth, I roughly tore her clothes. I glanced at Shen Man, still sleeping soundly beside me, and fell into deep thought. Last night, I really taught this female knight a lesson. I wondered if she would come looking for trouble when she woke up. I was initially resistant, but she was the one who willingly walked into the tiger's den. But this unreasonable woman wouldn't listen to reason. After a moment of frustration, I completely gave up. What's done is done. What can she do to me? I'll just go on as usual, eat when I want to eat, drink when I want to drink, and not overthink it. That woman is so soft, fragrant, and sweet. Thinking about the fierce battle last night, I straightened my back. I was too lazy to argue with her before, mainly because the situation didn't allow it. If she didn't give me the medicine, she would have controlled me, and I couldn't fight back. But last night, she offered herself up, so she can't blame me for being ruthless. As I was about to get out of bed for breakfast, I felt something heavy on my arm. I turned my head to see Shen Man resting her head on my arm, drooling. I was a little disgusted. Even if you're a beauty, drooling on my arm is a bit much. Pushing those thoughts aside, Shen Man looked very cute at this moment, a stark contrast to her usual cold image. I smirked, took out my phone, and started snapping pictures from different angles. Later, I could use these photos to negotiate with her. After collecting enough leverage, I gently pulled my arm out, covered her with a blanket, washed my face, and went to the table. I saw Shin Kingsyu already sitting there. After eating for a while, she noticed her sister hadn't come out with me and asked, "Where's my sister?" I popped a small steamed bun into my mouth and said nonchalantly, "How would I know?" To be honest, I didn't want to talk to this little pea. Every time we talked, we ended up arguing, and she would tattle on me. "You're faking it. Don't think I don't know my sister runs to your room every night." Mentioning this, Shin Kingsyu was too angry to eat. She crossed her arms and stared at me with hostility. Seeing me put down my chopsticks, she said, "If you know, why ask?" "So, where is my sister?" "Still sleeping in bed." Shin Kingsyu immediately denied it. "My sister never oversleeps." "Who says she doesn't oversleep?" I explained with a smile. "If you're tired from the night before, you'll naturally sleep in. For example, that time you knocked on the door." She tried to recall, and it seemed to dawn on her. That time, her sister was lying next to me, looking very weak. She had even scolded me, only to be scolded back by her sister. "What did you do to my sister?" I replied helplessly, "What could I do? Just the normal stuff between a man and a woman." "I'm telling you." Shin Kingsyu quickly shook her head. "I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it." Although inexperienced, she understood what needed to be understood. She knew that men definitely bullied women. I couldn't help but laugh. "I didn't bully her. Your sister offered herself up. If you don't believe me, wait for her to wake up and ask her about the sheep entering the tiger's den." Shin Kingsyu was confused, but I was enjoying myself. Eventually, Shin Man woke up. Opening her eyes, and not seeing me, she felt a little strange. It was so late. She looked at the time and patted her head a few times, trying to wake up. She saw the torn pieces of clothing on the floor, and the events of last night flooded her mind. Shin Man propped herself up on the bed, feeling like her whole body was about to fall apart. She patted her forehead, thinking to herself, "I was so reckless." Luckily, it was the National Day holiday, so she could rest a bit. She walked out of the room. "Sister, you're finally out. Just in time for lunch." Shin Kingsyu pulled Shin Man to the dining table. We glanced at each other, and I saw her ears turn bright red. She was so embarrassed that she had put on extra makeup so her complexion wouldn't look too bad. "Ah, the great Miss Shen has finally woken up. The sun is already high in the sky," I teased. "None of your business." Shin Kingsyu looked at Shin Man innocently and asked, Sister, tell me the story of the sheep entering the tiger's den." Hearing this, I almost choked on my water. "Are you trying to kill me?" Asking like that, her sister would definitely know I was the one who told her. Shin Man's body trembled slightly. Weren't those the sweet nothing she had said to me last night? She glared at me as if to ask, "Are you trying to die? How dare you say such things to my sister?" I didn't dare to make a sound and focused on eating, thinking to myself, who knew her sister would ask so directly? Shin Man brushed it off, "It's just a literal meaning." Shin Kingsyu persisted, saying that is like saying nothing at all. Shin Man couldn't hold back her anger anymore and snapped, "This is grown-up stuff, kids shouldn't ask. Eat your food." Shin Kingsyu had to drop it, but she wouldn't give up so easily. After lunch, I was about to play a game when Shin Man called me over. "What is it?" She replied coldly, "What do you think? If you want to say something, say it. If not, then don't." With that, I turned to leave. "Stop," she called out. I faced her, deliberately acting impatient. "If you have something to say it quickly. If not, don't waste my time." Shin Man took a deep breath and said slowly, "In the future, don't talk about those things with Kingsyu." "What did you say?" "Say it again." I pretended not to hear clearly. She had to repeat herself. "You know what I'm talking about." I continued to play dumb. "You mean about how you willingly entered the tiger's den last night? Do you remember how arrogant and dismissive you were at first? In the end, didn't you still?" Shin Man gritted her teeth in anger and raised her hand to strike me. I quickly stepped back. "What are you dodging for? Are you going to hit me?" "If I didn't dodge, I'd be dead," she retorted. "Your face is so thick, it wouldn't hurt even if I hit it." Seeing the situation wasn't right, I took out my phone and opened the pictures from this morning. "Look what this is." Shin Man stared at the phone screen, a mixture of anger and shame on her face. "Delete it." I chuckled. "No way. These pictures are beautiful." She gritted her teeth. "Delete it." I acted nonchalant. "Miss Shen, is this how you ask for a favor?" Shin Man finally softened her tone. "Delete the pictures, and I won't hold this against you anymore." I said smugly, "You don't dare to get angry with me because I won't delete them, and you don't want your sister to see them, right?" She trembled and nodded in concession. Having a hold on Shin Man, I became bolder. I pinched her cheek and continued, "This little sheep that likes to walk into the trap. If you're not obedient, the tiger won't eat you, you know." These intimate words and insinuations completely broke down Shenman's defenses. She nodded silently. Seeing her shy expression, my heart pounded. This reaction was clearly not normal. Logically, she was an extremely cold woman, and shouldn't be so easily teased and responsive. In this kind of situation, the more normally she behaved, the more unsettling it was. Was she going crazy again? Remembering her reaction last night, I grew tense. To ease the atmosphere, I waved my hands around. Actually, I was just kidding. Miss Shen, don't overthink it. As long as you don't cause me trouble, I will absolutely not release those photos. Hearing this, Shen Man's gaze sharpened, instantly losing all its shyness. Are you rejecting me? I quickly explained, absolutely not. Miss Shen, don't misunderstand. She pressed on, then what do you mean? I said helplessly, I just think that sheep entering the tiger's den game isn't fun. Shen Man clearly didn't believe me. Not fun. You seem to be having a great time. I did all those embarrassing things to satisfy you, didn't I? Her pressing questions stressed me out. I thought to myself, my performance last night was indeed excessive, but that was just a man's natural reaction. Zhang Dabao, you're such a useless, cowardly man with no ambition. Shen Man was also angered by me. Wasn't my performance last night clear enough? Zhang Dabao, if you were just a little braver, I would have been yours. Then, wouldn't it be whatever you say goes? Whatever you wanted to play, wouldn't it have happened? Damn it, I couldn't help but curse. Shen Man, you're a lunatic who can't be reasoned with. I turned and walked away, leaving her behind without giving her a chance to react. Who knows what she's thinking? I don't want to stay with this crazy psycho for another second. Out of the room, I quickly called Lin Feng and stood in front of an internet cafe, venting. Hello. Where are you? Lin Feng teased, why is the handsome Zhang Dabao free to call me? Not with your beautiful lady boss. At that moment, I was too angry to speak. Come play games with me all night. After hanging up, I rushed to the internet cafe, sat down, and ordered a sugary soda, hoping it would calm the anger in my heart. Lin Feng looked at me and asked, did you fight with your lady boss? I was too lazy to answer, taking a sip of the soda and trying to calm down. Seeing me like this, Lin Feng started nagging again. This is called playing hard to get. You want the boss to soften up first. I slammed my fist on the table in frustration. Shut your damn mouth. In her room, Shen Man's mood was no better after being left behind. She pulled out a book, The Secret to Love, and studied its contents carefully, trying to find a way to resolve the current awkward situation. What to do when you fight with the man you like. She read every word carefully, not missing a single detail. Method 14 of 100 Ways to Make a Man Love You. Ambiguous nicknames. Shen Man looked at these words, and a few scenes flashed in her mind. She always called Zhang Dabao Lil Man, but it had no effect. The next paragraph made her pay even closer attention. If you have a conflict with the man you like, this is an opportunity to get closer to him. A suitable, ambiguous nickname can greatly increase the level of intimacy between you and your partner. Shen Man took notes on the key points with one hand, as if she were back in a high school class. However, calling him hubby had already made her tear up and disgusted Zhang Dabao. Hubby is too intimate a term to use when the relationship isn't established. It's too hasty and will only make him feel you're too desperate. Shen Man read these contents carefully and felt they made a lot of sense. She decided to adjust her strategy according to this guide, trying to regain the intimacy lost due to her impulsiveness in the coming days. Meanwhile, at home, Shen Man closed The Secret to Love, feeling she could do it. She opened her door, looked around, and not seeing me, asked Shen Kingxiu, who was watching a movie on the sofa, where is he? Still not back. Shen Kingxiu, snacking, replied, he's not here. Why are you looking for him? It's his business whether he comes back or not. Hearing I wasn't back, Shen Man wasn't too angry. Instead, she took out her phone and sent me a text. I was in the internet cafe waiting for a match to start when I went to the bathroom. Lin Feng happened to glance at my phone screen and saw a message from someone saved as my future wife. He wanted to peek at the content, but the screen turned off. A few minutes later, seeing I hadn't replied, Shen Man called directly. The call connected, and Lin Feng held the phone to his shoulder. Who is it? If you have something to say it later. I'm in a game. It's me. Hearing this name, Lin Feng froze, stopping his actions in the game. Are you trying to ruin my game? They shouted. Lin Feng looked bewildered as Shen Man's cold voice came through the phone. Where is Zhang Dabao? Tell me, and I'll double your salary this year. She hung up. After recovering from his shock, Lin Feng quickly opened WeChat and sent her the location. I was urging Lin Feng to play, cursing him for being AFK, but he was busy texting Shen Man. Not long after, Shen Man changed her shoes, opened the door, and left, ignoring her sister calling after her. The game finally ended in a win after a few tense final minutes. Several matches that should have been easy wins were lost because Lin Feng was feeding the enemy. I grabbed Lin Feng by the collar and yelled, Are you deliberately trying to mess with me today? Before he could answer, the surroundings suddenly went quiet. The sound of high heels got closer and closer. I turned my head and saw it was Shenman. I froze. Come home with me. Shenman walked over to me. I completely ignored her and continued playing. Shenman clenched her fists, took a deep breath, bent down, and hugged me, her arms wrapping around my neck. My whole body went stiff as if an electric current had run through me. Hubby. Those two words came from Shenman's mouth again, her voice sweet and coquettish. Definitely not fake. Hubby, I really can't stand it. What trick is this woman playing now? Hubby, can we go home? Seeing this, Shenman hugged me tighter, her voice becoming even more faint. Her small, beautiful face turned redder, as if it would bleed with a gentle squeeze. Being called that made my hair stand on end and gave me goosebumps all over. A call from my teammate brought me back to reality. By the time I reacted, I had been killed by the enemy. If Lin Feng saw this, he would definitely point at me and curse, "You talk about me, but you're just as bad for the team." Actually, that bastard Lin Feng hadn't left, he was hiding in the corner closest to me. What the hell am I seeing? These two are definitely a thing. He couldn't believe his eyes, having to check several times to be sure. The boss, who was usually cold to the bone, was now like a shy little girl, hugging Zhang Dabao from behind and acting cute. My mistake ultimately led to losing the match. Shen Man, what game are you playing now? Can you pay attention to your image in public? You may not care about your reputation, but I do. No matter how cute she acted, I wouldn't give her a good look because this crazy woman was too insane. Hey, a guy sitting 2 machines away from me couldn't stand it anymore and stood up, trying to get Shen Man's attention. What's with your attitude? The girl has already apologized to you, why can't you give her a break? You have such a beautiful girlfriend and you're still at an internet cafe. Honestly, I can't stand it. You're a disgrace to men. The guy was mesmerized by Shen Man and wanted to take the opportunity to win her favor. I was furious. If I wasn't afraid of causing trouble, I would have cursed him out. You sim, do you lose all sense of right and wrong when you see a pretty girl? Shen Man turned her head and snapped. I'm talking to my man. What are you interrupting for? Although she was unhappy with the guy's assessment, she agreed with his last sentence. You have me, so why are you playing games at an internet cafe? Mayam, can you please be quiet? I just want to play my game. Why did you have to find me here? This time my voice was a little softer. After all, with so many people watching, it wasn't appropriate to be too harsh. Then I'll sit here with you, okay? Don't be angry anymore. Her warm breath tickled my ear, making me feel a little hot. Okay, whatever. He swallowed hard. The scent from Shen Man was a bit intoxicating. Just like when we were playing around. Seeing I was still unmoved, Shen Man slowly calmed down, cupped my face, gently turned it, and kissed me. The surroundings fell silent. The male comrades who saw this were gritting their teeth in anger. They seriously suspected I was just at the internet cafe to show off. Miss Shen, can you get down first? This is very embarrassing for me. Being held like this, it's hard for me to move, and so many people are watching. The feeling of dying and coming back to life was not pleasant. Alright. Shen Man let go of me and plopped down in the seat next to me. You're going to stay up all night, I'll stay with you. Whatever you want. Since Shen Man wasn't leaving, I couldn't be bothered to care. I put my headphones back on. She stared blankly at the computer screen for a while, and seeing that she didn't understand, she shifted her focus, resting her chin on her hand and looking at me. She had never looked at me so closely before. Now, looking closely, she thought Zhang Dabao was quite handsome. After a while, Shen Man got too sleepy and dozed off next to me. I just finished a game and saw her constantly rubbing her shoulders. I knew she was only wearing a thin nightgown, and it was really cold in front of the air conditioner. You reap what you sow, I muttered, taking off my jacket. I'm hungry, I'm going to buy some instant noodles. The smell of pickled vegetables from the instant noodles woke up the sleeping Shen Man because she was also hungry. Seeing the jacket draped over her, she felt warm. I was eating noodles while scrolling through TikTok. Hubby. I froze mid-action and turned to look at her, forcing a smile. She must be hungry. She shyly bowed her head. Taking this opportunity, I casually asked, do you want some? Seeing me offer the noodles, she hesitated. She considered instant noodles to be junk food and unhealthy. Right, a lady like you definitely wouldn't eat this stuff. I pulled the noodles back, and took another slur. Knowing she wouldn't eat it, I secretly swiped to another video. If you give it to me, I'll eat it. She held out her hands, signaling for me to give her the noodles. You can buy it yourself. I added 2 eggs and a sausage to this one. Her face turned red, obviously thinking something else. Give it to me, I'll eat it. 5 minutes later, I brought back a bowl of noodles without eggs or sausage. Shen Man stared at the bowl for a long time but didn't touch it. Although she was a bit hungry, instant noodles really weren't appealing. Miss Shen, if you don't want to eat, don't force yourself. Go home and eat your delicacies. Don't waste the eggs and sausage. With that, I was about to put my chopsticks into her bowl of noodles. The eggs and sausage have been soaking for a long time. It's your fault for not eating them, she mumbled, protecting her bowl and shifting to the left. Seeing the eggs and sausage about to fly away, I was a little disappointed. If you're not going to eat it, give it to me. We can't waste food. With her back to me, she picked up the disposable plastic chopsticks and carefully tasted the noodles. It's actually delicious. Why did it look so delicious when I was eating it? She was skeptical. Having been raised in luxury since childhood, her food was always carefully prepared by chefs with balanced nutrition. She had never eaten junk food. She picked up some noodles, and the strong smell of pickled vegetables almost made her vomit. This smell is so strong, is it really edible? For a guy, the smell of pickled vegetables and spicy flavor is a wonderful taste, but for a lady like her, it was like plain water. I could only laugh. Can't handle hardship but want to enjoy the rewards. Serves you right. This scene made the guys around very annoyed. Who wouldn't want to be the one sitting next to her? Playing games at an internet cafe instead of being at home with a beautiful and sexy girlfriend was one thing, but now that his girlfriend came to find him, he didn't even know how to cherish her. He didn't even know how to coax her when she was hungry for hours, only giving her instant noodles. If it were them, they would immediately turn off the computer and take her to a fancy restaurant. Maybe they would even go to a hotel. Therefore, they couldn't help but suspect that there was something wrong with my body. 10 minutes later, Shen Man put down her chopsticks. The noodles were barely touched, and the eggs and sausage were untouched. Seeing this, I immediately picked up my chopsticks, grabbed the eggs and sausage, and put them in my mouth. As expected of a companion to instant noodles, so fragrant, I said with satisfaction. Now only the money for one bowl of noodles is wasted. At this moment, Shen Man regretted it. She should have eaten dinner before coming. A few hours later, it was late at night. I stretched my muscles, preparing for the next battle. I heard her stomach growl. She looked at me pitifully, a little aggrieved. Hubby, I'm hungry. I had to admire her. She sat next to me like a Buddha statue for 6 hours. Miss Shen, if you're hungry, go home and eat. You're a grown woman. Your mom must be calling for you. Then there were a few seconds of silence, and she took my hand and continued, Hubby, I was wrong. Wrong about what? I shouldn't have gotten angry at you. Also, I shouldn't have said you were useless. You're very good. I like it a lot. She lowered her head, very embarrassed to say it, her mind filled with those images. Damn it, I couldn't help but curse. Can you talk properly? You're always so suggestive. If you keep talking, you'll recount the whole process. Miss, I'm begging you, please go home quickly. But hubby, I'm hungry, and I don't have any money. Having you by my side is enough. Stop. I made a stopping motion with my hand, cutting her off. Being called hubby like this was really unbearable, even more uncomfortable than being pricked by needles all over. Miss Shen, have you had enough fun? Who did you learn this from? It wasn't your little pea of a sister who gave you this bad idea, was it? Listen to me, with your status, this isn't suitable for you. Why don't you curse at me? If you curse at me a few times, I'll feel better. I wanted to kneel and kowtow to her. I really didn't want to be tortured anymore. If a sweet girl acted cute in front of me, it would be delightful, but Shen Man was different. I knew her to be ruthless and unscrupulous. Last night, she tortured me. Seeing I really hated her calling me hubby, Shen Man was also a little embarrassed. She had learned this trick from The Secret to Love. Men all like women to call them big brother or similar term of endearment, regardless of the woman's age. If the woman is younger than the man, calling him big brother shows obedience and is more endearing to men. Conversely, if the woman is older, calling him big brother is a form of flattery, showing his important status. Shen Man was actually a year older than me, so calling me hubby was obviously to flatter me. That's why she even specially learned how to add a certain tone to her voice to shorten the distance between us. So, are you still angry at me? She asked, her voice returning to normal, which finally allowed me to breathe a sigh of relief. This woman was finally normal again. Oh. I was a bit surprised. It turned out she was bothered by our conversation this morning. You're not useless, she looked at me seriously. I really liked last night. Every time she wanted to rest, I would pull her up again. And now, she was praising me like this. I almost choked. Whether I was useless or not, I knew myself. This topic was too embarrassing. Both of us fell silent until a waiter broke the atmosphere. Here is the couple set you ordered. Please enjoy. The waiter thoughtfully lit a candle. Now we looked like a couple in love, enjoying dinner. Actually, this was a restaurant Shen Man had deliberately chosen, originally a restaurant for couples. I can only say it was ostentatious and frivolous. Can this be considered our first date? Under the candlelight, the view was a bit dark, but it didn't lose its hazy beauty. She was wearing my jacket, looking at me lovingly. Miss Shen, aren't you hungry? If you're hungry, eat quickly. Let's go home early after eating, it's getting late. I looked at the pile of spaghetti and a few slices of lotus root on the plate and cursed inwardly. What kind of devil chef came up with this dish and charged 13-14 yuan for it? That's enough for me to eat countless bowls of instant noodles. The rich really make money easily. Actually, the meaning of the noodles is a forever, and the lotus root symbolizes a lingering affection even after separation, a symbol of beautiful love. As for the date she mentioned, I didn't pay any attention to it. What date? Who wants to go on a date with you? Don't call me Miss Shen, it's too distant, Shen Man said. I retorted irritably, Miss Shen, is our relationship that good? She countered, we slept in the same bed, what do you think? Alright, Shen Man was finally showing her true colors. I ignored her and started eating dinner. But she continued to plead gently, from now on, call me Xiao Man or Man Man. The names were getting more and more intimate and ambiguous. Are you okay? What kind of madness is this? I don't want to play house with you, I said angrily, slamming my fork on the plate. I thought, is she crazy? If I provoke her anymore, I'll lose half my life. Mr. Jun. She tilted her head slightly, are you planning to refuse me? I panicked. Oh, Miss Shen, let's talk things over slowly. Put the fork down first. She smiled coldly. If you don't listen to me. I know a little bit of martial arts, but I can't control my strength. You'll suffer. Shen Man was not joking at all. Looking at the fork in her hand, I had to surrender. I'll listen, I'll absolutely listen. That's more like it, Mr. John. She came over and sat on my lap. Shen Man sat on my lap, playing with the fork in her hand. Damn, this woman is serious. I quickly wrapped my arms around her small waist, carefully took her small hand. Man, this is dangerous. Girls shouldn't play with this. I slowly took the fork from her hand. She didn't resist. That's right, it's too dangerous, so hubby has to be careful. If you accidentally get hurt by the fork, I'll be heartbroken. She stroked my face with one hand and pointed to my heart with the other, her expression full of threat. I could only force a smile, thinking to myself, heartbroken my ass. I'm the one who will be in pain, not you. Alright, hubby, let's eat now. She turned and sat up straight, curling up in my lap. Suddenly, she turned again, looked at my lips, and then kissed me. This is the service fee for me to feed you. You're not eating. Are you not satisfied with my service? Shen Man sat sideways on my lap, using a fork to pick up a piece of lotus root and bring it to my mouth. I stiffened, my expression a little panicked, and I didn't open my mouth for a long time. The lotus root didn't look poisonous, but this Shen Man was poisonous. Eating it would definitely lead to trouble. If you don't talk, I'll eat it. No, I quickly refused. Let me feed you. I offered to feed Shen Man, not wanting to rear-neck the sheep entering the tiger's den scene again. I used a little force to hug Shen Man, pulling her a little closer. This way, she fit snugly against my chest. My other hand took the fork from her, and I forced a polite smile, bringing it to her cherry lips. I thought to myself, I have to perform well, or I'll be eaten by the fork. Shen Man smiled to herself, thinking, this man is quite sensible, but she was a little unhappy. The phone rang, breaking the ambiguous atmosphere. Shen Man picked up the phone and looked at it, very unhappy. It was her commoner sister calling. Before this, Shen Kingsu had been bombarding her with messages for 2.5 hours. She had ignored them, and now she was calling directly to bother her. What is it? Where are you, sister? It's so late and you're not back yet. I have something to do. I'm not coming back tonight. Behave at home. What could you possibly? She hung up and continued to look at me lovingly. Hubby, let's continue. My mouth twitched, and my hand trembled as I raised the fork again. What the hell? Can you be normal? If it were Shen Kingsu, the little pea, calling me that, I wouldn't find it so nauseating. At least she looks like a sweet girl. Shen Man took my trembling hand and looked at me playfully. Don't tremble. Am I that scary? I quickly denied it. No, I'm just a little emotional. Actually, you're not scary, just very terrifying. Shen Man took my hand, bent down, and took the piece of lotus root from the fork into her mouth. I couldn't help but stare at her action, seeing the magnificent view. It was amazing. Then Shen Man wrapped her arms around my neck, wanting to feed me the piece of lotus root she had just held in her mouth. I quickly swallowed, pretending to look around, avoiding her gaze. I don't want to eat. Don't move around. Unexpectedly, Shen Man completely ignored me and pulled my hair hard from behind. While I had my mouth open, she pushed the piece of lotus root into my mouth, giving me a tangled kiss. The taste. That piece of lotus root entered my mouth, and before I could chew, I was forced into an ambiguous situation by Shen Man and finally had to swallow it whole. I had almost choked to death. Hubby, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. You're not mad at me, are you? Shen Man brought a glass of water to my face, looking like a child who had done something wrong. I knew she was acting. If you want to kill me, just say so. pretending to be concerned and bringing a glass of water. Do you want me to say thank you? After drinking half a glass of water, I finally recovered. I carefully asked Shen Man, it's late, aren't you going home? Are you rejecting me and trying to kick me out? Shen Man lifted my chin, a smile on her lips, but there was a hint of killing intent in her eyes. Seeing that Shen Man didn't want to leave, I quickly changed my tune. Shen Man, I think, as a girl it's not good to be out so late like this. You're right. As a girl, it's not good to be out so late. So let's go to a hotel. What's the point of going to a hotel when you have a home to go back to? No way, I quickly refused. Going to a hotel is a pretext, her real purpose is to kill me. No, hubby. If you refuse me, I'll get angry. Shen Man still had her intentions. When she told her sister she wasn't coming home tonight, she had already decided to go to a hotel with me to strengthen our relationship. Or, you can come home with me. A hotel isn't necessary. I was scared to death. Going to a hotel with Shen Man would be the death of me. No one would even collect my body if I died in there. Hearing me refuse again, Shen Man said nothing, just turned around, put her hands on my shoulders, and wrapped her legs around my waist, her eyes full of passion. Hubby, I promise I'll be better tonight than last night. The Crown Hotel. From the moment I entered, my mind has not been at peace. The deadly memory from 2 months ago flooded back. It was here that I was forcibly kissed by Shen Man, and since then, I have been controlled by her. What's wrong, hubby? You seem distracted. What are you thinking about? Shen Man held my arm, always observing my expression. Of course, she could see the panic in my heart. She deliberately brought me here to provoke me, to let me know that in the same place, she could make me lose twice. No, nothing, I coughed, randomly finding an excuse. I'm just overwhelmed by the luxury of this hotel. I couldn't say this place made me lose my virginity, could I? It's my first time at a hotel with you, of course I have to choose a good one so you'll remember tonight forever. She smiled in a way that made my hair stand on end. This sentence made me even more tense. Remember this night forever. Forget it. I want to rest. You're always thinking about these things, can your body handle it? Every time we finish, you're half dead, sleeping until the sun is high in the sky and still not awake. At the reception desk, Shen Man didn't show her ID, just a black VIP card. The receptionist checked the card number and returned it. Shen, your dedicated room has been unlocked. You can use your fingerprint or membership card to enter. Shen Man nodded and pulled me along. I was bewildered. You don't need an ID to rent a room now. Actually, this hotel is an asset of the Shen Group. Shen Man is the owner of the hotel, so naturally, she has a dedicated room. On the way to the room, we met a pair of sisters. Sister, that guy is so handsome. I like him so much, one girl said quietly. Don't even dream about it. Can't you see he has a girlfriend? And she's so beautiful, the other girl glanced over. I can be his little lover. Don't all men like the new and dislike the old? The first one still didn't give up. Shen Man stopped, causing the two girls to quickly walk away. What's wrong? I was scared into a cold sweat by Shen Man, thinking, what strange thing are you planning to do now? Are they beautiful? Shen Man suddenly asked seriously. What? I was confused. Those two just now. I don't know. With you holding me like this, I wouldn't dare to look around, I said innocently. Really? Shen Man continued to press. Of course. In my heart, besides my mom, you're the most beautiful. I don't even look at other girls, I quickly declared. At this moment, not telling the truth would be fatal. Shen Man smiled with satisfaction but warned me very seriously, Zheng De Bao, before I get tired of you, you better not mess around outside, or your little brother will be in trouble. This Princess Shen Man would really do something like that. I quickly chimed in, no, absolutely not. Good. Hubby, did I scare you? I'm sorry, I'll make it up to you. In the super suite, I sat on the bed alone, struggling. Shen Man was taking a shower in the bathroom. Should I take this opportunity to run? But she had already caught me twice. If I get caught again without escaping, this body of mine will probably be done for tonight. Or should I run? Escape for tonight and figure things out later. I made up my mind and was about to stand up when I heard the bathroom door open. Shen Man's seductive voice came out, hubby, you're not planning to run, are you? That would make me sad. Wait, don't you women take at least half an hour to shower? How are you so fast? No, my back just hurts. I'm getting up to move around a bit, I quickly explained, even doing the primary and secondary school calisthenics, just without the background music. Hubby, you want to run? I'll give you this chance. Go ahead and run, hubby. I'll be lonely by myself tonight, she said with a threatening expression. I didn't dare to move. No, my back just hurts. I quickly hugged her. Hubby, you're such a good liar. You must have tricked a lot of girls, huh? Can you not be so delusional? It's like I'm really a heartbreaker, I said helplessly. Hubby, dry my hair for me. I seriously dried her hair. Neither of us said anything. It was very peaceful. Done. I turned off the hair dryer and straightened her hair. She was still lying on me, not wanting to get up. Hubby, you've worked hard. What reward do you want? No need, no need. It's late, let's rest early. Okay, let's rest. She pulled at my shirt. I quickly grabbed her hand. Jiao man, let's not tonight. My back hurts, and I'm a little weak. Hubby, that's not good enough. You have to try harder. Since you're not feeling well, I won't force you. But tonight, you have to hold me tight. If you can't hold back, you'll suffer. The next morning, Shen Man woke up. She was having fun poking my face with her hair. It seemed she really liked the feeling of being curled up in my arms. Last night, she also kept her promise and spared me. Otherwise, it would have really been a bloodbath. My face was so itchy I couldn't help but scratch it. As a result, the heart shape she made with her hair was ruined by me. Her expression darkened, and she pinched my waist hard. Ouch, ouch, ouch. I cried out in pain, but Shen Man warned me, don't move. Hearing this, I breathed a sigh of relief. It seemed she was normal today. Finally, I wasn't being tortured by the sound of hubby. She suddenly said, hold me tighter. I endured the pain in my waist and reluctantly held her tighter, feeling the warmth from last night again. Shen Man closed her eyes. A minute later, a phone call woke Shen Man up. She looked at the phone, thinking it was probably her annoying sister Shen Kingsu again. She really wanted to sell her sister. Seeing the caller was her secretary, Su Weiwei, Shen Man was a little surprised. Isn't it a holiday now? Why would this secretary who always complains about being tired of time to call her? The other end of the line came with a tense voice. Ms. Shen, something has happened. What is it? Shen Man was quite calm. After all, she had been through great storms. Do you remember the cooperation with the Swiss Federation we won before? Now the project is about to be implemented, and the other party said some terms need to be reconfirmed, requesting us to go there again within a week. Weren't all the terms confirmed during the negotiations? Why is there a problem now? Shen Man frowned, analyzing. The other party really shouldn't have any problems. Now that there's a problem, she didn't know what they were planning. I understand. I'll bring the negotiation contract. See you at the company in an hour. After hanging up, Shen Man glanced at me, then got up and got dressed. I was ecstatic. I was finally free from this woman's clutches. As a result, she immediately told me to follow her to the company. I was about to make an excuse, but she gave me a cold look, and I had to follow her helplessly. At the company, only Su Weiwei and a bunch of employees on vacation were waiting for us. Shen, this is the email the other party sent. Su Weiwei looked at Shen Man. Those clumsy tricks made Shen Man want to laugh. It was clearly a deliberate attempt to cause trouble. As for the purpose, she would have to go there to find out. Book me 2 plane tickets to the Swiss Federation for tomorrow. A week passed, and Shen Man was still busy on a business trip. At first, I thought I would enjoy the freedom without her, eating and playing comfortably without anyone managing me. But no, the further away she was, the more intense my longing for her grew. I missed the faint scent of her hair, missed her sweet call of hubby. I thought to myself, maybe I have really fallen in love with her. I couldn't delay any longer. I quickly called her. Her gentle voice came through, hubby. Why aren't you asleep yet? Do you miss me? Hearing her voice, my heart pounded. I can't sleep. I miss you so much. When are you coming back? Let's go on a date. The other end of the line was silent for a moment, then Shen Man's choked voice came through. I miss you a lot too, my silly boy. I'll be back this weekend. Take care of yourself so we can go on a date. Of course, my silly girl, I replied, my heart filled with happiness. I knew there was still a big gap between me and Shen Man in terms of background, but for the love I had for her, I was determined to work harder to be worthy of the affection she gave me. That weekend, I stood at the airport, waiting nervously. As soon as I saw Shen Man walk out of the arrivals gate, I ran over and hugged her tightly. The familiar scent filled my heart with warmth. I miss you so much, I whispered in her ear. Shen Man smiled, a smile as radiant as the morning sun, dispelling all the fatigue from her long flight. We walked out of the airport hand in hand, the gentle evening sun enveloping the loving couple. The gap in our background seemed to disappear, leaving only overflowing love and faith in a bright future awaiting us. I knew the journey ahead would have many challenges, but with this love, we would overcome everything together.